Hey, welcome back, boys. Sorry. I don't know what happened, bro. Net stupid as shit. Anyways, bro, we're in the drafting phase immediately.
Massive pivot for Pro. We were talking about doubling down in the meta game. They might still do that with a Nolan Red 3, but before they do that, they steal
भाई पता नहीं क्या हो जाता है
big picks for Yamaha Galacticos.
कभी वाईफाई को
Beat Pro with a Frederick Gore. They take away the Guinevere, anticipating the
Guinevere
Red 3 from Pro with the Juicin in mid.
And Joe is also a hero that they've won a game with. They're 1-0 on a show. And going back to what's worked, I mean, you come up with a game plan. This looked good for us. You take something away. I like this draft already.
As much as you want to try and escape from utilities and junglers in the meta, sometimes you can just take away a few and suddenly you're back to a few months ago. Guinevere, Baxia, welcome back to the utility junglers.
Only when Hirara, Fanny, and Ling are banned do we get to see these heroes, man. Again, just, ban it out. I like what Yamaha Galacticos are doing, especially for game number 1, right? They're trying to get the momentum. They want to stick to their comfort, so they just ban it out. And now, we have to talk about later on. You see the group bats coming down again. It really just seems like we're replaying the meta of Wildcard all over again.
And again, I feel like we have to somewhat thank Team Falcon's meta for this, because they're the only team that banned out both Ling and Hirara blue side, and we saw how that went in their game. It led to going back to the utilities, going back to the tanks in the jungle. But you still have the new elements you have to take into consideration. Esmeralda, Mathilda especially would be a nightmare to deal with for that Gord. Seems like Pro and Yangon are both going to be front to back, with Yangon having more options to break the formation of Pro.
Exactly. I think it's for Pro a little bit more
right
front
time
to back. I think the carry here will be a very, very good man on top of Esmeralda. Phobius, Esmeralda, both already counters to the Freya. The carry is just another cherry on top, just to give Freya a little bit more space in the goal if he does go there, or even in XP, right? Because you want to have a Purify here against this lineup. You don't want to go Vengeance against a Chogord Baxia on the Freya.
Oh,
but they banned the Sora.
They do with the Sora as an option. I believe that is... Oh, yeah, that's one of the notes that I have here for Pro. Watch out for their Sora in the EXP lane. So they pick up the Moskov. Our hunch is right. It is very front to back for Pro. Yangon has enough options for dive, and they say, why not more? Let's pick up the Claude. I think a very solid roamer with Revitalize might be good here.
The Beleric is still up for grabs, though I'm not a big fan of it, knowing how much poke there is on Pro.
Yeah.
Especially with the Cho early prio as well, so we might just be seeing...
It's Gatotable, if you think about it.
It is Gatotable, but the Gord, I don't know.
We'll see. Your Claude also a character that Yangon have won with and Pro Esports have lost with, so they don't actually really care too much that the Claude is there, but it's that dive that's going to pressure the Gord. How do they deal with this? Keep that front to back you were talking about, Mirko. What pick works well to help?
Carmilla! Wow. I mean, if we're talking punishing front to backs, punishing team comps that rely on sticking together, that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah. Theoretically, just looking at everything on paper, I love what Yangon and Galacticos have drafted here.
So much AoE as well.
So much AoE that Carmilla is going to give a lot of headaches for Pro if ever they cannot get good momentum to start with. Because if things are even and Yangon can play a normal team fight to Pro Esports front to back, then Yangon will continuously tear through them.
But technically, we were talking about Blink already, right? Earlier on, how they win, dominate MSL Myanmar. It was through Blink getting his picks, random picks, cheesy picks. It was the Hellcrit. It was more damage oriented, but now we get to see a little bit more of whatever Carmilla is right now. Yeah. She has a lot of damage just putting it down there. Curse of Blood for the rest of the team. But now for Pro, it's just doubling down on early game snowball, trying to contest those neutral objectives, kind of dictating the pace of those early neutral objectives.
Early stun, maybe a level 4 bolt from Gord to get a pick. Pressure from Cho and Yuzhong rounds it out. How do you feel about it, Rimar?
Oh, sorry, Felix loves the Yuzhong. Has been one of his best picks historically. Plus, Claude needs to watch out for that Petrify. A lot of execution, little things you got to watch out for in the early to mid game, especially for Yangon, because that's their window. If they get to succeed in their window, they're going to steamroll right through.
Well, they've got the draft. But again, I asked this question, will it be a rerun or a remake? Will we see the same result in YG push through? Will Pro Esports find the solution? The final pick, Yuzhong. We'll see how much of an impact it has.
भाई पता नहीं क्या हो गया वाईफाई को, पता नहीं क्या है भाई. लाइट जाती है 3-4 बार गई, तब तो गया नहीं. 5-6 बार गई तो वाईफाई चला गया भाई मेरा.
And here we go. We waited
a couple
yeah,
of days leading into the knockouts, and now it's finally here. This is the best part of the tournament, and we get to see what adjustments have been made for our team. Starting off with Young Gun Galacticos and Pro Esports. Leo, welcome back. We missed you, man. We're jumping into this one.
Mingalaba and homoy mao to all of the Cambodian and Burmese fans watching. This is a best of 5, and the action starts now. Neither side, I'd say, has clear mid-prio because early on, you see Carmilla, you think it's safe, and then you stay there maybe 2 seconds longer, and then she deals a lot of damage. Next thing you know,
you're just cursed. You know, that curse of blood, that ultimate that Carmilla has is what could make
पिक्स तो देखो भाई, ड्राफ्ट तो देखो भाई, यहाँ दोनों साइड के फ्रेया EXP लेने गया, गुनिवर जंगल, जूशन मिड, कार्मिला रोम, क्लॉड गोल्ड लेन, और यहाँ यूजोंग का ये क्या है ये? अबे भाई मेरी आंखें खराब है, कौन सा हीरो है वो? हाँ? बाक्सी है क्या वो? अच्छा बाक्सी का आइकन क्या है भाई ये? भाई एलिमेंट विद रैंक था। हारे ये ना गॉर्डन के पास इधर चो है, मॉस्को भी तगड़ा है, चो भी सही है, चो तो हमारे मेटा में रहता है।
Those assassin junglers that have been being picked up so much throughout the course of MSC, you know, the Ling, the Rara, the Fanny now. And I'm wondering
बाक्सी यूज कर रहा है भाई, कौन मेटा जंगल भी नहीं है भाई वो तो, लेकिन बाक्सी अब तो अभी तो assassin मेटा चल रहा है, लेकिन कोई नहीं सही है ज्यादा, लेकिन ज्यादा सस्टेन आ गया भाई। चो में भी, चो अगर डैमेज बिल्ड ज्यादा तो सही है, लेकिन चो तो डिफेंस बिल्ड जाएगा, यूजोंग भी डिफेंस बिल्ड जाएगा, वो भी डिफेंस बिल्ड जाएगा, मॉस्को पे पूरा ब्लाइंडली ट्रस्ट कर रहा है भाई, मुझे लग रहा है हार जाएगी ब्रो। ओह शिट, लेकिन मुझे लग रहा है भाई कि हार जाएगी ब्रो ये गेम, क्योंकि मॉस्को अगर वो स्केल अप नहीं हुआ तो गए वो।
For that petrify. Sorry on Felix, this is one of his best heroes, this Yu Zhang that he's been able to go ahead and showcase.
भाई वो ढंग से खेलने भाई यार।
DPP coming in does not force the issue. They do get the purify on Asanji. They pop that.
Pop that purify.
Please भाई, जीत जा भाई pro esports जीत जा भाई।
In the lane matchup alone, and that's why. Oh, here's the setup.
Han finds a Requiem. Kaizen looking to take it down. Gives the kill over to the jungler. Han finds his redemption. Now they pressure Coily. Coily will be able to secure the orange. Rolling away.
All right, he gets one back. That's fine. Evens things out. Han, again, on this Guinevere, so important to go ahead and lead that charge. You give space to your Claude for Sanji to farm up. Gets where it needs to be, get that power spike on the trinity of items, but right now, this is the course. Play around Han, set up potential, eventually the beacon is there as well.
A minute prior to the second turtle, I think Young Gun Galacticos have already undone the early damage Sword and Felix dealt. We're back to 50-50, this is neutral, and it's a matter of how fast Ying can make it to that gold lane, and now they find Saw.
Damn bro, अबे ये किल वाला काउंटर है ना, उसको नीचे कर देता फिर सब काउंट को, किल काउंटर हट गया, लेकिन फिर उनका वो भी तो हाइड नहीं करने का मन है, क्या बोलते हैं इन लोगों का वो नहीं होता क्या स्पॉन्सरशिप, वो हटा नहीं सकता मैं, वो भी हाइड नहीं कर सकता। प्रॉब्लम तो ये है, इसको और छोटा कर देता हूँ, ऐसे सही है लगता है मेरे ख्याल से, बीच में किसी चीज के बीच में नहीं आ रहा, सही है। नॉइस वेलकम टू स्ट्रीम रेट एंड व्हाट्स अप ब्रो, हम भी वॉच पार्टी कर सकते हैं बिकॉज़ आई हैव को स्ट्रीमर राइट्स फॉर द EWC। आज फिर डार्क सिस्टम के अगेंस्ट नहीं खेलना पड़ेगा, ये खेलता हूँ ऑस्ट्रीम खेलूंगा बैठ के।
Jockeying for position, PPP getting pressured by Kaiser, purifies all of the Yangon, Ying and Blink.
अरे मैं भी उधर से देखता हूँ, इधर दिख नहीं रहा है कुछ, दिमाग खराब सही से। चैट ही ओपन कर लेता हूँ, तुम लोगों को दिखेगा थोड़ी। Damn. Damn. देखना तो मुझे भी वही है भाई, इसे तो कोर्स स्ट्रीमर के राइट्स लिए थे मैंने TR के टाइम से पहले ले रखे थे, मांग रखे थे, मिले नहीं भाई। आई वांट कि वेरिएशन फाल्कन का मैच देखना है, बाकी सब टाइम पास है, प्रो 0-2 हारेगा। वही है, बाकी सब तो टाइम पास है, मेन मैच तो वही है, 3 people प्यूरिफाई डैम फॉर रियल ब्रो। लेकिन हाँ वही तो, बाकी तो टाइम पास है VIT और फाल्कन भाई। अगर फाल्कन जीत जाता तो वही है ना कि फिलीपीन का एक और रहेगा रिप्रेजेंटेटिव आगे के राउंड्स में, और अगर हार गया तो GG हो गया फिलीपीन से इस बार तो। भाई 7-2 कर दिया भाई, लीड पे जाके थ्रो कर दिया। ड्राफ्ट अच्छा नहीं है भाई। ड्राफ्ट अच्छा नहीं है उनका, दिमाग खराब मेरे ख्याल से तो। डैमेज कम है प्रो के साइड से। Three people purify for real bro. लेकिन हाँ उनकी तरफ से डैमेज नहीं होता था, तो फा हो गया फा।
Fighting into that is something that's going to be difficult, especially for a show. You can take a look at the items here real quick. We'll see exactly who has
PPP कोसे है ना उनके, सो फिलीपीन वाला। लेकिन कर भी पाएगा, 0-3-2 तो चला गया उनका, दिमाग का चो का सस्टेन गया, वो 0-2-2 गया। कोयली पता नहीं क्या बादशाह खेल रहा है, बादशाह की नई स्किन खेल रहा है, इसलिए अजीब सा लग रहा है बादशाह, मैंने पता नहीं कौन है। सॉरी आई एम फीलिक्स, या एक का नाम जो सॉन्ग का नाम सॉरी आई एम फीलिक्स है।
Variations of the build, especially for the Jushin, has changed depending on the game, depending on the composition. That's what they're going to play. And so right
Dang,
now,
bro. Oh, Mr. Gush. Oh shit, Cruisin भाग गया.
But you can see that he hasn't invested in that just yet, just building the golden staff.
Just getting the golden staff.
Oh shit.
Had to pop purify.
Oh shit.
He's not going to have that for this turtle. Nor will he have the ultimate.
YG का भी तो रैंक ड्राफ्ट है, प्रो का तो रैंडम ही कुछ ड्राफ्ट है। अरे लेकिन उनका रैंक ड्राफ्ट है, लेकिन द बिग लॉर्ड वो सब है, उनका डैमेज पे उनके पास इधर तो डैमेज ही नहीं है। मॉस्को पे पूरा रिलाई कर रहे हैं, मॉस्को इतना तगड़ा थोड़ी है फास्ट में, अटैक स्पीड में है, लेकिन उतना भी तगड़ा नहीं है ना। यिंग का खेल आ गया है, फ्रेया को लेते हुए PPP मरेगा इसने, देखो अबे ये लड़ ही नहीं रहा, क्या स्केल अप कर रहा है कोजन भाई इतने टाइम से। कोजन भाई कुछ नहीं कर रहा, कोजन भाई अपनी धुन में है भाई, वो अपनी झांझी रूप पे है भाई, वो अलग से ही खेल रहा है। वो सोच रहा है कि भाई मैं सोलो कैरी दे दूंगा, मैं फिलिपिनो हो गया भाई, SOD आ गया उसके मुंह पे भाई, हिंदी कास्टिंग हो गई भाई, कह दिया SOD मुंह पड़ गए हैं भाई के। ओ भाई ये क्या हो गया भाई मॉस्को का SOD पड़ गया किसी मुंह पे भाई। ओ बैंकर, ओ भाई क्या हो गया है। अब मारो उसको, मारो प्लीज मारो भाई इसको, मार दिया इसको, अब खुशी मिली भाई इसको। उतनी देर स्केलिंग कर रहा था भाई, अब पिल गया काम का, PPP भी गया भाई। छी भाई कंबोडिया के प्लेयर इतने घटिया हैं क्या?
It's that much more difficult because you have that.
TR को इनके अगेंस्ट रख देते भाई, इससे बढ़िया तो नहीं, सॉरी TR से इनसे हार नहीं, हाँ TR इनसे तो जीत जाता भाई, इनकी ड्राफ्ट ऐसे TR इनसे तो जीत जाता भाई, सही बोले तो।
Because you got a Freya, you got a Guinevere, there's, I feel like even for Blink, it's been kind of low-key what he's been able to do with the Carmilla, but it's all part of the plan.
It's a mobile box. Essentially what we've been missing throughout the first week of MSC. The fact that we thought we could win with the Eves, with the more, immobile heroes like Eudora.
Yeah.
What Yamba Galactus has through Coach Mars and MGod is they made a mobile box, Joseph. Wherever Blink is where that box is.
And it's a circle.
Yeah.
Let's go, भाई, pro esports bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, bro, Cambodia.
That seems to be working so well with a mobile lineup like this. Now this Lord's coming up here.
Cambodia,
Pro esports has
please,
really
bro.
struggled. Aside from Coily, again, being on this Baksha, we've seen it before. The little drive-bys.
कुछ कर भी सकता है भाई, वो रियलिस्टिकली कुछ नहीं कर सकता मेरे ख्याल में। फोन तो बढ़िया है भाई, लोग सीखता हूँ महंगे फोन लोगों के पास। मेरा तो टूटा हुआ फोन है, स्क्रीन नहीं टूटी है। ग्राफिक्स से भाई क्यों ले रहे हो टीम फाइट? जी भाई जबरदस्ती पिल रहे हैं भाई वो।
Bro, esports, I bet Yangon with 2 kills and a lore.
Man, I can't believe that also Ying was just able to buy so much time on this Freya. You know, when he goes Valkyrie for him, that's enough to go ahead and keep a lot of the members of Pro Esports at bay. And then it was a great time to just allow the Claude to come in. Sanji, again, 4-0-3. Just having a massive game. This is a much
one-sided हो गया था
early than what we're used to for Claude's kind of popping off already, having this many kills, but you can already see it. The follow-through off of the setup is what's working so well. Now, Lord will charge into this mid-turret.
If he finds a kick, serves up one, but it's not going to be enough as the Lord crashes into the base. Coastin throws his spears out.
कितने मिनट का गेम है कहाँ 10 मिनट का हुआ एंड
It's a 1-for-1.
डैंग ब्रो वामोस का मैच आज है क्या नहीं है भाई शायद से आज बस शायद से यही 2 गेम है मेरे ख्याल से तो उसमें उनके वो लिखा ही नहीं था जिसका टाइमिंग मैंने चेक किया था टाइमिंग तो ये था एक और फिर दूसरा था वीआईटी और वो
Three have fallen to try and defend.
They'll take this last turret here. Coast still up, Pete. Jumping in with that concealed. Just wants to get them off of this. They don't want this game to end just yet. Can they hold this base defense? They've got to wave down bottom.
अरे एचओपी में मुझे लग रहा है एचओपी का बस ना उसका देखूंगा सारे मैच देखूंगा एचओपी के बस वो देखूंगा क्या बोलते हैं एसएटीएल का भाई आवाज की क्या आवाज निकाली भाई उसने
Such a quick victory here for Yangon Galacticos, just barely reaching that 11-minute mark. It just feel like they switched to go, man. They went on go very quickly at this one, and it felt like Pro Esports struggled to find a way to play against that mobile box or that mobile circle that we're talking about here.
0 to 100 in 11 minutes.
Exactly.
Sanji had a gold lane experience from the start to the end.
Double kill early on allows the Claude to scale up much faster. But it wasn't even just that. It was just the great team fighting that was on showcase here from Yangon Galacticos in game 1.
He was triple waving and then winning objectives. They lost more turtles than they took, but when you look at the map, it's turrets for turtles. Which one would you rather have?
Well, and this is interesting too, just because, you know, first, I guess, debut pick for Carmilla, you kind of wonder, what did she do? Well, Blink is that guy. He's that roamer to be able to go ahead and pull out some of these hero picks that are unique. And it's very unique to Yangon Galacticos because I know it's mentioned too, he does play a roam Helkert and he can play this roam Carmilla, and you see this work so well. Again, look across the board. A lot of these members of Yangon Galacticos didn't even die. And that's just how well protected and team fighting centric they were to allow this to happen in such a quick manner here. So again, a very quick game 1. Even with this different, bringing out some utility junglers here, it all worked out. So let's go ahead and throw it over to the studio to break down our game 1.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, game 1 goes the way of Yangon Galacticos super early on and super convincingly. We talked about the Undying, the immovable object. 4 members from Yangon Galacticos did not die in game 1. The only exception, the person getting a bunch of kills, Han, as well got some deaths, but I think they'll take that trade. 11-minute game. Ridmar and Mirko, guys, that was dominant.
Yeah, we had to say we told you so, but we told you so. It's exactly as we saw it. And read it in the draft. Kaisa and Sanji now has their 4th game where they're deathless, and the formation breaking that Yangon Galacticos has with their lineup just was too deadly to deal with for Pro.
I think even if the front to back worked well, even if Pro Esports were able to execute it properly, the Carmilla was already a good enough answer to deal with it. And again, it just comes down to the draft. I think for YG, they were prepared for everything. They were prepared for the Gorge steal, the Cho steal as well. They picked up the Guinevere, denied the Fredrin, and without the Fredrin, the Baksha Gore just looked like a very awkward solution to the problem.
It just didn't feel right. It felt like I wasn't watching Pro, and you could tell that they're missing a little bit of that tempo setting aggression. They are playing as if they can set the tempo and can dive and be aggressive, leaving Sa behind often on that board.
People were saying it wasn't, backstage just for the board, the Cho, that wasn't enough. Nope. Definitely not.
पूरा full gap कर दिया भाई 11 मिनट फेल दिया
that can actually CC opponents right from the Baksha. You're more of a tempo-oriented character instead of the Fredrin that wants to peel back. So as a Baksha, you go in, you try to invade early as well. They did get mid-prio, but on a Gord, it's just not something you can really utilize to invade because you're breaking your own line technically by moving past.
हमेशा देख लिया है
King though,
मैंने
man, on the Freya. I think whoever got the Freya at the end of the day would have just had an amazing time because again, the Freya was first pick. We were saying Pro needs to get something to deal with the Freya. Yeah. Phobius was banned out. The Esmeralda I thought would be red 3, but they instead picked up the Baksha. And again, for Pro, they're gonna really have to find out how to deal with this. They cannot play the utility game against Yano Galacticos. They're not a good team when it comes to utility. They're a very chaotic team that relies on mechanics to actually win out the early game. So if you give Yangon a utility matchup, it's just a big stompy stomp, brother.
Yeah, Ying was just left unchecked, and you could tell that with harkening back to a playstyle that was from just a few months ago, few weeks ago, it seemed like Pro was completely out of their comfort. It's just like for a moment that they forgot how to deal with a lineup like this.
Yeah.
Again, leaving their gourd, leaving Ying unchecked. It really just seems like they were shocked to go back to a previous playstyle.
And it's so good because it worked out so well in the end, right? Out of all the utility picks that were nerfed, one of the only ones that was left completely untouched in the patch was the Guinevere. We saw the nerfs onto the Baksha, the Akai, and the Fredrin, and they got themselves a Guinevere to deny the Fredrin, which worked so well and forced the Baksha pick.
Yeah, it was nice to see the way that so many of those things comboed as well. You had the Zushin who could pick up off the ultimate and allow Guinevere to get the ult off. You also had the Freya as she collapsed onto her ult to be able to get quick knockup. So they had a lot of synergy there. Yeah. As we were talking again, just watching this, Gideon saying this just works too easy. And I think that, again, needs to be where pro esports have to apply a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, just with how they were able to manipulate the draft in such a way that everything favored them was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to break down that draft, actually.
You got a draft, Mirko? What do you got for us?
I got a draft, you know? I got a lot to talk about in the drafts, honestly, because I feel like it was completely won by Yago Galacticos in this draft. Red mine.
All right, I got you.
So, I mean, we got this right now. Hold on. Hey, hold on. There you go. All right. So, firstly, we got to talk about the first two bans, right? I think for me, it's just, brother, when you know your comfort is purely on utility, or not purely, but you are more
जल्दी करो
comfortable
भाई
on utility,
क्या हो गया ये?
force it out. It's completely fine to actually force it out. You banned the Fanny, you banned the Ling,
हाँ
but it's also,
उनकी
I
तरफ
gotta
से
say,
इशू है मेरी तरफ से अच्छा उनकी तरफ से
response
ये
from
कैसे
Pro,
क्या
I think
प्रोडक्शन है भाई
they panicked a little bit. Seeing the Fanny and the Ling, they wanted to have something
मैं कंफ्यूज हो
else.
गया
They
ब्रो
wanted to be prepared. They wanted to
मैंने कहा
have
मेरी
like
स्ट्रीम
the
खराब हो
Divine
गई
take
क्या
over with the gourd.
तो
And
चलो तो
they
उनकी
said
स्ट्रीम
ban
खराब
the
हो गई
Liara. But at this point, I think we know that if even
अबे
if you let
उनकी
the
स्ट्रीम
Liara
खराब
go,
है
it
ना
would be good for you to take it as a response.
रुक जा एक मिनट हाँ उनकी स्ट्रीम खराब है
Banning
उनका क्या
Marshawn,
मतलब
banning the
प्रोडक्शन
Atlas,
क्या है
and
भाई
banning
ये
Liara, and they even got baited
मैं
into
सोचा मेरी स्ट्रीम
playing
खराब हो गई
this
ब्रो
composition because they first picked the gourd and the show.
Yeah.
Basically confirming that they want to go for the Fredrin. They want to deny everything away from Yama Galactico's side. So again, it was the Freya first pick into these two picks starting it up. And this basically locks you into a front to back, complete front to back. Nothing you can do about it, right? Because you have
ब्रो
to play
ये क्या
for your goal.
अच्छा
You have
वो
to play for
अच्छा
your
ऐड
champion.
वो
Use that
अच्छा वो
mid
खुद
right.
वो कर रहा
With
है
the
यार
Fredrin,
स्क्रीन
number
पे
one, you wouldn't even be able
मैंने
to
कहा ब्रो
utilize
ये
that
क्या
big
हुआ
man too much
भाई
unless you control neutral
भाई
objectives. And that's why the Guinevere was
वो
just so
है
good here. This forced the
कौन
Baksha pick. This forced the composition to go
अरे
derail away from the
भाई
main win conditions straight up. Because one Baksha, you want to go fast, but with the gourd, you can't do that. Yeah. And at the end of the day, Yago Galacticos, they made sure that this matchup that Pro didn't really capitalize on Red 3 by not picking the Esmeralda, not picking up a winning lane against a Freya, got completely punished later on. Because then they were completely set on, again, playing that pure front to back. If they picked carry instead of the Moscow, it would have actually been worse because
मैं
of
कंफ्यूज
this
हो गया मैंने
Formula
कहा
pick.
इतना गंदा
This
मैंने कहा
Formula
मेरा
pick is
मेरा
just
नेट
so
खराब
good
हो गया
against
क्या हो
any
गया
front
ब्रो
to back composition that wants to stick around. And that's why their only
पता
solution
चला
now
तो
was
उन्हीं के इशू
use
था
off pick, which was, in my opinion, not
EWC
that
वाला की
bad
प्रोडक्शन ही
considering the
ऐसी है ब्रो
circumstances.
लेकिन
That was their last pick to basically say, all right, the only way we win this game is if we snowball hard from the start. And it looked pretty good at the start because they were able to catch
They got
on.
an early kill.
Unfortunately, their composition still had one win condition, and it was just playing that front to back, even with that early kill. So if it wasn't a 2-3K goal lead at the start of the game, it's shot.
Yep. And we actually have some plays to back up everything that we mentioned about the draft. Even though this one, all right. So I need you this time around.
Man, look at the teamwork here.
Yeah, it's all teamwork. Up
And
here.
you're leaning. No one's standing or anything. We're like composed to start off knockout stages.
Yeah.
I like this.
So just two moments here that really stood out for me. It's how Pro Esports really managed this first fight. Once that first fight wants to play out. What's happening? Hey. Okay. We can just go ahead and look at this. All right. So you see how we go back to it once again real quickly. Sa left behind. That is Cardinals in when you're going up against a lineup that wants to dive and you have one major damage dealer in the early game. I feel like they also put too much value on their Moscow being able to be a major presence in terms of damage. Look what happens to Sa.
Bro,
Once their formation is
what
broken,
the hell
now they
kya
got
dekh
no
liya hai?
damage. No matter what kind of combo that you get, you already have heroes under your belt here. Beneath the ultimate of the Carmilla, it's not going to be a good time. And then with that going down really quickly, without their Gorg, you see how quickly they're crumbling. They're able to get the turtle, sure. But this is where, again, we go back into the Freya getting left unchecked. Coily will just get slashed through by this Freya.
Hope in.
The rest
Bhai,
of Young
catch
Galacticos
Kimmy
will
bhai ne
be
bhi laga
able to
diya. I am
recover
live
from
chat.
not being
Hope
able
in.
to get the turtle. Because again, look where Sa
Hope in
needed
kar lo.
to go. He had to go loop around behind
Hope
the wall,
in.
loop all the way back to the
God
turret,
damn.
leading to Ying being able to get the double kill. And this was after we saw that big fight earlier for, I believe that was turtle number 2, where we get to see a classic return to some class.
ये सही है
some
इनके
old
लोग इसमें
rotations
iPad
where
iPad दे
after
रखे हैं
you
स्क्रीन को
win
खुद ही
turtle
करने के
2,
लिए
you
पॉज
go
वॉज करने के लिए गेम को
right here. What's the zoom button? All right, you know what? It's just circled in the back.
वो अच्छा वो गेम लॉबी में है क्या
To the
damn what the
center
hell
of the map, and be able to break the tower. You don't see it here, but the tower goes down so quickly because of how many members of Pro went down. The minions were crashing in. They maximized the gold in the turret and mid, and then we're able to break
भाई ये
it.
लोग इतना
After
बकवास
that,
करेंगे
that's
तो मैं खेल
pretty
नहीं
much
उतना
GG. It would take a
पीछे
fair
एमएमवी चला लेता हूँ घेर लेता हूँ
It's an interesting thing because you mentioned Saw's
अरे
rotation,
भाई
but
गेम
looking at
चला ले
that, I
भाई
think he
क्या
chose
हो
to
रहा
get
है
through the
भाई
fight quickly because the turtle was in the
मैं
middle of it,
भाई
and because he
जल्दी
got
कर ले
pressured from that
भाई
angle, he was
बकवास
had
कम
to
कर लो
abandon the
भाई
entire fight. If he had gone a little
प्लीज
bit,
भाई
again, this is just looking at what you showed.
मैच
Where
दिखा
they
दो
tried to
भाई
end up going, that took a while
भाई
once they were all dead.
वीक हुआ
Amazing
करा हूँ
how
भाई
patient
मैं
it is working against, like you guys
मैं
had said.
दिखा दो भाई
Timbo, we gotta win
नहीं
fast, we
सुननी
gotta win early,
बकवास
we gotta
भाई
win
गेम
early. So
देखना
of
है
course he's
भाई
taking the quickest route. It just seemed like maybe there was more to do
अरे
than there
छोटू
was
फ्री फायर
that they
खेलेगा
could do in that early game. Mentioning this matchup, sorry on Felix and Ying. Felix 4-0 again. Several members, I think it was 4 by the time I looked at it in the green room. It might have been 3 or stayed 4 that did not
भाई वो
die.
पैलवर्ड वाले कितना कॉपी करेंगे
Guys, I mean,
पोकेमॉन
this
को
is just,
सब
they've
कुछ
got to
कॉपी
find
कर लिए
answers.
कार्ड भी कॉपी कर लिए गॉड
Strong
डैम
side lanes with the utility in the
कुछ
center.
छोड़ा ही नहीं
Even
भाई
though Han went down 3 times,
नंगा कर दिया
they're
इन
fine
लोगों ने
with
तो
it
पोकेमॉन
because
को
their Freya's untouched, their Cloud is untouched, their juice in was ripping through the formation and the play style of Pro. With all of that said, yeah, that was their game to lose.
And this is what makes Young Galacticos so scary, right? Because they can play the utility game. They can also play some of those assassins if you leave it open. The Fanny, again, we've seen from Han as well. Not as scary as the utility game because, man, when they get those picks on Ying, when Ying's able to just carry, it's so good. But, again, back to the point at hand here.
You mean the fact that Rhino Day is available in the shop? That too. We've been talking about. I mean, that's been the whole conversation. Now, well, if you're not paying attention, basically, yeah, YG won game 1, but Rhino Day is here. New interactive effects. Grab those emotes, spam them
800 रुपए
to show your support. Whether it's YG, whether it's
Hey,
Pro Esports, whether it's MSC
इंटरेक्टिव
in
में हैप्पी
general.
जनरेट
I
न्यू इन
love
शॉप
it.
नहीं चाहिए भाई
Being so proactive about supporting the esport, that's a great thing to see. Mirko, back to you.
So, again, for Pro, it's just understanding your identity and playing with it, right? You don't win championships by playing something that is completely out of your own, comfort zone.
Yeah.
You still have to stick to your own comfort, and the comfort for them is clearly assassins, man. They cannot play that front to back composition. They need Coily on a carry. They need. Hey, I love you too, man. Thank you so much. God. All right, but yeah, play that aggressive game. Control the tempo. Dictate it. Go crazy.
Yeah, you get I love Mirko
Where's the
signs. I get who's Renmar signs.
No, bro. Everybody loves Renmar.
Yeah, sure. I don't even want to say the sign I get. You probably you probably don't want to see the sign I'm getting. Mark can't stop laughing. Even FaceTiming the homies to be on camera.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
That's
Okay.
what's up.
Yeah, that's a true homie right
I
there.
love it.
Yangon to from Yangon to Paris
Obviously, was that even
बात
Fanny?
है
I'm
I think
guessing
it's
it's Fanny.
Ixia. It was something Ixia.
It was
I
Ixia.
like that. Hey, I think you just gave our writers a new idea. Whoever made that dark triad sound, thanks for the idea.
Tricks
Okay, Duo
Do-
has his own pick. I hope these have been approved.
we
Not
can't do
Saber.
bro pick
Okay,
saber hell
Saber.
no bro get the guard
I like
bro
the Saber.
get that
We
guard
know
there
that
bro
basically the assassin jungle is so important, and they committed to the ban out. They saw the Ling and the Fanny. They said, well, we'll ban the Harara. Let's go away from it. But you've been mentioning they can't do that again today. In game 2 and beyond. So now you're going to see a completely different approach. YG's still going to ban the Ling. but they're not participating, it looks like, on the side of Pro Esports.
And this is where it'll be confusing for Pro Esports, right? Because I know exactly what Young Galacticos are doing now. They're banning out the League, they're banning out the Marsa. I think the Fanny will come next, and they're going to leave it open now. You want to go Hirara or Freya?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think YG will walk away with the winning trade.
They're really centering on the EXP Freya trade.
There you go, right? This is the Fanny ban, and then Pro are just going to be forced into either Hirara or Freya. I don't think you want to let go of the Freya.
Yeah. But then I think it's also a tough call for Pro because they know that the Esmeralda is going to be coming through. Oh, they
They want the Fanny. Oh, that's what they want. Okay, wow, Yangon.
Wow.
All right, so we saw Yangon play a little bit more into the utility. Let's see if they're going to whip out the assassin through the Fanny, or maybe even the Nolan. Who knows?
They go straight up Eudora, Belleric, and then Fanny Red 3 here, no?
Yeah, Eudora will be good, Belleric will be good. I think I want to even consider, I was about to say Selena, but all right, Eudora's not bad.
Oh,
Barrett's early on.
2-0 on Barrett so far. YG have played him twice. They've won twice with him.
I love the development of the meta, man. Barat's early, especially in this situation, just creates so much confusion for Pro because they themselves banned out the Uranus. It looked like they wanted to get their hands on the Barats. But even if Pro go for an Esmeralda, something of a counter against the Barat, this is still a flex pick knowing Young Galacticos. They can put it into the hands of Han. So now as Pro, you don't know what to go.
Right. I think if I'm Pro, I'm looking at what could you pair up with the Barretts and the Matilda. Does Yangon really want to play Matilda Rome and then Eudora mid? If Pro's idea to that is the answer is no, then expect that this Barretts is going EXP.
A safe choice for Pro right now. Oh, I was gonna say, safe choice would be a Lilia to have a way to deal
मैंने
with
क्या
the
करता
Barats
हूँ
anywhere it comes.
शेड
Instead,
हूँ
go for
विद
Selena
भाई मैं
and
अब्दुल्ला
the Belleric.
भाई मैं उबैदुल्ला से
Usually
शेड
where
हूँ
the
ओके
Fanny
भाई
comes around, right?
थैंक्स
There's not
भाई
a lot of crazy lockdown. They can
पता है
ban it
भाई
out.
मुझे
They
भाई
have
लेकिन
the
तूने
Moscow
मेरे से वो
ban.
मांगा
Yeah,
कुछ
you don't
मांगा
need to
था भाई
worry
मैं
about
खुद
something
गरीब
like
हूँ
that.
मेरे से
Vedant
मांगो
showing
भाई
off. The only thing
जब
that
गिव
Pro
अवे होता
Esports
तब
could come in
तब
for
तो
a
जीत
surprise
सकते हो
is
लेकिन
if
उसमें
that
भी
Barretts
चांस
is
होता है
going
तो
EXP. One very old answer to that is to rock a Cho with the EXP so that you get that pick off up against that Fanny. But let's see if Pro
मुझे स्किन
remembers
गिफ्ट
that
दे
and
दो
if that can
आई एम
actually
पुअर भाई
translate
मैं
to
भी
the current metagame
पुअर हूँ भाई
today.
मेरे पे पैसे नहीं है
If
भाई
this is Fanny, Pro Esports
सभी
will be
सभी
scrambling
सभी
to
मेरे से
call
मांगते
off
रहते हो भाई
Absolute. But no, they
मैंने
don't
गिव
want
अवे
to
किया
show
था
it
ब्रो
yet.
The benefit is they just don't show their cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still so much flex,
It's
man.
all flex except the Eudora.
Yeah, except the Eudora.
Wow.
Oh, Pro is probably scratching their heads right now where to go because they can't pick up the Vixana anymore. They already showed the Selena. Yangon is on something else.
I mean,
मैं तुम्हारे दोस्त उबैदुल्ला को बोला था कि मैं गिव अवे करने वाला हूँ 15 जो 1500 सब्सक्राइबर्स रीच करूंगा
they played
तो
Ruby, another character that's come up with flex both
सब्सक्राइब कर देना 1500 सब्सक्राइब करवा देना मेरे
And you can't
तो
play
उसने
the
दो
blue
तीन
next
दोस्तों
week,
को
so-
बोला
This blue could be
फिर उसको
Rogue,
लगा
could
कि
be
मैं फ्री
XP,
गिव अवे दे दूंगा
Barat's
भाई
could be
ये क्या
XP,
बात हुई
Jungle. I don't think we
मैंने
can
कोई
say
जो
it's gonna
जो
go
स्ट्रीम में
all
होगा तो
out.
जीतेगा
That's
उसको
out of the
मिलेगा भाई
equation.
तो
But
कोई
they
और
are the
जीत
Pro
गया
Fanny, so
वो तब
Pro
भी मेरे से मांग रहा है कि
respecting
मुझे
that.
स्किन नहीं
No
दिया
one
भाई
got
कहाँ से
Young
दूं भाई मैं इतना
Galacticos.
अमीर
So
थोड़ी
again,
हूँ
there's still that possible Nolan
मैं
that
3000
could be
स्किन
against
का
Hirara
गिव अवे
as well.
करूंगा अगर स्किन का गिव अवे
And
जीतने का चांस चाहिए
It'll be
फिर
good.
3000
You have a
सब्सक्राइबर
very
तक
strong
वेट करना
HP
पड़ेगा
Barrett. You have a very annoying Roman the Jew.
स्कूल
They
में
ban out
यानी
the
गिव अवे
Fanny
का वेट करना पड़ेगा
and
3000 सब्सक्राइबर्स
everyone
वाले का
lean
उसमें मैं
towards
स्किन
playing the
दूंगा
assassin.
व्यूअर्स को
This Nolan
तो
will
तब
be
देख लेना
fine.
जिसका
Just
जो
go for
जो
the golden
जीतेगा उसको
dealer
मिलेगा
cards
स्किन
there. Leave the Barats as
Yes.
a question mark for Pro to deal with all the way to the end right now. So safe gold laner, I'd say just take away the Moskov, right? Especially because you have a blue, but they go Claude again.
The Brave.
चार दे दो
I
आंसर
think
मांग दो ब्रो
that's a little bit
ऐसा
more
थोड़ी दे
of
दूंगा ब्रो
a-
अरे ब्रो
I
स्पैम
would say
मत
it's an
कर
ego,
भाई
but
यार
Sanji's feeling it.
स्पैम करने लग गया भाई स्पैम करने से
How
क्या
about that?
दूंगा
Pretty
भाई
good game in game one. I guess I'm pretty good. Don't wanna
बॉट रिमूव
compliment
कर
them too
देगा
much.
ब्रो
Remember,
तुझे
They've won twice, and now this could be the third time, so nothing has gone
Spam
wrong.
कर
They
रहा है
picked the
bro, bot
Claude,
remove
second
कर रहा है
comfort pick. It's available. They ban out the Harith, which is the only other highly prioritized gold laner. There you go.
Yeah, Bro ends up with the Moskov again. Sanji handled the duel
स्पैम
with the Moskov.
बोला
We'll
कि
see
भाई
if maybe
स्पैम
with
मत
a
कर
little
भाई
adjustment
ये
by
बॉट
Kozen
म्यूट कर देगा
is enough. I wonder if they have room to put this Belleric in the XP instead and then pick for a different Rome pick, but no matter the permutation you think about, Yangon is going to walk away with great advantage. Bring back an old favorite, Labo Labo in the EXP.
You gotta be really smart with that Lapu Lapu, man. That CC View's gonna have to come clutch before the Detonus welcome, before the big Tom. There you go. So what was that? Baksha, it is Baksha. Alright. YG. Last pick. Is the Barats gonna go into the jungle? Do they pick up the Nolan here and try to bully the Hirara?
Yeah, if this is a fast clearing jungler, this Herrera is not going to have a good time. the lack of AoE also from Pro. Yes, I know they have the ultimate of the Belric and technically AoE from the Lapu Lapu.
स्पैम मत करा करो ब्रो और क्या बोलते हैं अगर स्ट्रीम में आओगे तो भाई प्लीज फ्री की चीजें मत मांगा करो मेरे से मैं खुद अमीर नहीं हूँ मैं मुझे पैसे नहीं मिलते भाई यूट्यूब से मेरे 1500 सब्सक्राइबर्स है 1,50,000 नहीं है ब्रो मेरे अगर मेरे बहुत सब्सक्राइबर्स होते और मैं पैसे कमाता यूट्यूब से तो मैं तब बिग गिफ्ट कर सकता कुछ ना कुछ लोगों को लेकिन सभी मेरे से वीकली पास स्क्रीन जैसे मांगे भाई अमीर थोड़ी है मैं मुझे नहीं मिलता भाई यूट्यूब से कुछ पैसा मैंने उबैद को क्या बोलते कितने 22 डायमंड्स दिए थे जो मांग रहा था उसके बस 22 चाहिए था तो 22 सस्ता होता तो दे दिया मैंने उसको स्किन सस्ता नहीं होता ब्रो स्किन वीकली पास से सस्ता नहीं होता बहुत महंगा होता और मैंने कहा था कि जो गिव अवे जीतेगा लकी विनर होगा उसको मिलेगा प्रीमियम स्टारलाइट तो उसमें भी भाई जो जीता उसको कांग्रेचुलेट करने की जगह ब्रो मुझे बोल रहा है कि मुझे भी दे दे क्यों कैसे दे दूं भाई तो सस्ता थोड़ी होता है 850 या 750 डीएस का होता है भाई वो
Nice, Leo. Let us know what you think about this draft. It's game 2. Pro Esports hoping it goes a little longer than 11 minutes. They definitely want a longer game here if you're Pro Esports. Now, Yangon Galacticos, they brought out a draft that, yeah, I have to agree with. Looks deadly. Then that Suyo comes back here, Leo. We haven't seen it too much. They kind of fell off a little bit after nerfs, but maybe this is one of those cases where, you know what, the Harara's got all this mobility. Let me just be this Suyo and try to match.
Nice, it's not just the fact that it's the Harara on the other side, it's the fact that Pro Esports are now playing with a more proactive lineup. Yeah. I agree with Mirko, I agree with Renmar. Even Rainday knows that there's something up with this weird Suyo from out of nowhere.
Yeah, could definitely struggle, but it's one of those cases where, if anything, Young Galacticos has really showed us that they're really good at just playing as a team. You know, playing team-centric across the map is what has worked so well for them. And yeah, even if we look at the emblems here, you know, it's not too much that we have to worry about on the side of Young Galacticos because if Sanji has a similar game
bro
to what he has
clean sweep now there
Cloud's going to scale much more deadly to that. And we all know this. These, look at Sidora. This is what I was going to talk about.
Early revitalized, fourth on PvP.
Oh shit. PvP मर गया फिर से भाई छी भाई क्या प्लेयर है PvP
striking like lightning.
I don't even have to finish what I was going to say because I was going to talk about the Eudora, man, and how good she's been in this tournament for MSC, but just in the meta in so far the past couple weeks even. And you see that, a double kill early on as we look at the replay brought to us by STC. Look at the damage you can do this early on. This is why we say it's kind of busted, man. I mean, and then the flicker forward to capitalize on the double. That's dirty.
You know, it was compounding effort. Oh, real quick, up top near the orange. Hard ball, Sam Baines in the trade.
Damn, भाई फिर से भाई Pro Esports से गई क्या होप थे कंबोडिया से
And there goes another PvP. Double kill for Ying. Softballs another time. Yangon are calling all the shots despite losing the retribution holder.
Oh man, it just got way worse here for Pro Esports. I'm so surprised they continue to hone in, double down on this. Sorry on Felix. He's just, there's nothing he can do here.
No, sir. That's the first turtle going to Yangon.
Okay, so our whole concern with the studio isn't even the first point to worry about now for Pro Esports. It's Kaze just getting another kill off cam. 4-0-2 under 3 minutes.
Kaze the killer. He is chasing Coily and Kozen's kill records from the troops.
He's taking him to the Thunderdome, man. I mean, there's something that you have to be concerned about. And it's just right now, it's all this Eudora in the hands of Kaze because what is happening is her damage profile.
I think मुझे mythic so many bro अरे बहुत सारे हट जाएंगे रुक जा अरे मैं इसको बार बंद करता हूँ वो फिर से स्टार्ट हो जाता है ब्रो रुक जा थोड़ा सा अच्छा हाइड हो जाएगा स्ट्रीम थोड़ी देर के लिए रुक जा लेकिन ऐड को लो करता हूँ ऐड को देखता हूँ लो होता है कि नहीं होता मीडियम में फिर से कैसे हो गया मैंने इसको लो पे किया था उस दिन भी मीडियम पे आ गया फिर से फिर अब सही हो गया होगा अब सही हो गया होगा अब नहीं आएगा एक या ऐसा ही कुछ आएगा शायद से माय मनी ऑन प्रो ब्रो प्रो हार रही है ब्रो, पता नहीं कैसे। मुझे भी लगा प्रो जीतेगी। I thought pro would actually win, but I don't know what's happening there. They're getting cooked. Did he join? What? Join किया है। Welcome to stream by 30 Studio. क्या join किया bro? Bro subscribe कर देना चैनल को और like कर देना stream को। Thank you by stream देखने के लिए। Join किया है मतलब क्या bro?
Maybe the Belrix.
क्या join
I'd
किया
say
है?
it's off of a perfect arrow, which Sa hasn't yet found. Yeah. The best chances would have been before the turtle or during those early skirmishes, but I don't know, something about Sa and the young Gakas being so far up front throws off.
Give दे दो मिनट हाँ मैंने like सब्सक्राइब दोनों किए bro, thank you रोनक। लेकिन भाई तो लाइक सब्सक्राइब करने में तुम्हें फ्री स्किल्स थोड़ी बांट दूंगा भाई, पैसे थोड़ी है मेरे पे इतने। डिस्कॉर्ड ये किसकी आईडी दे रहा है ये 136080? क्या भाई ये क्या किसकी आईडी है भाई ये? अच्छा वही है, सेम आईडी, अपनी दूसरी आईडी से कमेंट कर रहा है। I will, मैंने भी भाई, तू सेम आईडी तो है भाई, वो तेरी तो आईडी है ब्रो। किसका पागल बना रहा है भाई वो? अपनी आईडी का 803702 सेम आईडी का वो बेच रहा है दो से आईडी से 803702 और क्या ऐसा एक्ट कर रहा है कि अलग-अलग आदमी होगा ब्रो।
You know, all this happening and a 4,000 gold lead at the 5-minute mark. Sanji and Blink, the rest of the team are here. Kaise so deadly with the
Sorry,
as
bro.
well. Coily, looking to take down Blink, takes a few blue links out on the way. 5.5 minutes in, Joseph. Gotta say, Sanji's been getting the gold, the lane experience once again. Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
लेकिन ब्रो बार-बार स्पैम मत करो, बॉट बैन कर देगा। जब गिव अवे होगा तो तुम लोगों को पता चल जाएगा ब्रो। मैं गिव अवे का पोस्ट कर देता हूँ कि इसको इस सब गोल पे वो होगा गिव अवे, तब उसमें तुम लोग पार्टिसिपेट करके जीत सकते हो। लेकिन ऐसे नहीं ब्रो कि क्या बोलते हैं किसी को फ्री में दे दिया कुछ भी ब्रो। इतना अमीर थोड़ी ब्रो, इतना अमीर होता अंबानी होता, मैं जेफ बेजोस होता, मिलियनर होता तब भी दे देता ब्रो। जब तुम लोग बड़े यूट्यूबर्स को मांगते हो जिनके पास व्यूज है, सब्सक्राइबर्स और पैसे, वो तो नहीं देते भाई तुम लोग को। भाई मैं कैसे दूंगा? किस लिए लाइव कर रहे हो? हाँ ब्रो उसके लिए MSC EWC ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप के लिए को स्ट्रीमर है ब्रो मैं, हिंदी के लिए। वैसे मैं इंग्लिश में स्ट्रीम करता हूँ लेकिन मैं अभी हिंदी को स्ट्रीमर है उसका।
It seems to be Blink right now, but even with all these ults thrown out, Blink might survive. SOD sidesteps in, has a little more time, but PPP punches him into the ground. A little bit of a kill, some respite for Pro. Yeah, a bit of a baby step in the right direction that Pro Esports needs. Again, they need to slowly build up here in their own favor. And
damn bro,
at some point, you just gotta get what you can take. Oh. Han is 2 levels up on Coily. Despite the man advantage for Pro, the retribution count.
Yangon बहुत तगड़ा खेल रही है pro नहीं जीतेगा ऐसे।
Yeah, even without Blink, you know, there's just too much of a threat right now for YG's lineup. And like you said, I think, you know, this is the big part. It's so much responsibility for Sa to land these arrows. You know, usually when we see these Selenas picked up so far throughout MSC, yeah, you're able to play around the arrows, you know, you're able to go ahead and follow through, but that's if you're not down so much that
ये तो तब भी, लेकिन ये लगता है 10 मिनट से ज़्यादा गेम जाएगा ब्रो।
you don't essentially have this free reign to just go
लास्ट गेम तो 10 मिनट पे एंड हो गया।
have the team make it because it's all just a risk up to this point, still holding up almost 3 levels now against
जी हो गया लास्ट
गेम thread on the bottom side. Oh, both junglers up on this top side too. We might actually have 2 fights.
Bro, उबैदुल्ला टोल भी सपोर्ट करना गिफ्ट दे देगा ब्रो। ऐसे ब्रो पागल बना दिया ब्रो तेरा। वो उसको मैंने बोला था, वो जो मेरी स्ट्रीम में आया था, उसको मैंने बोला, उसने मुझे बोला ब्रो 20 डायमंड गिफ्ट कर दो मुझे प्रोमो स्किन लेना है कुछ। तो 20 डायमंड्स तो बहुत छोटा अमाउंट है, तो मैंने उसको गिफ्ट कर दिया। मैंने उसको फिर बोला कि सब्सक्राइब कर देना ब्रो चैनल को। मैं तो 1400 कुछ सब्सक्राइबर्स पे था, तो मैं उसको बोला ब्रो मैं 1500 सब्स पे गिव अवे करने वाला हूँ प्रीमियम स्टारलाइट का, तो सपोर्ट करना मुझे। और मैंने कहा सपोर्ट करना मुझे और हेल्प करना 1500 रीच करने में। अगर तुम लोगों को प्रीमियम स्टारलाइट का गिव अवे चाहिए, तो गिव अवे क्या होता है कि रैंडमली एक विनर सिलेक्ट होता है, चैट में से, तो चैट में से उबेदुल्ला नहीं जीता। उबेदुल्ला ने बोला कि ब्रो अरे फिर मुझे क्या मिला, मैं क्यों आया, ये क्या बात हुई ब्रो, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट नहीं किया जो जीता उसको। वो भाई अपना रो रहा है कि उसको क्यों नहीं मिला। तो भाई जो पुराने सब्सक्राइबर है वो इतने टाइम से देख रहे हैं, वो तो फ्री में नहीं मांगते ब्रो कुछ, वो तो नहीं कहते हमें भी गिफ्ट कर दो, ये कर दो। तो अब मैंने कहा था कि फिर जो जीता था 1500 सब गिव उसके मैंने बोला अब अगला गिव होगा 3000 सब्सक्राइबर्स पे। अब जो 3000 सब्सक्राइबर्स होंगे तभी दूंगा, ऐसे थोड़ी दे दूंगा, इतना मेरे थोड़ी मेरे साथ गेम खेलोगे ब्रो, खेल लेता, लेकिन अभी मैं ये स्ट्रीम देख रहा हूँ, इन लोगों का टीम्स का मैच देख रहा हूँ, जब खेलूंगा स्ट्रीम पे तब कर दूंगा। क्योंकि मैं इसका ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप का मैं कोच स्ट्रीम करता हूँ, मुझे कोच स्ट्रीम करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा बहुत, लेकिन मुझे ऐड कर लेना गेम में, मैं खेल लूंगा जब मैं स्ट्रीम करूंगा। वो बहुत घमंडी और अहंकारी है। डैम ब्रो।
Again, lines up the queller. Just a cool guy, you know. Shoots, goes back to the Lord. Here's someone else low.
Crazy, bro.
Let me go grab that double, and just goes back to secure the objective. And this is the problem. This team fighting.
क्योंकि ब्रो मुझे अभी ना YouTube से जैसे स्ट्रीमर्स होते हैं उनको, स्ट्रीमर्स या यूट्यूबर्स होते हैं उनको पैसे मिलते हैं, वो बेदुल्ला इज घमंडी, तुम लोगों का दोस्त है वो, लेकिन वो तो बेसिकली ब्रो क्या होता है ना, यूट्यूबर्स को या यूट्यूब स्ट्रीमर्स को पैसे मिलते हैं अगर वो बहुत फेमस होते हैं, जैसे जिनके पास 1 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स होते हैं उससे ज़्यादा होते हैं, जैसे 10,000 सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं लेकिन बहुत व्यूज़ आते हैं उनकी स्ट्रीम्स पे और चैनल पे या वीडियोस पे, तो उन लोगों को पैसे मिलते हैं, तो वो लोग तो वो गिफ्ट भी कर सकते हैं चीज़ें क्योंकि उनको पैसे मिलते हैं यूट्यूब से। मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं मिलते पैसे यूट्यूब से क्योंकि बहुत कम लोग मेरी स्ट्रीम देखते हैं और प्लस मेरे पास सब्सक्राइबर्स कम है, तो मुझे पैसे नहीं मिलते यूट्यूब से। जैसे तुम लोग जैसे बड़े यूट्यूबर्स को पूछते हो ना कि क्या होता है गिफ्ट कर दो गिफ्ट कर दो, उनके पास है पैसे तब भी नहीं करते वो गिफ्ट, मेरे पास है ही नहीं, तभी मैं गिफ्ट करता हूँ थोड़ा बहुत। मेरा दोस्त के नाम पे पीठ पीछे छुरा मारा है ब्रा, ऐसा क्या कर दिया भाई सुधीर साहब, ऐसी क्या धोखेबाजी कर दी भाई सुधीर साहब।
The closest that you have is between the XP laners, but you know, for Ying, he has one job, and that's just
bro ने delete कर लिया उसे,
tank a bunch of damage. He's already got great coverage. You know, radiant armor for that magic, chastised pauldron plus the antique caress here. He's as tanky as he pretty much needs to be to set things up around that ultimate.
Not to mention Blink, who's just about to get his flicker back. Yeah, he can go ahead and mount, easily break through the formation, and then scramble.
भाई ने डिलीट कर दिए सारे मैसेज, भाई के दोस्त ने धोखा दे दिया, साला बहुत बड़ा चोर है, क्या चोरी कर लिया उस भाई से ज़्यादा, डैम ब्रो।
Yeah, there's this, you know, those things add up, shred through some of that magic resistance that's trying to be built up even by pro esports.
That's just two of them. That's just two.
चोरी भी करता है वो क्या भाई।
Again, tanky.
Oh, flicker! Then as well, the Poop throws it into PvP and he's forced to take root, and Han serves up another, gets another stack, and in comes one more to Safos. Might be another. Blake down to about a 10th of his HP. Sanji finds him underneath the face.
भाई कमेंट्री
his first kill in this 11.5-minute game.
Stayed a little too long, but did the damage anyway. 3 down for pro esports.
क्या तुम उससे अच्छा मानते? नहीं ब्रो मैं उसको नहीं जानता ब्रो, मेरा दोस्त थोड़ी है भाई उबैदुल्ला, मैं थोड़ी जानता हूँ ब्रो उसको, तुम लोगों का दोस्त है भाई, मेरा थोड़ी है ब्रो। मैं स्ट्रीमर हूँ, तो मैं स्ट्रीम करता हूँ, लोग मेरी स्ट्रीम देखने आते हैं, उन लोगों को सबको नहीं जानता मैं, मेरे दोस्त नहीं है वो, तो क्या बोलते हैं बहुत लोग मेरी स्ट्रीम देखने आते हैं, मेरे से बात करते हैं और फिर ऐसे ही, तो मेरी स्ट्रीम देखने आता है उबैदुल्ला, उसने मेरे से बोला कि ब्रो प्लीज कैन यू गिफ्ट मी डायमंड, ऐसे कर रहा था वो, तो मैंने कहा, तो मैंने उसको सिंपल सी बात बोली कि जो मैंने बताया तुमको, तो तुम उसको जानता नहीं हो भाई, तो ऐसा जानता तो हूँ नहीं तुम लोगों को किसी को, लेकिन मेरे बहुत सब्सक्राइबर्स जिनको जो मेरे से हर दिन स्ट्रीम में देखते हैं और बात करते हैं, उन लोगों को जानता हूँ मैं, तो हर किसी को थोड़ी जानूंगा ब्रो मैं, तो उसको मैं अच्छा कैसे मानूंगा जब मैं उसको जानता ही नहीं ब्रो। YG oh एक और लॉर्ड सिक्योर्ड ओह शिट ओह बेलरिक को मार दिया सुयो ने, come on bruh, come on brother, kill bro।
They've had complete control
वो भिखारी की तरह पूरे वाईटी में डायमंड्स गिवे की वीक मांगता है ब्रो। ऐसा होता है, बहुत लोग होते हैं भाई, वो उबैदुल्लाह की बात नहीं, बहुत लोग होते हैं ऐसे ही करते हैं कि क्या बोलते हैं, दूसरों की स्ट्रीम पे जाएंगे, वो बोलेंगे कि ये डायमंड्स दे दो ब्रो, ये फ्री में दे दो, वो फ्री में दे दो। फिर उनको यदि जैसे बड़े यूट्यूबर जैसे भाई मिस्टर बीस्ट होता है ना, मिस्टर बीस्ट को के पास इतने पैसे, उसके 500 मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं, उसको तुम लोग बोलोगे कि मुझे गिफ्ट कर दे तो वो कर सकता है, उसके बहुत पैसे हैं भाई है। अब भाई तुम लोग छोटे यूट्यूबर्स के पास जाके बोलोगे गिव अवे कर दे, ये दे दे, ये दे दे, तो हर कोई तो करेगा नहीं, और बार बार तो नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि सब हम लोग के थोड़ी पैसे होते छोटे स्ट्रीमर्स के पास। तो जो बड़े ही नहीं कर रहे तो छोटे क्या करेंगे ब्रो, जिसके पास 1 लाख ऐसा कुछ है वो तो कर भी देगा, उसके पास पैसे हैं। मेरे तो भाई 1500 सब्सक्राइबर, मेरे पास थोड़ी पैसे बन रहे हैं, तो मैं कैसे देता रहूंगा ब्रो। कभी कभी तो तब भी चलता है, लेकिन हर बार थोड़ी कैसे कैसे करूंगा ब्रो, इतना तो मेरे भी पैसे नहीं है। इसलिए मुझे बोला तू मैं ट्राई करके लिए आ गया। अच्छा हाँ वही होगा भाई, कोई बात नहीं ब्रो। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता ना भाई तुम्हें वाईटी से पैसा मिलता है, नहीं मिलता ब्रो, वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, अगर मिलता तो मैं देता रहता ब्रो। अगर मेरे पास यूट्यूब से पैसा मिलता ना ब्रो मुझे बार बार, यानी अच्छा खासा पैसा मिलता मुझे, जैसे अगर मुझे 10,000 या ऐसे कुछ 1,000 2,000 पर डे ऐसे कुछ मिलता तो मैं तब भी दे देता लोगों को, लेकिन मुझे मिलता ही नहीं तो दूं कैसे भाई। ऐसा तो होगा नहीं कि मैं चीजें अपने पैसे देता रहूंगा और मैं गरीब बन जाऊंगा खुद ही, फिर मैं क्या करूंगा ब्रो, स्ट्रीम करते करते गरीब हो गया, गिफ्ट देता देता दूसरों को, ऐसा कैसे होगा ब्रो। अपना भी तो देखूंगा ब्रो मैं कि मेरे पे है कि नहीं। आईओएस नहीं आ रहा है, हाँ आवाज नहीं आ रही है, आ रही होगी ब्रो, आवाज कैसे नहीं आ रही ब्रो।
I think our panel will dissect a little more from the minute to minute, because the early game went sideways. I think that was a big cannon moment.
आ तो रही होगी थोड़ी बहुत ब्रो, ये तो आवाज वॉल्यूम अप कर ले।
Breakdown of game 2. This was another strong one.
Galacticos aren't just playing like the best team in this matchup, they're playing like the best team in the galaxy right now in MLBB. And I'll give you 3 C words to describe it: clean, concise, and unfortunately for Pro Esports, curt. These have not been long games. They have not been games that have been enjoyed by any Pro Esports fan. And it's because YG just looks so good.
ठीक से नहीं, थोड़ा सा ही आ रहा है। अच्छा ऐसा है क्या ब्रो, एक मिनट देखता हूँ।
Everything they're playing perfectly, honestly. No way else to put it. They look way too good. And it's not just the execution, it's the draft.
देखता हूँ एक मिनट, अब ज्यादा आएगा। देखता हूँ ब्रो, आएगा शायद से, एक मिनट। माइक ये रहा, माइक फिल्टर्स, ऑडियो फिल्टर, गेन, अब आ रहा होगा थोड़ा सा ज्यादा, या 4 पे कर देता हूँ, अब हो रहा होगा, अब ज्यादा जोर से आवाज आ रही होगी। अरे अब तो कट फट रहे होंगे कान। मेरा नाम अल्केमिसी है बोल के पहचान सकते हो, दोस्त बनोगे? हाँ ब्रो, व्हाई नॉट ब्रदर। अब आवाज आ रही होगी ब्रो, तुम ऐड कर सकते हो ब्रो मुझे, अब ज्यादा जोर से आ रही होगी। हाँ ब्रो ऐड कर सकते हो तुम लोग मुझे गेम पे, भाई कोई भी ऐड कर सकता है मुझे गेम पे।
Yeah, it seems like just when they think that they've come up with an answer to something, or an answer that's yet to show up for a question that's yet to be asked. As Mergo mentioned, Yangon already knows, like, oh, no, we're already at that point. We're already at the second phase of the draft. Just when you started, it's rare to see Barracks get picked up this early on, but this might be something that other teams might look into now.
Damn, 2-0 हो गया। मैं भी वाईटी करना चाहता हूँ ब्रो, कर ले भाई स्टार्ट, बहुत इजी होता है, बस टीम का अपने फोन से हो गया। लेकिन डेली करता रहा ब्रो स्ट्रीम।
He hasn't made his presence felt enough here, and that's not his fault. Yangon keep drafting lineups and heroes that effectively take Orion Felix out of the fight.
Mirko, how would you draft against YG?
Right now, I mean, it's very, very difficult for me to draft against YG. I don't know how I would draft against YG, man. But for Pro, they should already have an answer, not to this, but to adapt. It really just feels like for me, I mean, you can see the expressions as well, Cap God, that they're stuck in the group stage.
Yeah.
They're still stuck in the group stage. They're still going for picks that are prio in the group stage, even picking up the Selena, the Belleric here after seeing the Eudora and the Barats early on. They really are stuck there. They're really stuck with the same picks, and they didn't evolve. We saw the last 2 days. I mean, we had a break.
Yeah.
These teams should have been already kind of like trying to find the new answers. And
I don't have an actual device. Redeem code मिलता है कहाँ bro? इस competition में देते होंगे पता नहीं. मेरे पास अच्छा device नहीं है. हाँ bro, problem होता है. मेरे पास भी अच्छा device नहीं है भाई.
My analysis on that matchup, right? The Brats was picked up red 4 by Entity 7 against FCPH. We saw the Uranus pick up then by Sanford, and it just cooked them because it was flexed in. So here they utilized that idea, but all the way in the
I could not make a video. मैं video नहीं बना सकता. भाई मेरे पास भी अच्छा device नहीं होगा. तो या तो wait कर जब अच्छा device आएगा.
So now that's even more layers of like, oh, who's going where?
And that combo is devastating. I think even for Pro, they were caught off guard because the Eudora's second skill, you get a little bit of magic defense shred.
Yes.
You add a roamer with magic damage, the glue, and my goodness gracious, you saw how much damage they dealt.
Goodness
That's why.
gracious.
That's the reason.
I mean, the other thing is Kaize early on. I mean, 4 kills from mid for Eudora. You cannot let that happen.
Yeah, that just really goes to show that the mid laner is reading the opposing team so well.
Yeah.
The mid laner gets that much kills. I know it's a Eudora. I know how easy it could be to get kills into Eudora.
अरे मैंने
quickly,
short
especially
string को क्या हो
once you
गया?
get that first item. But with how he was moving in the map, the specific positions he was getting into the bush, the timings of it all really showed that he did his homework. He's like, I know he's here. I know he's gonna be here.
For me, it's also the response to it. You see the
पता नहीं क्या. I was looking for a long time. I did not get it. मैं बहुत देर से देख रहा था, नहीं मिला. Should I speak in English? कौन सी language बोल रहे हो? मैं दोनों language बोलता हूँ bro. English, Hindi और 2-3 languages बोलता हूँ bro. कुछ language use कर रहा हूँ. ये असल में EWC की कोर्स स्ट्रीम में हिंदी में कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए हिंदी बोल रहा हूँ bro. लेकिन बोलता तो मैं English भी. मैं देखने जा रहा हूँ कोई दूसरा गेम में खेल रहा है क्या?
They go for the Lapu Lapu up top there instead of something that can guarantee tempo. Again, it would have been wasted down. It's something like an
लगता है नहीं देख सकते.
The Uranus early that was banned out by them themselves as well, and no mid try.
मैं चेक कर रहा था कि दूसरे स्ट्रीमर्स क्या बोलते स्ट्रीम करते हुए. इस गेम में खेल रहा है क्या? तो कोई नहीं खेल रहा. तो लगता है मैं भी नहीं खेल सकता.
To the neutral objectives first.
It's been 2 drafts in a row where they've dropped their EXP laner for Saria on Felix.
Hirara,
That is maybe something they need to look at, Mirko, because there's an element to the draft, but as we'll have time to talk about
How साल old are तुम? Bro मैं 24 years का हूँ भाई.
because you've just lost another set. If we're in group stages, you've just lost again to YG. Now you got one more game, but it's like, geez, can we get over this hill?
Yeah, for teams that love momentum, that love to be the one setting the tempo, this is going to be a
पीछे से MLB भी खेल रहा हूँ.
I don't doubt that the coaches are going to
background पे.
get the back into shape again.
तो इसलिए
They had the
बोर भी
draw
हो रहा
to
हूँ
win
bro.
the grand finals in FPL Cambodia season
इतना
10 as
भूलते
well.
भाई ये लोग. बंद करो बोलना bro.
They're gonna have to run. They can't just crawl back here. Yanga Galacticos. You crawl in front of them, it does seem like they're just gonna stomp you down, bro.
Watch out there with that Barat's pick being let through. By the way, if you guys want to be a part of streaming this action, get your opinions in. You're listening to us, but you can share them by joining the EWC streaming crew.
लोगों भी नहीं कर रहे इसमें क्या बोलते हैं.
Dope prizes. I know we've been seeing people stream on our side.
देख कोई और खेल रहा है क्या?
Live in the bus.
ये भी है अपना.
And he's earning prizes, so make sure you scan that QR code and join. You might
Dash stream कर रहा है इसलिए ज़्यादा viewers कर. Brother I requested you to friend list में. Bro भाई requested to friend list क्या मेरा device में keyboard नहीं. हाँ.
Watching online, we appreciate you guys. On the back side of this, we will have game 3.
मेरे device में keyboard नहीं आता.
First set of the day.
देखता हूँ bro बाद में.
Start of Pro Esports return. Either way, we want to let you know there's something.
कोई नहीं खेल रहा पीछे games. तो मैं भी नहीं खेल सकता लगता है.
In a new mode called We Fly Together.
ओ मुझे पिक करना पड़ेगा. अरे हेल्थ रूम आ गया. प्ले डुओ फॉर शूट एम अप ऑल इन ए स्टाफ. ओके ब्रो बाद में करता हूँ गेम खेलने के बाद. एक मैच में होगा. सिलेक्ट योर बैटलफील्ड. Are you playing a good game? क्या? अच्छा खेल लेते हो क्या? ठीक ठाक होगा.
A lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it. They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their
Chat with us. Chat से बातें करो. कर तो रहा bro. Chat से ही बातें कर रहा हूँ लेकिन गेम खेल रहा bro मैं. पीछे. वो chat में भी नहीं है bro इसलिए. Adapt, please adapt.
You're done.
Adapt versus Tyler 1. Crazy. Play now, rank up, dominate. मुझसे बोल बात तो कर रहा ब्रो रिप्लाई तो कर रहा हूँ भाई तेरा
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here now. The proud
Satvik is like on bro.
Powering the biggest event of
मैं
gaming,
जानता हूँ उसको
shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
Well, Yangon Galacticos have started out with two, I don't even want to say easy, but I will say complete games. I'll add another C word there for how they've approached pro esports. They got the better end of the draft and then
तुम करते क्या हो bro स्टूडेंट हो
the
मैं
game, gentlemen.
पढ़ाई करता हूँ
Renmar, Mirko,
कभी कभी
myself, Randa here on the desk to break down what can they do. I raised the question to you, Mirko. I'll raise it to Renmar to kick us off. How do you draft against YG?
Maybe hire some mind readers at this point. I don't know.
Fortune teller.
Yeah, there's something that Yangon Galacticos is doing or how they prep for this. You can see that there's always an anchor point in their draft. Whether it's a ban, whether it's a specific pick, there's always just one thing that's just throwing a wrench every time towards the plans that pro esports has that they just overlook.
मेरा एनिमी ने सेव और जंगल दे रखा है
Man,
वो रेड ले रहा था फिर वो मेरे टीममेट्स को बाहर रिक्वेस्ट कर था मैंने उसको बफ चोरी कर लिया उस टाइम में
No. Maybe you can leave. What was the last ban for them? The Atlas Open. It's like, no, I don't think so.
पढ़ाई या कोई
So,
पढ़ाई ब्रो
at the end of the day, they're just gonna have to deal with it through outplaying their opponents. So now I say focus on your own game, right? Instead of trying to go for just meta picks or trying to deny even YG's picks from game one. Play your style of MLBB, all right? Build around what your strength is. And right now, for me, it's Coily on Assassins and everybody else on winning matchups. So get that first.
yeah, okay. So they were already able to take the Coily on Assassin box earlier. So maybe does that mean you pick up your pick for Sorian Felix earlier?
Yes.
Because Ray they did point out earlier that means that Sorian Felix was getting his picks always picked last now for
Will you collaborate with me मेरे साथ collaboration करोगे bro डिपेंड करता है वो तुम लोग तुम क्या तुम्हारे को कितने सब्सक्राइबर है
I was thinking maybe you could go for something like an Alice.
तो कैसा collaboration भाई
Yeah, the glue as well. So there's so many answers. Just don't panic. Don't overthink. Think of the easiest answer
collab
first,
title
right? Yeah. Easy's better.
ZX क्या
Keep it simple. Crowd control,
bro क्या
damage. Obviously, they're building around a lot of different things. You can understand people.
ऐसा तो नहीं कर सकते कि अगर किसी का 0 या 100 के अंदर सब्सक्राइबर्स है मैं उसको collaborate कर रहा हूँ कि उससे मेरा फायदा नहीं होता कुछ bro
Each other, there's something missing. YG have had every single time good laning phases and the good team fights that were threatening. With Marara coming out early for pro, but these bans
pretty much the same.
they take away the Zushin though.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't get countered with that in mid, with the which set up the Guinevere and a lot of other things.
Yeah. They pick up the Herrera for themselves or endangers grass again. So it looks like pro esports are gonna try and see if they can just remix to a much better ending for them. The draft from game number 2. Yangon still picking up the Eudora. And instead of going for the Belleric rush,
क्योंकि मैं कास्ट
which I
मैं
feel like Yangon is thinking is the
कमेंटेट
pick
करता
now
हूँ
that
एवरी
pro
विकेट और
esports is
वैसे तो
looking
किसी के
to
साथ वो नहीं
pick
करता
up,
कोलैबोरेट
instead of the Barracks rush, excuse me, they pick up the Belleric.
आ गया कोड ब्रो उसका मोबा का कोड आ गया 2 champs 26
5 games out with it and has won
गेम में
4.
कोड टाइप करते हैं तो कुछ मिलेगा सबसे
which again solves a lot of their problems. But the Esmeralda's still open. Yangon says, no, we're feeling it. We're picking up the Fanny.
It's just so also good. Again, for Young Galacticos, they saw the UNS ban in game number 2, right? The UNS ban with the Phobias and the Atlas. Then that's the reason they went for the Marat super early. Even if you countered it, it's going to be flex anyways, but even if you countered it, it won't be a crazy counter like the Uranus. This time around, they go Bellerin Eudora, the easy route, and then they see the Uranus on the other side, they don't bite on the Barats.
बेलोंग क्या ब्रो मैं कमेंटेटर हूँ ब्रो मैं एमएलबी की कास्ट टूर्नामेंट कास्ट करता हूँ ये कोड बोल रहा है रिडीम कोड बोल रहा है तो 2 champs 26 लिख दे ब्रो गेम में तो तुझे कुछ मिलेगा ऐसा मुझे किसी ने बोला नहीं
They can still pull off something crazy like a Dairoth with a Fanny up top the Uranus against a Dairoth, right? It's not something that I would, go for usually, but if they really just want to snowball and if they think they already kind of meant
Will
to
I
destroy their opponents in the last 2 games.
There's a lot of CC, and there's someone to capitalize on it right there. So you see the game plan. This, I feel that they're just getting the people who need to do well, from Kozin to Sariam Felix, to on.
रिडीम आया हाँ ब्रो
To counter
कहीं
this
कहाँ बोला ब्रो
assassin
लिख के
matchup,
देख
you
ब्रो
do need something strong.
ये
And
लिख के
Coily
गेम
leads
में
that
जाके लिख के
wrong.
देख
So
ब्रो
at this point,
क्या बताऊँ कहाँ है मुझे
do
खुद
you
नहीं पता
feel
मुझे
like
किसी
this
दोस्त
is
ने
a
बोला
better draft, at least a better attempt?
For Pro Esports? Yeah, for sure. I mean, we asked for them to get their Soriam Felix hero much earlier. They get Cody and Assassin. They get the power pick in the Cozin's hand. Now they can just adjust for roll mid. I feel like the previous drafts, they were looking at roll mid way too early and then now decided, okay, let's switch it up. Let's get side lane prio and then we adjust our roll mid later. I like that Selena band too, right?
लिख के देख ब्रो जब वो आया किसी ने मुझे बोला इसलिए
advantage for sure and XP guaranteed. So it could
यार ऐसे भी हो
as
सकता है
long
बस
as they
इंडिया
can get
ओनली
tempo
होगा
and mid with the Girara.
Yeah. So do you think Pro might need to ban out an Alice here?
They might.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very good combination. It's someone that can actually deal with the Uranus as well.
That Alice gets let through.
I've seen the Ruby picked up, also from YG.
They get gold lane bans instead, so they really want to get a better matchup with gold.
Yeah, again, they're just trying to win those matchups. Hirana pick and then winning those matchups individually. So I like.
Where did you get it bro कहाँ मिला bro किसी ने भेजा ब्रो मुझे
Yeah, I completely forgot about that pick.
noob TR bro damn bro 20 that challenge bro come on bro what do you mean noob TR bro they're already out brother
You have no more reach. You go for the Madang as expected, but they cannot reach this Melissa.
bro 2 champs 26 code है किसी को use करना तो कर लो
Could be a win condition there. YG again.
Yeah. Just close it out with an Alice or maybe even a.
वो जितने देर में तुम्हें से क्वेश्चन पूछेगा उतनी देर में कोई यूज कर लेगा भाई
They're feeling feisty. The Sora, technically, there's already.
फिर वो redeem नहीं होगा
He's going to be mid, right?
do not redeem it
Final pick from YG.
I wonder if YG are going to be thinking that they want this and they're taking their sweet time with the last pick.
I think so. I think they're trying to find the pick to go.
but TR is over TLPH by the way
They found it. They found it.
You called it. Good, great call, Rain Day. Okay.
हाँ
The anti-dash, the pull, they have the combo. A lot of stopping power for the Melissa. This is all in the Melissa. But again, they still have the
क्या
they could easily snowball.
device lagging अच्छा फिर तो भाई हो गया
Theoretically, this is
फिर
perfect
तो हो
for
गया भाई
Yangon,
कोड
but
कोई
if
और
any
redeem कर
major
देगा bro
slip-ups happen early, then Pro has a chance, which is tough because you're begging your opponents to make a mistake.
Drafts have gotten better each game for Pro Esports, but it doesn't have one more game to go. If you don't get the job done here, you're going home. Your key is crushed in MSC. It's time for YG to either move on into the semifinals or Pro Esports is going to push us to another game in this best of 5. Let's send it back over
लिमिट
to
होती है
Mason
वो
with
कोड
Leo.
पे तो जल्दी कोशिश कर redeem करने की वरना तो हो
Here
गया
we go. It's gotta happen here for Pro Esports. Yangon Galacticos back-to-back dominant games, but will this draft work this time to get us to another game and get Pro Esports one step closer to moving forward? Or will the key get crushed after this one? Yangon Galacticos, Leo, has been so good, so on point. This draft, though, I wouldn't say is as, let's say, guaranteed as the last 2 games.
There's a lot that they're trying here, especially when they threw the Ruby into Ying's hands.
Yep.
Blink bullying a PPP out of the mid prio. If there is something I might say is Pro, especially at this precipice, at this pivot point in this match, they're putting it all on Coil and Kozin.
they put the comfort picks, the Hirara and the Harith on these two players, these imports from the Philippines, to try and turn it around. Stroke of genius what they did though, especially with picking the Valentina in mid.
Yeah.
Kind of blocked out Yixora.
Yeah, that dealt with it, but I still think that even Ying picking up the Ruby here, serves the purpose of you just have this crazy
और
amount
TR
of
क्या TRPH से ऊपर आया ब्रो क्या
catch
बोल
the
रहा है
Hirara if you
भाई
need to, you can help
बोल
him
दिया
catch Kozen if
उसको
you need
फिर
to.
वो बोल दिया नहीं आ रहा है
Yeah,
डू चांस
damage. He also is
तो
a way to
redeem हो
pop
गया
the
होगा bro.
block for Kozen, and you gotta remember too, Kozen, this is a
भेजा
signature
तो था किसी ने अभी
comfort pick for him. If I remember correctly, I think it's Kozen on the Harith that has the most kills in one game.
Himmer coiling. Now they're putting so much pressure. Sorry, Felix. Han draws first blood.
That's tough, man. Again, you do not want to let these early kills, these early first bloods go in the hands of the
खत्म हो
likes of
गया
Han
तुम
on
लोग
a
को
Fanny, mind you.
लोगों ने
You
यूज
know,
कर
to
दिया
go
इंडिया
ahead and
ग्रुप
just
में आया था
snowball much quicker.
ओ ये तो इंडिया ओनली कोड होगा बस इसलिए नहीं मिल
Every
रहा
time
मुझे
a Fanny's in play, you know that you want to go ahead and just kind of
इंडिया ओनली कोड हो गया तो
that jungle, especially the purple buff, try to
इंडियन अकाउंट को ही
stall her
मिलेगा वो
out a
फिर
little bit, but you get this kind of lead, could be really bad, but first turtle that comes up,
क्योंकि इंडिया का वर्जन अलग है ना वो MLB का इंडिया का वर्जन है वो बा 5-5
Isaac still trying to go ahead and
Global
cap it out
version
there
MLB.
just because again, once he gets that ultimate, that combo is so deadly.
And he will. Yamon Galacticos are in such a dominant position for this first turtle. Blink flushes PvP out of that pixel brush. Sa has the rather dryads, but I don't think that's the best look to have right now, especially when you're a soft little Valentina at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, you don't want to just put yourself in that position, but they'll really take it slow here. Bit of a reset. Han goes back to base, wants to get his purple buff, so maybe they just trade it out. Maybe they decide they don't want to. Really good decision here, though, for Pro Esports to just see that window of opportunity, take it. At least it's something for them. So, again, turtle in the hands of Pro Esports. They'll kind of just recalibrate, slow things down a bit. Even with this, again, knowing that you have a Harith in the hands
Pro
of
Zero
Kozen, you need to go ahead
Yangman
and
Galacticos
allow it to
3-0
stay
कर
alive,
देगी
build up on
GG
there.
हो जाएगा
Melissa's too. There's a reason now. We've seen her pop up a couple times throughout the past group stage days, and she can be pretty deadly when she hits that power spike.
Impressive. Stayed the hand for Yangon Galacticos, but Pro Esports knew what Yangon was doing, and they got in there and got the advantage, which is good because again, oh my lord, sorry Felix, popping that consecration last second. They're waiting for Kozen's mid-game power spike.
Yeah, it's interesting though that there's so much attention up there. You would think, on the Uranus up there in the XP lane. Sorry, on Felix.
Whoa, Kaiser. Calls it in, but BBB stops the exit. Now here comes the Wrath of the Dryad. BBB gets taken down. Han and Blink walk away.
Okay, a trade. Oh wait, there's still putting attention up there.
Han crosses the wall. Ying to the rescue, coiling retribution. That's a steal on a small cap.
भाई I have requested you to take it
He's
क्या
slowly building up a bit of a
भाई request दिया है ले लो
also against
okay
Han.
bro
Even though Han had those
देखता
early
हूँ bro
kills, it's just some of his camp's been taken away from him. They've really done a good job. Pro Esports has done a great job just kind of choosing their fights and slowing down a bit. They're able to catch out Kaze again. This
गेम में
is one of
bro
the
भाई
great
एक बार
things
गेम
about
खत्म
how
करके
that
फिर
connects
request
with
accept
Pro
करता हूँ
in the hands of Fee. He can actually just kind of take them for surprise, whether he uses the flicker or not, to set things up for a potential kill. You just have to be able to go ahead and survive once Blink literally comes forward and Wrath of Dryas, like we just saw. And, that's why also when you look at what Sa has been taking, he's got his own, right? I'm not sure if he's really going to change anything other than just having the Wrath of the Dryad for him.
Alchemist Z okay bro
Because right in the middle is Sa, who is relying on what Wookie gets. Right now, 2v1. Sorry, Felix. Pops concentration one more time underneath the turret. Not going to be safe here as three of them go for it. They have to send Kaiser up too. But this opens up another turtle for Bro.
Pro's willing to trade, man. If
जीतने वाला हूँ बस
sorry
ये
of Felix going down, I don't think that's too bad for Pro Esports.
No.
Right? He's just the Uranus. He's going to go ahead and deal with pressure. As long as his team is trading something for it somewhere else, which happens to be now the second turtle, then that's all good.
Hey, you want to make some omelets, you've got to crack some eggs.
Gotta crack some
And in this situation, sorry, Felix is the egg.
That's a big egg, man. But at this point, he eventually, though, too, even though he's died a couple times, he'll be tanky enough to be that front line for this team.
Oh, fine time. Now inside the left side push. Ying gets found out. Coiling traded out for. We got a 2-for-1 as Han by the double P falls as well. I don't even know who really started that fight, but at the end of the day, I think
जीत
Pro
गया
lost the lead that they've built up over the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, I I think they both just saw each other and they're like, you know what, let's fight. Because that's exactly what they did. Let's look at the replay. Again, this is all, they're all centered around here. You can just see that.
कितने लाइव कर रहे हो दो ही bro, एक YouTube Shorts, एक YouTube Landscape.
And you've got the walls to work with. Han kind of gets that upper hand where he can just kind of cable back.
वैसे Twitch भी करता हूँ, 3 स्ट्रीम करता हूँ, लेकिन इस पे Twitch पे राइट्स नहीं है मेरे पे, कॉपीराइट हो जाएगा अगर Twitch पे भी करूँगा स्ट्रीम ये वाला.
It's not Sanji time just yet.
Yeah.
Nor is Kaizen going as hard as he was in game number 2. So we're expecting Han to be the real punisher this early on. Especially since Pro has lost that, big 1,000 goals lead they had 5-minute mark. Oh, big wall put up. Blink gets caught. He answers
भाई
with
रुको,
the Dryad. Han comes in.
मैंने अपना गेम स्टार्ट कर दिया bro, मैं अभी सोलो खेल रहा हूँ.
Okay.
फिर स्ट्रीम पे नहीं खेल रहा हूँ.
Again, really good counterpunch there from YG. Pro Esports has to choose these fights a little bit better, but they can start to go ahead and rely on this. Go Kozen.
He drops that Salmon Force. Okay, on maybe one more enhanced basic attack would have taken down the fan.
कुछ कर रहा हूँ actually.
Purify from Kozen. Kozen is going to be that guy for Pro Esports once he scales into this Harith. This third turtle, though, being worked on by Younger Galacticos. Most likely will go in their hands unless a conceal's already used. They're going to fight for it.
Drop in muddles, Ying skewers. There's the grab the Dryad coming down. And the lineup on Pro Sports are compromised, but Young Lapkos lost a little too much health. It's Pro's going to be making themselves scarce for now.
Have the turtle secured though by YG. So they fought for it. There was an attempt there from Pro. Pro's still in a good position though, even though they lose that turtle. It looks like they had a hard time with that team fight, but they're still in a really good position to go into that first lord. That's really where it's going to matter. You can also see, right? There's a bit of
कल खेला था मैंने लोगों के साथ तो क्या बोलते हैं हार रहा था इसलिए खेलने में अभी वो आज सोलो खेल रहा हूँ स्ट्रीम फिर खेलूंगा फिर मैं हारूंगा फिर वापस नहीं चला जाऊंगा मेरा इंटरनेट बहुत खराब हो चुका है लोग ना खेल कर.
And he's on his way to that feather. There you go. So even more, that little moment here in the mid lane, even with that Purify pop, again, he already has that passive resilience coming in, about 30% less he'll take from, the little stuns on Ying or Rapid Dryads. This is that mid-game power spike we're looking for, coming from Bro.
And has been pretty good for the Rapid Dryad usage. That's one of the things here. Sorry, Felix Manny.
This is what he's meant to do. Pops that Purify concentration spell by maybe 2 seconds, but will not stop Yangon from pushing this tier 1 down bottom. But it's not like Coily has been doing work as well. Look at that chubby wave he sent out. And now Sanji gets found out. Why would you take that weird exit?
I'm not sure. Really good choice there from Pro. Some of these off angles is what they can really hone in on and highlight here. Again, having that Vedant, having San Valentina with the Rapid Drive, with the Flicker available, there's some surprise setups that Pro Esports can play around. So now that Lord is up, see who decides to get in range for this. Coily been very elusive so far in the Harara. Able to kind of just utilize these extra brushes across the map, the mobility obviously that comes with it. And then that scalability here built in. So, sorry Felix needed that Radiant Armor. He's got it locked in now. So, again, despite all the pressure he's dealt with, his one job is pretty much to be that front line, that bulwark. So, if it gives P that option too, to go in with this Bedang to set things up. So, very slow in the slower take. I don't expect anyone to take it just yet, as both teams still look to find some opening, some real estate across the map.
Well, I'll be damned. In late July 2026, it's a dance. Hasn't been gun, but now they pick PP off first. And now Coyle's looking for more. Han picks up Kozen. That's 2 men down from Pro. This is a non-starter. The Cambodian squad has to back off. Suddenly, Yangon Galacticos have all but secured themselves a lord. Sorry, Felix looking at the come in from the flank. Coyle gets a new hits from Sanji. Lord here at a 16th of its health.
Slow it down enough, but again,
now we're back in the game, bro.
Say, you know what, let's go. And he makes it happen again, going in with it, I'm offended.
Bro, again, bro, YG clean sweep, easy. But that's good though, because I want to watch BTR versus
and that's what happened there.
BTR versus Falcons.
Lord in their favor. Yeah, then Galacticos are looking to take.
Let's
down
go.
some
Clean
tier
sweep, clean sweep, clean sweep.
All we've been saying about Kozin's mid-game power spike or coily getting in there, dealing damage. He still doesn't have any stats on his Sky Piercer. If anything, he is the most important utility in Pro's team fighting kit. He needs to catch someone. At best, if it's Han, if he can compromise Sanji, but that's how they start fights.
Bro,
No way
Pro
else
Esports,
can
bro,
start
they got
anything.
dirty.
That's why that Melissa pick was really good too. You know, you get that ultimate that goes.
But it's not like YG or like top team either.
Good
They're gonna get knocked out either way as well.
From Yings, I'm
They're just bullying this
but Lord
team.
is still here. So now they've got to respond to this. They are just most likely. I don't expect them to approach the base yet
Crazy
because
game though.
Yandon Galacticos is still really respecting what Pro Esports' lineup can do. So at most they can take down some tier 2s.
Damn.
A little impatient. I'm not so sure
310.
coordinated
Let's
that
go, bro.
was.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like they were
Clean
ready to follow
sweep.
through on that. And now,
Let us get that clean sweep, yo.
But it serves a purpose. There's a reason why it's
Bro,
there.
this guy has carry and then you need.
Clearly, I freaking survived, but in comes Blink. Flicker after the triad finds two softballs as well. And now it's all falling apart. 3 members down for the count. But YG has no wave, so Pro can thank their lucky stars. He looks so close.
Nice, I got the first
So close
blood.
again. This is about all
shit.
Yandon Galacticos can take off of that push. They'll take down, open up the map, take down the tier 2 turrets. You're seeing just how much of a struggle it is for Pro Esports even to find an advantage when it comes to a team fight. It's so crucial. Oh, whoa.
Kozin! Drops his Almond Force, gets a few shields.
Salmon Force down though.
Pushing Han back, yes. This is what a good 20
Just got another. भाई redeem मिले तो बताना. Bro शायद से वो ना जो redeem codes मिल रहे हैं ना वो जो मुझे अभी मिला था जैसे वो बस इंडिया के लिए है. इसमें शायद से देंगे तो बताऊंगा. इसमें ग्लोबल के देंगे तो बताता हूँ. लेकिन ग्लोबल के शायद से नहीं दिया अभी उन लोगों ने. इंडिया के अलग से दे रहे हो. ग्लोबल के लिए बता नहीं देंगे कि नहीं.
I didn't expect the fight to break out there, but Pro Esports decided to go for it anyway. They thought they were able to catch Blink, but instead there was a counter punch from YG. Although they didn't lose too much, some battle spells were expended on both sides.
That's about as fruitful as it can get for Pro right now.
Yeah.
That turret was going to fall either ways. The fact that they can get a trade out, especially for a roamer in exchange for the mid laner, that's a good deal. That'll help at least stop the bleeding.
Yeah, it's not bad. But again, the Purify is down currently for Kozin. You know, he's got, like you said, he's got the items he needs. You can already see that damage potential. But it's more so being able to survive a fight. Almost all the fights we've seen so far, it's just been a numbers advantage for Yandon Galacticos because usually it's PP just going down very quickly when he tries to set things up.
Whoa, there's the stolen ult already spent up. But now, Kozin dashing around. He's in the right position. Down goes but underneath the Lord, Sanji throws out a needle. Takes him down. Now, sorry if Felix bites it as well. 2 for 1 the trade. And this all but spells another sure Lord for Yandon Galacticos.
Oh, again, Pro Esports, just the team fighting is not it right now throughout this series. Even Kozin taking a big shot from the Lord there. You know, he didn't have much room to work with, but he's still got to get up in time for this defense if he can. 10 seconds left on his timer. Mid-turret will go down. They've got some time to walk down this last wave, this bottom wave, to potentially take out the last base turret. So your YG will go for a reset. They'll march this one in, walk it down. Sorry, Felix will be back up. They've got nearly all the battle spells that they need here. The same thing for the other side for YG. He doesn't have a flicker, and you know, with the Bedang, that's one of the main things that he needs to kind of set things up.
5-15-5.
Just all these setups, man, have not worked.
ये last push.
Unfortunately, they are in dangerous grass. We can't find these odd angles. All right. He will be put down about half health. Lord already inside the base.
Gotta deal with that Lord.
Pro Sport has to do this very, very carefully. Lord down about half. Kozin still has it purified.
Damn, GG's हो गया. GG's करो मत दो भाई.
Another base attack. Kozin doing his darkest to clear the waves and deal a lot
Ah,
of damage.
defend कर लिया.
Clear the Lord, but there's still a wave coming in through mid. And just like that, Yandon Galacticos remain undefeated. Features win a sweep in the quarters.
Yandon Galacticos was not joking around throughout this series. Maybe in game 3 it took them a little bit longer, but it just repeats itself time after time after time. 3 dominant games
Crazy game.
against Pro Esports here.
मुझे वो pro जीतेगी.
Again, taking even drafts that we're not used to seeing just a couple days ago. Shades of it. Things that worked, things that didn't, they readjusted, refined. And I'll tell you what, Gazzo Galacticos looks like a big threat moving forward.
भाई
Every
मार
single
दिया.
day, they managed to dissect Pro Esports' play, denying Coily and Kozin that bloodthirsty play style. They've thrown us back to the heyday of utility jungles. I was gonna say mid-game here, I can't believe it. We were Lord dancing again.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've seen that Lord dance. We've seen a bit of it here and there, but maybe that's a premonition for what we're going to see here in the knockouts. And they knew the weak points of the lineup that Pro Esports brought to game 3. They really honed in on it. At the start of the Stardown Felix, they went with fighting for fighting. They utilized that Ruby pick, the last pick they brought to the draft that even Rain Day called, again, playing around this potential to pull whoever you want to fight to collapse down on. And it's that Eudora again for Kaizen, man. He's been coming in clutch throughout the series. And Han showcasing. I mean, look at this, 7-0-5 on that Fanny. What a hell of a series that Han has had, going from utility to assassin. And just an amazing series. We're going to have to throw it over on stage with Milosh to hear from our winners.
Thank you very much, my friends. It is done. Our first semifinalist is qualified. It's Yango Galacticos. Ying is
Damn, bro, first semifinalist.
Interview here between us. So please, incredible performance. 3-0. Is this why you chose Pro Esports to play against them? How did you predict that this is how this would go?
အဲ့တော့ရှင်3-3ညာနဲ့ဒီပွဲကိုနိုင်သွားပြီတကယ်ကိုကောင်းတဲ့ပွဲမှာဂုဏ်ယူပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ဒီ Pro Esports ကိုဒီလိုနိုင်ဖို့အတွက်ဘယ်လိုပြန်ရွေးချယ်ခဲ့တာလဲ
ပြင်ဆင်တာတွေ့လို့ပြင်တာအရှိမှလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့နဲ့တွေ့ပြီဗျာကျွန်တော်တူတူနိုင်တာအဲအကြောင်းကျွန်တော်တို့ရေဖို့အတွက် confidence ရှိတယ်ပြီးတော့သူနဲ့တွေ့ရင်ဘာလို့ရမလဲဆိုတာကျွန်တော်အမြင်နဲ့တွေ့ရအဲအကြောင်း
we have experienced that we have won in the past on the first game and then we know what to do with them that's why we choose them
I mean clearly that was the case because you specifically
Damn, bro.
in this entire best of 5 only died a singular time. You've had some of the lowest death rates of anybody in this tournament. How do you make that work? Because you're more of an initiator, someone who's in there in the fight, and then you still keep it up. How does that work?
Bro, did you get the reward? क्या? Bro, मेरा तो reward कौन सा reward? मैंने अभी किया ही नहीं bro. मुझे कोड redeem करने का मन नहीं किया था. मैंने डायरेक्ट गेम में चला गया था. देखा तो था bro. मुझे गेम में दिखाओ. मैंने redeem करा थोड़ी. मैंने डायरेक्ट गेम में गया.
သူတို့ပဲတဲ့ပဲကိုကျွန်တော်အမြင်နဲ့မှတ်တာဗျာမှတ်တာပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်ပဲချိန်လုပ်လို့ရတယ်ကျွန်တော်ကသူတို့ပဲချိန်ပြန်လုပ်လို့ရတယ်ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်မှအမြင်နဲ့တွက်ထားတာပေါ့
I have watched all the games in the past and then I have counted what will come to me and I have predicted what I have to do.
Aquarius, welcome to the stream bro. कैसा है भाई? Bro, you know me. मैं build कर रहा हूँ अपनी team. If you know WWE team, मैंने उसके 2 प्लेयर से बात कर ली है. Waterways, वो Detrox और वो लोग. Nice bro.
It's Vitality or Falcons PH. First up, who do you think
Best of luck, bro.
will play in the semifinals?
အဲ့ဒီတော့ဒီခြေနဲ့ခုနလမ်းကြိုပြီးပြင်ဆင်ထားရဆိုတကယ်ကောင်းတဲ့အချက်ပါတဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့အခုလာပြီးတွေ့မဲ့အသင်းကြီးပေါ့နော်တကယ်ကိုပြန်
तो फिर इस बार तुम लोग torrential खेलोगे क्या bro?
Vitality ဆိုတာရှိတယ်
अरे मैंने KWC को भी रीच को close streamer bro. KWC देखना होगा तो मेरे चैनल पे आ जाना देखने. ऐसे ड्यूलिंग मैच देखेंगे साथ लोग एक साथ.
အသင်းနဲ့တွေ့ရင်ဘယ်လိုလုပ်မလို့ပြင်ဆင်ထားပါလဲ
ဒီမဲ့တင်းဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်ထင်တာတော့fatality လို့ပဲထင်ပါတယ်ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့သူတို့လည်းနည်းနည်းပို့ပြီးတော့ကောင်းတယ်လို့ခံစားရတယ်ပြီးတော့သူနဲ့တွေ့မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်ကောင်းဆုံးလို့ပြင်ဆင်ပါဦး
I think we will face with Vitality
Yep, the
because they are a better team and then we will prepare well for the next match.
How do you prepare against
तो torrential खेलोगे ना तुम लोग तो एक टीम में bro एक 2C टीम ज्वाइन कर लेना उसके टीम प्लेस जो चोरी कर ली तूने
အဲ့တော့ဒီလိုတစ်ခါမှမကြုံဘူးမပြိုင်ဘူးတဲ့အသင်းကိုတွေ့ဖို့အတွက်ဘယ်လိုပြင်ဆင်ပါမလဲခေါင်းထဲမှာဘယ်လိုလုပ်
उसी की टीम ज्वाइन कर लेता उसके टीम प्लेयर से लेने की जरूरत नहीं है
အမျိုးဘယ်တင်းလာတာကျွန်တော်တီးမယ်ဗျတီးမယ်ပြီးတော့သူတို့ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့အမြင်နဲ့သူတို့ပွဲကြည့်တယ်
in my mindset whoever comes we will beat them whoever comes
That is the winner's mindset, if you ask me. No matter who comes, we'll play our game and get the victory.
क्या
That's
बोला?
our draft. Thank you very much. Our translator.
और
Coco,
अब
thank you
मैं
very much for
क्लैश
being
डील के लिए
here.
उससे
Let's
जेडी
go.
स्पोर्ट्स से बात
Young
करूंगा एज
Galacticos.
अ ट्रेड
My
डील
friends, come
तू
on
बिस्मिथ को
over.
ले लेगा
Come on, let's go.
बिस्मिथ नहीं
All
आएगा
together
ब्रो
to the back. There you go. Let's pull up the smoke.
किसको
Bravo,
ट्रेड
let's
करेगा
get
भाई
that
तू
door
बिस्मिथ
open.
कीजिएगा
We're gonna get our first quarterfinal key crushed. Go ahead, gentlemen. You made history. You've crushed so far, and that's one more to add to the pile. Vardy eliminated.
या रिस्ट्रिक्शन से
Work at
रिस्ट्रिक्शन कौन है
number
वो
9 to it. Close up. Yes, I know
एक्सट्रैक्शन
it
बोल
is a
रही
bit
है
scary, but it's scarier when you lose. There's the snap. There's the hopes and dreams. And that's Pro Esports out of the running. The Yangon Galacticos continue their tear. Undefeated so far. Not a single game that they have lost. We'll break all of them down with a beautiful panel.
Well, something's already been broken, and that is the dreams that represented Pro Esports and Cambodia. It's now Myanmar moving on, and they continue undefeated. We spoke with Ying up there, who played, whether it was the Ruby or the Barretts, a pivotal role in Yangon Galacticos finding their victory. And as a team that is looking like one of the best teams in the galaxy in MLBB, the question now is,
जोड़े
can
है
they
कौन
win off of them?
Well, they're still
सोच तो
undefeated.
रहा
Yet to
हूँ
drop a
मुझे
single game.
कैसे लेगा भाई तू
Because
ट्रेड
that
किसके
might
बदले करेगा वो अपनी टीम
earlier,
को छोड़ेगा तेरी
Yangon
टीम में आने के लिए
Galacticos can win the series.
तू ट्रेड
Decide
किसको
to
कर रहा है भाई
clean sweep, then whoever they're gonna go up against, whether it's
वो
Vitality
और
or
छोड़ के तेरी
Falcons,
टीम के लिए खेलेगा तेरे पास और थोड़ी है
their opponents in Yangon
आई डोंट नो
Galacticos
वेदर
as
इट्स
if
मी
they're
और
playing
नॉट
in the
क्या
grand finals. Yeah. Don't pull any stops.
वो
Remember,
और
you
में
have to
खेलता
go
था
all
वो
out
मैंने
against
या
YG.
ये
Yeah,
नहीं
absolutely,
क्या
man.
वो मैंने
YG,
या
I
नहीं
mean,
ये
when it
नहीं
comes to the tournament, I think a lot of people already
क्या
expected it to
क्या
be a
हिंदी
very
बोल रहा है कि
strong
क्या
team,
बोल
and
कौन सी भाषा
after
बोल रहा है
this,
भाई तू
you're gonna have to prepare even more, right? I had my predictions out, and
रेजरेक्शन
this
से
was the only match
रेजरेक्शन
I thought
इम्पॉसिबल से
can go
तेरे
three.
और
These
क्या
are
ब्रो
all the matches I said minimum 3-1. There's no
रेजरेक्शन
any
इम्पॉसिबल तो है ही नहीं
sweep,
ब्रो
so
टीम उसके
I'm
प्लेयर्स
glad
तो
I was
टीआर
right
में है
here. I just hope I'm right all the way. I don't want to see any more sweeps, all right?
तू
MSC's got
और
a lot
में है
for
क्या
us. No
किसी
sweeps, please.
The perfect. I know today's almost
Damn,
halfway
bro.
done, and we just started.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the schedule.
ब्रो
We've got
और
one
में
more
क्या
game
सैलरी देगा
coming
तू
up here
सबको प्लेयर्स
today,
को
and that is big news because if you see the screen
तूने
sheet,
प्लेयर्स का नाम तो लिया जो
fellas basically
सैलरी लेके
stopping on
खेलते हैं
stage,
ब्रो
ready to jump on and distracting all of us. For those who need the info, like I need to give it, Team Vitality versus Team Falcons PH coming up. We're going to switch out our talent on the studio, our talent on the cast. I'm going to stay here. And of course, if you got it right with Yangon Galacticos and you're feeling
बिकॉज आई एम ओपनिंग माय ऑफ कोर्स मैं और की खोल रहा हूँ पैसे देगा तू सैलरी देगा सबको
EWC pick'ems,
भाई मुझे भी ले ले
let us know if you think it is
मैं
going
मिड
to be
लेन
Team
खेल लूंगा
Vitality that's
अगर
going to
सैलरी
end
दे रहा
up
तो
playing
लोगों
Yangon
को
Galacticos. Gig's already preparing for that matchup.
Yes.
Or if you think, you know, not just 3-1, if we're going to have a
मुझे
chance.
पहले नहीं बोला भाई तू सैलरी
Team
वैलरी दे रहा है
Falcons PH, I know, Rimar, you're hoping for the chance, man. I know.
Yeah.
I know, man. You got the Philippines to continue. I get it, man.
I don't know.
Deep down, I get it, dog.
Vitality, bro.
Deep down, I know.
I know you know I'm a Vitality guy.
डैम
but it's
भाई
my
सैलरी
Falcons
वैलरी
boys,
देने
bro.
लग रहा है एक्वारिस्ट तो भाई मुझे पता नहीं था मोटी
It's my
पार्टी है भाई
countrymen. I don't want to get denied when I get back to the Philippines.
We're French now.
We're French. Okay, that means I can stay in
कितनी
France.
सैलरी दे रहा है भाई तू प्लेयर्स को
Get ready to learn.
अरे पता नहीं था मुझे अंबानी तू यहाँ सुपर चैट तो डालता नहीं था स्ट्रीम पे
Keep them here if Team Falcons PH doesn't get the win.
इट वाज डॉन क्या जोर से बोलो भाई थोड़ा सा दूर करके रखा है माइक इसलिए
So Saw had a chance to do it. Thank
कि
you.
खा भी रहा हूँ गेम भी खेल रहा हूँ और फिर देख भी रहा हूँ स्ट्रीम
We are now
डिड यू गेट
backstage
इट
with
नहीं अभी लिया ही नहीं
Pro
ब्रो मैंने मैं गेम में हूँ भाई कैसे करूँ
What's going on? Are you okay? What happened?
I think it's okay. I'm fine with the result because we all tried our best already and we didn't get the win. But I'm very happy because we get to experience something new since it's my first time on international stage. I'm proud of my teammate and we experience so many things like we win, we lose. New environment. So it's okay. Our runs and hits.
So you're grateful for the
Fair enough bro
opportunity to be
Cambodia
here
को
in the first
GG
place.
Cambodia
But were you
को अच्छी टीम है
surprised? I mean, did you think that you could find a rematch here?
I think we could, but we still couldn't revenge our match.
What was the main problem?
No problem. They just do it better than us.
Okay, you just were the better team today. What lesson did you learn? What was the biggest thing that really stuck to you, considering this is your first international?
Like there are so many things left that I need to learn more. And
hopefully I just want
नो
to
आई सोल्ड
stay
माई
to
क्या
my
अरे
best
नहीं
and
मैंने
cooking stuff.
मेरे बिजनेस बेच
Always
दिया है
encouraging
आईआईटी
and
रोपड़
motivates
को
me,
दे गिव मी
and I'm
लाइक 2
very happy.
करोड़
That's really
क्या
sweet.
बिजनेस था भाई
That's
तेरा
really sweet. So, if there was something that you feel like you could
IIT
take to your
रोपड़ कौन
next
है
international or your
रोपड़
next MSC, what would it be, sir?
IIT
I think we will, if I can get the chance to come back again,
Yeah.
I want to prove them
एंड पैटर्न
we
भी मेरे
will
नेम
improve
था 1
better
करोड़
and much
उसको
stronger than
उसके
before.
मिलेंगे
Much stronger and much more
क्या
improved the next time
IIT
around.
रोपड़ क्या होता है
So,
ब्रो
this was great, but do you
रोपड़
have
कोई
maybe a
जगह है
message to all your fans out there? Because I'm seeing a lot of
रुड़की
people
बोल रहा है क्या
supporting you.
To all the fans from Cambodia who supporting us, thank you guys. And
अमीर हो गया भाई तो फिर थोड़े बहुत यहाँ 1-2 लाख सुपर चैट मार दे भाई
level and thank
छोटे
you for all
छोटे
your
पैसे
support.
बात कर रहे हैं भाई तो
Yeah, you guys are part of it. Thank
मुझे
you.
भी साइन कर ले
Keep
ब्रो
supporting us
मुझे
in
50,000
our
में
next
साइन कर ले ब्रो
tournament. Thank
मैं
you.
खेलूंगा भाई तेरी और से मुझे मिड लेन खिला ब्रो
Supporting you. What's next for you,
मुझ
sir?
मैं बताता फिर
What's
तुझे
after
अरे तो
MSC?
फिर तू
What's
छोटे
next
प्लेयर की दे
goal?
रहा है अगर
We
तुम्हें
still
1
have
करोड़ 2
another
करोड़ है
tournament and
छोटे
so
प्लेयर
we
मत
just
ले ब्रो
reset our
ऑर्गेनिक
mindset
पेपर
and
कप
just focusing
प्लास्टिक
on that tournament.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so
ओह
much, sir.
शिट
We're going to
आइडिया
do
अच्छा है
this.
ऑर्गेनिक पेपर भाई फिर तू छोटे प्लेयर्स की दे रहा है भाई
Thank you, Saad. It is a journey.
ओ अच्छा
And
रोपड़
getting to
जगह है
the level
पंजाब
once
में
you get
अच्छा
to the
ऐसे
next
बता
phase
ये
of
बता
your
ना
career,
अब करी
how
उतने
much you
पैसे वाली
don't
बात
know, but
तो फिर
we're
छोटे मोटे प्लेयर्स की
always
साइन कर रहा है भाई
great
मुझे ले
representation
टीम पे
for
उसके मेरे से
esports
पूछ
team
भाई
in
मैं बताता तुझे
Cambodia.
कौन
So
साइन
shout out
करना
to
है
Cambodia
सैलरी
again.
बता कितनी
We
दे
do
रहा है भाई तू कम टू ले लॉबी में ब्रो रुक जा ब्रो मैं कुछ कर, वो क्लेम कर रहा हूँ उसके बाद मैं खा भी रहा हूँ ना ब्रो अभी खेलूंगा नहीं मैं
Yeah, they got to take down SRG to open up the
That's
campaign.
huge, man.
They got a top 8 finish, putting Cambodia back on the map in global MLVB, and I like the vibe out of that. You can tell, of course, he was disappointed, but ultimately he decided to hold on to the good things, which was the experience of it all.
Absolutely, man. You know, again, instant reset as well, right? He says we have another tournament up next, so instant reset to fixing those errors,
एक
to
मिनट ब्रो
again learning. After seeing those YG drafts, I take a lot from it as well.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of time to prepare. I'm very confident in Cambodia as a region.
50k समथिंग मे बी
All right, Mirko,
per
Raymond,
player
thanks for being on the
तो फिर
first
भाई
set.
छोटे प्लेयर्स
We
की
saw
साइन
a
कर रहा है ब्रो
confession there from Sai. He said it was his first
इंटरनेशनल इंपोर्ट भी लाएंगे ब्रो
international
गेमिंग हाउस
MLB
बना
event.
अरे
You know we
झूठ
like
बोल दिया क्या इन
confessions,
लोगों
bro.
में
We
से
saw
डिस्की डीके
LaFell
डज नॉट
do
एग्जिस्ट
some.
देयर
We saw Frigate do some. Now it's time to see Bros' confessions.
किसी ने बोला 226 कोड है मिल नहीं रहा भाई
Whenever we let it out,
तो मेरा भी तो मोबाइल नहीं है
it becomes our super.
पापा से बात करी है सो वो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे वो क्यों करेंगे तेरे पे 2 करोड़ है भाई तू बच्चा थोड़ी है अरे फिर तू बच्चा है हाँ मैं तो भूल ही गया था 19 साल का तू 50,000 कैसे दे रहा है ब्रो 19 नहीं 17 साल का है तू तो 19 साल का भी तू 17 साल का है ब्रो पागल बना रहा है ब्रो काम का उधर
To get to know you guys. Just for anybody who doesn't, you know, we've got a few questions prepared. Let's get into it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. How much money have you spent on this trip as the richest member of talent?
Who said the richest member of talent? How much money have I spent on this trip?
This is real, no?
It's not Bentley.
वही तो कह रहा हूँ बच्चा है तो तूने 2 करोड़ कैसे बेच दिया भाई
I mean, if you can't
पागल बना रहा है तो भाई हड्डियार में तो खुश हो गया था कि क्या बोलते हैं सब प्लेयर
Because I
लेगा तू
haven't started shopping yet.
Okay.
So it's like
I've not a chance, too busy.
300-400 euros. I went to Disneyland. I went to Disneyland.
300-400 euros
I think it could be more. I think it's more.
These are rookie numbers. We gotta get these numbers.
I think it's more. I think it's more.
It's gotta be more. What does Sementar mean? I don't get it.
Where are you getting this, Chris?
हेड़ा क्या फालतू बक रहे हो
Okay,
क्या
backstory. Back in MPL Malaysia, the region.
ब्रो मैं भी खेल नहीं रहा ब्रो मैं खा रहा हूँ
we
ब्रदर
had a guest host, and he just interrupted me as I was talking in the grand finals, and he said Scimitar, which technically means hold on. He was like, hold your beer, girl. I got something to say. And he was like,
क्या
grand
रैंक क्या है
final,
ब्रो
so-
तेरी पहले तो एक बार
Yeah.
42 stars
Is your love language acts of service or physical abuse?
पागल नहीं बना रहा हूँ आईआईटी रोपर ने सबमिट करा था अभी सो दे इन्वेस्टेड इन माय बिजनेस एंड आफ्टर 2 years I sell it to them
I swear.
अभी
to
कह
God,
रहा 2
it's
साल बाद फिर तो कोई नहीं आ रहा भाई 2
I
साल
know
तक तेरी
this.
टीम में
Both?
Both. Both. We'll go with both. Okay. So I heard
टीआर वाला केस करेगा कि तू टू रुपर्स वाला पैसे नहीं देगा लोगों को 2 साल तक
especially in front of the Minister of Youth and Sports.
ब्रो अभी खेल नहीं रहा ब्रदर मैं, रुक जा भाई।
So it wasn't my debut day, that was my second day.
इनवाइट करे जा रहा है भाई, मुझे मैंने मना किया नहीं खेल रहा, खाना खा रहा हूँ ब्रो।
Oh my god, I'm actually sweating.
So I'm not that intimidated.
The questions are, Chris. So on my second day, that was the second day I've ever been a host.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet. अभी नहीं करा है, 2 साल पहले करा था। After 2 years अभी he invested, उन्होंने investment, हाँ अभी नहीं करा है, 2 साल पहले करा था। ID ऊपर सबमिट करा था अभी, so they invested after 2 years से अच्छा हाँ।
Yeah, the Ministry of Youth was just there watching the game on the big LED. I love it.
Well, I'm sorry for that. I hope today hasn't.
भाई अभी खेल नहीं रहा ब्रो, मैं come to my lobby किया भाई, मैंने तुझे दिखा तो नहीं खेल रहा है, मैं खा रहा हूँ ब्रो।
I'm so sorry.
मेरे पीछे बढ़ गया भाई,
Thank you, Rose.
खाने नहीं दे रहा ब्रो मुझे।
A lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it. They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their entire family. They have defeated their demons. They have crushed the curse.
There will be a boot camp के लिए तो फ्लैट होगा इन दिल्ली, पूरा प्लान है। सही है ब्रो, दिल्ली को बनाओ भाई मुंबई। देख ऐसा करियो भाई, इंपोर्ट जंगल ले लियो चाइना से।
16 games, 4 weeks, all in
एक और इंपोर्ट ले लियो फार्म लेन पे।
championship, the Esports Nation Cup. Dreams will be made. If you want to support your nation, make sure to tune in November in Riyadh because
And I also get हाँ, और मैं Spotify म्यूजिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी, so वहाँ से भी रॉयल्टी मिलते रहते हैं। अच्छा एक और इस फेमस सिंगर का रह गया। Welcome to the stream, it's Josh. How are you, brother?
Welcome, guys. Lavelle, you have already started the day off in a way, my friend. And your shoes not tied, doing all that movement?
Hey, it's okay. This is by choice, all right? Who are you to challenge my shit sense?
I didn't criticize. I just said danger, Trex, you know?
Listen, me and LaFell haven't got to be on panel together. This is normally a very common duo, so we're very excited. You know, we made sure the shoe was untied.
Yeah.
We got a banger of a
Hello,
match
bro.
coming
Hello.
up. I got my best buddy, Brett.
I mean, like, is this, like, we have you, Reedy, and now we have Trex. Like, is this how I get my green card?
Yes.
You know what? You have a good chance with the two of us, man. Hey, welcome to America, buddy.
All right.
Welcome to America. If only NX7 was playing, we would be really hyped up for that.
और कोरिया या कहीं से भाई फार्म लेन ले लेना।
Well, nah, that's true.
नहीं,
I'm not gonna go
हाँ,
on that one.
रूमर आर्सेनल ले ले,
Guys, there's a big matchup coming up. It's
और
not just Team Vitality and Team
क्लैश
Falcons.
में वो ले ले।
It is the fact that the club championship is being fought for as well, and those two teams, thanks to our Aramco club championship rankings leaderboard, are in contention. Nautisphere
It's summer, you can search me beat making करता हूँ plus आप nice bro.
Gave Nautisphere a win with the win on
I even messaged you from the, मैंने अच्छा उससे ही तो किया था, देखा था शायद फिर मैंने तो फिर आपको मैसेज भी किया था, अच्छा देखा था यार what
yeah, that matters, but you've got to get a win. So
वो हाँ वो अकाउंट देखा था इसलिए अच्छा एक्रोस अपना ही वाला था ये हाँ देखा था मैंने शायद से
I mean, Nautisphere has
ठीक है इतने प्लेयर्स हैं क्या उसमें रॉयल्टी आते हैं मुझे
so they at least have security.
कितने प्लेयर्स आते हैं
A chance to win the
I'm thinking I'll lift Mongolia भाई मत कर भाई Mongolia class lane
opportunity for them here on this main stage. Both of them still sitting here in the top 8 and the rivalry.
Indian ही ले ले भाई class lane तो लोग
reigning champion. Someone else has looked for that crown though.
Yeah, and I think that is a great point as well. Back-to-back champions for Team Falcons. So if Team Falcons lose the vitality here, not only does it hurt their standings, but does that start the storyline of
Mongolia के player क्या उठाएंगे करेगा भाई तो
we don't know, but obviously all those things will
farm ले ले जंगल import ले हो गया bro बाकी चीज Indian ले ले
I know that drama is here.
कोच ले ले QT को चुरा ले TR से
Drama's everywhere. and you do have drama. Do you start a lot of drama? Did you write those questions?
Sweet.
Are you
अरे
going
रोनाल्डो
to
fan है
Actually, no, I did not. I'm still looking for who that son of a farsa, gave the questions to. Like,
Welcome to the
I-
stream. It's Josh, brother. How are you, bro?
locked Chris in a basement, and I thought he would give me the answers. Turned out he liked it, so I'm like, well, might as well have a good time, and then we just went back to sleep.
Well, son of a glue. I hope you find it. All right, let's head over to our Crunchyroll story of the day.
हाँ दो टीम्स बनाऊंगा एक पूरी इंडियन होगी और एक पूरी बाहर की मैं सिर्फ बिहार की बोल रहा
Nile versus Kyle.
कम ऑनलाइन एंड और स्टॉक वो ऑनलाइन और बातें करो भाई अभी खा के बैठा मैं रुक तो थोड़ी देर
It's the matchup of Indonesia and the Philippines in
मैं देखना ये मैच कब स्टार्ट होगा ब्रो
This game means a lot more than just a series.
Yeah, there is pride, ego, everything on the line here. Greatest junglers in the world. These will be talked about in Discord channels for ages to come, at least until, the World Championship, but I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, watch what you say, LaFell. Hey, you're gonna get clipped, man.
How can I watch what I see? It's invisible. There's all these air particles in the air. It's just
You're the one who studied
always
law.
yeah, exactly. And Newton didn't say you can watch what you say.
That's fair. He was a while ago, though.
By the way, Vitality. I mean, like you guys were talking about Vitality against Falcons. I don't see how Falcons can take this one because even in scrims, Vitality has been number one, and that's surprising seeing how strong Aurora is. And they're like, yeah, no, dude, Vitality, something else in scrims.
I gotta say this though. Falcons, Filipino teams in general, the fact that they've had 2 days to recuperate will be scary for anyone. The fact that both teams weren't able to be knocked out in the group stage, there is still a team hanging and waiting. And at this point, they are always going to be a threat. No matter how good Vitality is, they cannot overlook Team Falcons.
That's a cool transition.
Yes, it is.
Y'all sick.
Yes, it is. Good job, guys. I have to say that
Best production.
we get off that bus too. We don't get the camera shots like that. That's messed up. When you really think about it.
Like, if we're talking about Falcons going up against Vitality, not really the same organization, but a lot of the same members of team. The last time they met was like M5, so that's like 2 to 3 years ago. But during that time, Nile couldn't play in the jungle because of something happened between Gigfam as well as Kid Bomba. Right. So this is kind of like revenge-esque, but not really. Like, they met each other 2 to 3 years ago, but during that time, Nile couldn't play. So now that Nile can play, hey, maybe something else will show up.
Well, speaking of Team Vitality, it's time to take a look at their roster because not only do they have Nile, but Moreno, Shogun, E-Man. They are on a mission. We had a chance to catch with E-Man before the match.
Naseem Akhtar, why very low sound? I can also watch this on MSC's official YouTube channel. Bye bye. Okay, brother. Naseem bhai, okay, bhai.
We've been to Eiffel Tower before.
Oh, so you guys walked around, had fun around Paris.
और कौन बोला?
Did the 4-day break include preparing?
Hello, bro.
preparing
Hello.
For today?
Yeah, I think so. We've been practicing a lot.
सुई बात में रेडी दो कहाँ से दे दूँ भाई?
So the practice went well. Also.
नींबू मिर्ची के प्लेयर्स कैसे हैं?
Obviously, last
ब्रो
time
नींबू
you guys
मिर्ची
met
के
Falcons
ओपी
PH,
ऑल
you
माइट
guys
है
won
सब?
it 2-0, but this time
खेलते भी वो
obviously
पता
Falcons
नहीं.
PH are gonna do their homework. So I'm not
हेलो
really
ब्रो हेलो
worried.
शाउट आउट दे दो शाउट आउट क्या भाई तू
Yeah,
यूट्यूब ही नहीं करता
because,
शाउट आउट क्या करेगा
practicing
नर्सरी
all along.
My stream crossed like 1K in my own
regular
song and a
ambassador
song called
based,
Shikayat. It got like 1
Team
million
Falcons
stream.
before
Nice
they
bro.
go to knockout stage.
अच्छा 1K अपने पे
Okay,
और
so you've
दूसरे
been
पे
reviewing their
शिकायत
games,
पे
and
1
I'm pretty
million
sure they're
plus.
reviewing
Nice bro.
your
Excellent
games
है
as
और team.
well. The
Official
momentum
beat
was one
पे
of the
करो
biggest
type shit.
problems,
मुझे
I
तुम्हारा
believe, for
वीडियो
Falcons
एडिटर हायर करो
PH.
भाई अभी
Are
तो
you
तू बोल रहा
expecting
था
to be banned today?
तेरे पास अच्छा डिवाइस नहीं है
Not
एडिट नहीं कर
because,
पाता तू वीडियोस तो
I
मेरी
think,
वीडियोस कैसे
I'm
एडिट
not
करेगा ब्रो
the one that
जब तेरे पास
having a hard
जब तू
time
एडिट ही नहीं
for,
कर सकता तो मेरी वीडियो क्या एडिट
fight
करेगा ब्रो
against
तू
them. Yeah,
Also, you think the dismissal will be open?
I think so. Yeah.
लाइक मेरे प्लान है
Oh.
स्पॉन्सर के लिए आई विल
What
गो विद
happens
फ्री
if it
फायर
gets
एंड
banned? Do
बीजीएमआई
you have something else
रोस्टर
prepared?
एंड एचओके एंड मोबा
I
में
think
बैकअप प्लेयर्स होंगे
Lilac,
मेरे
I think so.
मुझे
Lila,
तुम्हारा
damn,
वीडियो
that
हायर करो
brings me
कैसे
back
कर
to
लूँ भाई तेरे पास
Skylar's
डिवाइस तो नहीं है
generation,
भाई
the
एडिट
Lila in
करने
the
के
gold
लिए
lane. What about the fighters? Do you think the fighters are still a viable pick in the gold lane?
Yeah, it depends. I think on the team. Like Aurora, I think their composition is so good. Yeah, so I think it depends on the team.
Okay, so it depends on the team. But about the meta, are we going to be expecting something different come the knockouts, or do you think it's going to be similar?
मेरे
to
पास लो एंड पीसी है
I
ब्रो
think
फिर
it's just
तो
as
फिर
similar,
अपना
but I
स्टार्ट
think,
कर वो पहले अपनी
jungle,
एडिटिंग
like,
दिखा फिर देखता हूँ भाई
And
मैं
mid lane, because I see Falcons before they play also Selena, so I think there's what you call this
तेरे पे लो एंड पीसी है तो वेरी गुड पीसी, बहुत अच्छा पीसी है,
Okay, so the
तो फिर
draft
तू
in
स्ट्रीमिंग कर ले
Vegas
स्टार्ट.
will be very interesting in this best of 5. And obviously, if let's say you guys win this, there could be a chance of an Indo Grand Finals. Eman, is it possible?
सोच लो.
yeah, I think it's
भाई
possible
मुझे एडिटर
because
नहीं चाहिए
I
ब्रो,
know Nick is
इसलिए.
strong, especially in playoffs, knockouts. But if they win against Aura, I think they can defeat it's either Team Famos or Spirit.
But if you move forward, is that the team you want to meet? Onyx?
I hope so.
I hope so.
I
Okay,
have
why?
a great
Why?
plan.
Yeah, because
मेरे पास
I
प्लान है,
know
मैं पैसे तो लगा रहा हूँ
one of
स्पोर्ट्स
the
में,
greatest
डूबना,
team also here in
मैं कहीं
MSC,
ना डूब ना
Aurora.
जाओगे.
But
हाँ,
I think Aurora
पैसे
is
लगा
so
रहा
good
हूँ
also,
स्पोर्ट्स
but
में,
let's
कहीं
see
डूब ना
tomorrow,
जाए.
I think.
There's a lot of contenders
जाऊं.
right now, Iman, and obviously your first
ब्रा,
one is
किसे
going
बता
to be
दो.
Falcons PH.
साला
You have
अगर
to message them
पता
right before your
करता
match.
तो तुझे बोलता.
Just good luck
हाँ,
and have fun.
साले अगर कर
Yeah,
पाता तो.
don't destroy us. Yeah.
Don't destroy us. Okay, thank you so
Bro,
much, Iman, for this interview. Good luck for your next. And of course, we're going to throw it over back to you guys.
ये स्पैम क्यों कर रहा है
Why
ब्रो?
is it turn a call
ब्रो
on
अगर तेरे पास अच्छा पीछे तो तू
Man,
कर सकता
obviously,
है ब्रो
yeah,
स्ट्रीम.
obviously.
I mean, as an Evan, I would
लेकिन
know.
क्या बोलते हैं,
That's
अगर
how
तू स्ट्रीम ही
his
नहीं कर सकता तो
grandparents call
वीडियो
it,
एडिट
yeah.
कैसे करेगा ब्रो अच्छे
E-man.
पीसी
Come
में?
here,
तो
E-man.
इसका मतलब तेरा या तो पीसी अच्छा नहीं है
Cousin,
या तो
yeah,
झूठ बोल रहा है
distant
भाई.
cousin,
हाँ,
distant cousin. Iman with the turner there.
अगर तेरा
having
अच्छा
fun,
पीसी है तो
having
तू
a
स्ट्रीम
little
कर
chat
सकता है
up
ब्रो.
and talking about Lila, talking about the fact that there is an opportunity for an Indonesia grand final. LaFell, that's also on the line if Onyx make it through on the other side.
That is honestly quite rare because I feel like the most significant Indo Grand Finals was back in M1, the very first World Championship, and ever since then,
लॉल.
it's either been Philippines,
फनी था क्या
Philippines,
ब्रो?
Indo. So yeah, this hasn't happened.
ब्रो
If
केम फॉर
once
फाइट
it
वो
does
इंटरव्यू पता
happen,
नहीं क्या, मैं तुझे
then
भेजूं पता एडिट
you know
मत भेज
Indonesia's
भाई
just gonna have a good
अपने
time on
पास
social media, and that's where I will deactivate my.
Just all like, generally nice, fluffy, positive.
Yeah,
comments.
a lot of I love.
लव यू ब्रो, थैंक यू ब्रो,
A
इट्स
lot of love.
जॉश.
I love that.
राइट
I love you, whoever's looking at me right now. I don't know you, but I love you. All right, let's go ahead and introduce Team Falcons VH. LaFell still laughing in the corner. Flap, Kyle, Haji, Ogwin, and Super Marco. Bulletproof.
Fisher, what about you as a roamer चलेगा? भाई भाई मैं रोमर, आपको मैं नहीं खेलता भाई रोमर, मैं
We are
रोमर
now
ही
with
नहीं.
Super
हर
Marco
कोई मेरे पास
from
रोमर
the
भी बोलता है भाई
Falcons
मुझे.
Philippines.
रोमर
Super
नहीं हूँ
Marco,
ब्रो
you are
मैं.
now the last hope for the Philippines. How do you feel about that?
I feel happy and I'm not pressured because we know that we can win.
क्या क्या
No
बोले जा रहा
pressure,
है
and
भाई
you guys
इतनी
know
देर
that you
से.
can win, but you lost last time against Vitality. What's different about it this time?
I think we
आप बात ईगो पे आ
already
रहा
see the
है.
draft
ओके ब्रदर,
and we just prepared for
फिर
it.
से बोल रहा था
Okay,
भाई.
so the draft is something that
आई
you
एम
guys
रोमर,
really
मिड एंड
studied.
जंगल
Is
इंपोर्ट
it something
करूंगा
related
ब्रो.
to
मिड
Melissa? I
खेलता
mean,
हूँ ब्रो
last
मैं.
time we saw
मिड
Melissa
जंगल
2
फार्म
times
नहीं
picked up
खेलता
by
हूँ ब्रो.
Eman, and it
रोमर
looked
नहीं
like there was
खेलता
a
ब्रो मैं.
struggle there. Is Melissa a big pick for Vitality?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest factor for the game last match because we didn't respect Melissa to Evan.
How did you feel in that lane up against the Melissa? I think you picked up the Claude and the Brody.
Yeah, it's so hard to lane against Melissa.
Why?
Because of the emblem, fighter emblem.
Oh, it's because of the fighter emblem. But I mean, Claude can also pick up fighter emblem and carry. What's the main difference?
Because Melissa, the
Because
advantage of
your
Melissa is
actions क्या? क्योंकि आपकी
Okay, so the
हरकतें रोक.
range was made it difficult.
तूने खेलते हुए
But
कब
other
देखा
than the
भाई मुझे?
Melissa pick, do you feel like there was something else that went wrong for Falcons last time?
क्योंकि
I
आपकी
think
हरकत
our
रोमर वाली
decision
है.
making.
नहीं भाई.
and we lost in the mid game. That's why we need to fix our mid game.
Oh, okay. So decision making in the mid game. Who's usually in charge of that? Super Marco.
I think all of us.
All of you guys. So you all you guys just come during mid game, or is there like one certain shot caller?
There's a shot caller.
Okay, so there is, but you don't want to mention him. Okay, we won't
Let
mention
me
him
think.
right now.
Crowley तो
But
लीव
Super
करेगा
Marco,
नहीं,
what
so
did you do
रोमर
in
कौन
this
सा
2 days
अच्छा है?
break?
I think
Crowley क्यों लीव
just
करेगा भाई?
Practice.
आरएनटी
You
छोड़
didn't
के
get to
तेरे
go
पास थोड़ी
around,
आएगा
nothing.
Crowley.
we need to focus on the match. Right?
Focus on the match. What does this match mean to you, Super Marco?
So much. I mean, so much to me. I mean,
It means a lot to you.
it's a lot to me.
Could you maybe share
इतने बार तो
the
खेला है
background
साथ
why?
में मैं. हाँ
because we need to
साथ
because
में आपने और मैंने तो मैं रूमर के साथ थोड़ी खेलता हूँ ब्रो
Okay, so it's regarding you
मैं
guys being the
इतनी
last
बार
hope. So
एक बार खेला था ब्रो
in this such a
एक दो बार
meaningful match,
और
do
फिर
you
भी
have a
जंगल कर रहा था
message
ब्रो
to
मैं
your
रूमर
opponents
क्या
today, Team Vitality?
my message to Vitality is don't destroy us too.
Don't destroy us too. Okay. Thank you, Super Marco, for this interview. Good luck for your next, and we're gonna throw it
अब मैं
over back
सोलो
to you
खेलता
guys.
भाई तेरे साथ कब खेला मैंने इतना दो मैचेस खेले
You
होंगे
know I
एक
love
मैच
MLBB because some trash talk on person in camera. Let's leave online. That's a different place. It's gonna be like, get some sleep. Have a good breakfast.
Yeah.
Get on time.
Please don't destroy us.
Practice a little bit, but not too much so you get tired. Falcon super fans there sitting in front of us, and he mentioned for Falcons they're fighting for more
Buddy
than
wins
just a
देखना
game.
wins
Trex, it is the last hope, and what he was referencing was the last hope of the Philippines.
wins
The
देखना
fact that
किसका
Team
ब्रो
FCPH is out, and it's really up to Team Falcons to carry that torch of
दो मैच खेले भाई हमने और
successful
कितने खेले
region
ब्रो
in MLBB history.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone that's new to MLB,
भाई नहीं खेलता मैं किसी का खेला ही नहीं भाई सोलो खेलता हूँ ब्रो मैं
normal.
क्या भूल भी गए खेला ही नहीं मैं तेरे साथ
Before the top 8.
मैंने बहुत पहले दो गेम खेला था तेरे साथ अब तो खेला भी नहीं भाई मैं किसी का खेलता ही नहीं हूँ सोलो खेलता हूँ भाई
Last time 7.5.
नहीं भाई ये तो झूठ है भाई मोर देन 10 टाइम्स खेला है तो झूठ हो गया भाई ये तो झूठ है भाई मैं तो किसी का 10 बार खेला ही नहीं भाई
Once looking through, they're still not exactly the favorite of the bracket.
Honestly, looking at this one, and I feel like this is why
मैंने
everyone's
बस अपने
saying this
टीम
is
मेंबर्स का
definitely
खेला
one
होगा
of the
10 से
best
ज्यादा और किसी
internationals
खेला ही
ever
नहीं 10
because
से ज्यादा
the meta is very entertaining, as well as every single team that's coming here, they have showed up. Honestly, I feel like maybe one or two teams didn't really prepare that well for this new meta, but other than that, it honestly has been amazing, and I do want to see how Falcons can actually deal with Vitality because they're looking so strong.
Because, and it feels like it could be just about anybody's game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Falcons could still win this. Vitality could win this. Aurora could win this. Team Spirit's in the running. Vamos, sadly, no more pro esports. Yangon, I mean, just everyone feels like they have a chance to make it to that grand final stage.
Well, the last time we saw a grand final that included two Indonesian teams was MSC 19. We'll see if we can continue that journey,
वहाँ टॉप
or
पे
if it
होता
will
है
be the last hope of the Philippines that crushed
टॉप पे होता
Vitality's
है
hope. Second series of the
कहाँ
day underway.
कहाँ टॉप पे भाई
Another game.
मेरी
and
लिस्ट पे किसी
another
और के साथ था भाई मेरा
opportunity
टॉप
for
में टीममेट्स के
greatness.
बहुत गेम्स खेलता हूँ ब्रो
Philippines-Indonesia
क्या बोल
rivalry
रहा है भाई
continues, but before that, I gotta say, Yangon Galacticos, they looked incredible. I mean, I knew they were good, but 3-0 in the way that they did, remaining undefeated, Rose, that's crazy.
Yes, definitely. Yangon Galacticos is
एमएलबी
now
भी तो खेले हैं
officially a
एमएलबी भी तो दो गेम
team to
खेला
watch
ब्रो
out
तो मेरे
for.
साथ
But let's talk about this match. This second match, a rivalry that dates
जबकि ग्रैंड मास्टर में तो एक मैच खेला हूँ इनकी तेरे से नहीं खेल सकते तेरा रैंक बहुत लो था
And
एक खेला
today,
ब्रो
there
तेरे साथ
is a
मैच
possibility that we could
Classic
continue
movie.
this tournament without a Filipino representative.
Both teams have faced off in the group stage, and what have they done? They've chosen to play one another once again here in the knockout stage. Last time, a close win for Vitality. We'll see if they can replicate it again.
अच्छा कि मैं चैट ओपन करो मेरे आपकी
Fight back. Speaking of which,
देखता हूँ
let's
देखता
bring
हूँ
up our teams and the drums begin to roar. Please let me
तेरा
welcome
नाम
back
क्या है चुके हुए एक्वारिस है ना एक्वारिस एक्वारिस ही होगा सबसे
the hometown
देखता हूँ
heroes.
10 बार तो नहीं खेला
They
है
have dominated the group stage and have made it to knockouts. At first place in Group A, they demanded one thing: a rematch.
गिफ्ट किया होगा वो कि हाँ मुझे कुछ 10 टाइम
The
वो गिफ्ट किया
Beehive
होगा
Stars. It's
डेली
time to get your sing and blackout.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun. And of course, their rivals for this match, all the way from the Philippines, and its team, Falcons Philippines!
देखता हूँ तेरी बात मान लेता हूँ
The last hope of the Filipinos. They have shown that experience and mental fortitude is what they are known for. But is that enough to continue the dream? Can Team Falcons Philippines
मिल ही
come
ना
out
तेरा
on
नाम
top
तो
in
फ्रेंड
this
लिस्ट में
rematch? Can the Hope Bringer continue their journey?
I love how
एक्वारिस
it's
ये
from
रहा
50-50 between
चैट
them.
चेक करा
If anything, it
कुछ
means
भी
we're
नहीं है
in
भाई
a
चैट में
matchup.
This is
खाली
the
चैट है ब्रो हम
final
दोनों
of
की
a series. So that, boys,
और तू 4 दिन
raise
पहले
your
तो
keys,
ऑनलाइन था ब्रो
take
अभी
your
तो
seats, and
खेलता
of
भी नहीं
course,
है गेम क्या बोल
champions,
रहा है
don't
ब्रो
forget to meet in the
the hell
middle. The
भाई
crowd
कुछ
right
भी
now
फेंक के
looks like
चला
it's
गया
about
भाई
to be a grand finals match. I am loving
खेलता तो
it.
है नहीं गेम तेरा कैसे खेला भाई मैंने
Only one will continue will journey.
किसी
Will
और
it
के साथ
be
खेल रहा है
Team
ब्रो तू?
Falcons Philippines, the
डुओ
home
किया तूने
winner
किसी
of
के
the
साथ?
Filipinos, or is there
किसके
a
साथ?
possibility that we
जीजी
will be
निंजा
seeing
की
an
कौन है?
ID somewhere in the near future? Let's throw it over to the best.
जीजी निंजा के साथ डुओ कर रहा है भाई तू? मुझे जीजी निंजा थोड़ी मोबाइल में
Sounds like the next Brandon Sanderson novel.
जीजी
I love
निंजा
it,
के साथ
Rose.
डुओ
Thank you
करता है
so
ब्रो. आप
much.
मानो आपका और मेरा डुओ मस्त.
Vitality
मैंने खेला ही नहीं ब्रो तेरे साथ कभी.
Falcons,
2 गेम खेले
PH,
हैं तेरे साथ शायद से.
versus Indonesia.
बेहतर किया भाई. मैंने कहा कैसे हो सकता है ब्रो ये? खेला ही नहीं भाई ने झूठ बोल दिया.
Of course it has to be high. This is the battle of the birds and the bees.
पेपर से वही तो भाई. तू खेल थोड़ी रहा है. क्या बोल रहा है मुझे?
For the Crunchyroll story, no?
मैंने कब खेल लिया ब्रो तेरे साथ?
Okay. Isn't this like a battle that's been historical since the time of Adam?
The time of Adam.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere, unlike anything we've seen so far at EWC 26 for MLBB. MSC is changing the course of its destiny with the result of this matchup. And what will that be? Will it be the Philippines still in it? The hope bringer, the last hope. Team Falcons, who are in pursuit of a club championship win, their first win that could send them back to a back-to-back-to-back, or will Team Vitality crush the hopes of a region and have their opportunity to get a club championship victory and enter into the
देख भाई तेरी
semifinals
वजह
of MSC?
से नेमार रिटायर कर दी तेरी इस बात से. तूने ये बोला नेमार अब कभी नहीं खेलेगा.
Right now, electricity builds.
कोई नहीं बदला लिया जाएगा स्क्रिम्स में आपसे. मैं खेलता ही नहीं ब्रो बच्चों के.
It sure does.
And ever since MSC took away the double elimination bracket, the pressure
अभी
just
आएगा
builds
गेम भाई.
so
अच्छा लो.
much for these matches in the top 8 because you know there's no second chances. The term "the last hope" couldn't hit any harder for any Filipinos watching out there. And right now, Team Vitality wants to crush that.
I mean, honestly, that's crazy. Imagine you have a flawless run in group stage, and then all of a sudden, going into the knockouts, facing against the opponents that you took down before, just losing this one match, it's over. Like, in terms of the mental stress for all of the players here, they look calm, but I gotta say, it takes a lot for you to be calm in this kind of situation.
It sure
एवरी
does.
स्क्रिम्स में मिलूं क्या?
The beauty of that is that there's no need for
ठीक है.
calm
MSC
at this
Glory
point. I feel like the
आगे
benefit
कोड
is that
MSC
you have the
Glory.
chance to have the chance from your crowd, the fans going crazy, rooting you on, to let you know this moment means something. In esports, it's common to go through these grueling groups where, let's face it, guys, sometimes a game doesn't mean that much. You're already through. You already know what's going to happen.
अबे भाई क्या हो गया? कोड दिया वो सारे लोगों ने यूज कर दिया.
It's time for
भाई
the
2 मिनट
big
का कूल डाउन लग
games,
गया.
and this marks the beginning of truly consequential MLBB and MSC, and the draft is almost underway.
And it looks like it's going to be dangerous grass here. Yeah, it's going to be dangerous grass. Vitality will be first pick on blue side. Falcons, red side, second pick. And this is already very interesting, Trex. Vitality banned out the Esmeralda, so it does seem like they're trying to
आप
open
भी
something
आ
up.
जाओ मेरे टीम में लाइक पार्ट टाइम डिक्ट्रॉक से. ये क्या टीम है भाई? डिक्ट्रॉक से ये वाले.
Esmeralda gone, looking for a possible
अभी तो क्या ऐसा बड़े प्लेयर
something of that
डिक्ट्रॉक.
nature. Fanny getting banned out after, and back to Falcons with Aurora.
मैं भी बस एक टूर्नामेंट खेलूंगा और जोड़ एक्स.
Yeah, because I really feel like
और
right
जोड़
now,
एक्स कौन है भाई? भाई मान जाए कौन है जोड़
for
एक्स?
odds, it's really something you
जोड़
gotta
एक्स
look
है
forward
कौन
to
ब्रो?
because the Eudora is a very strong pick, but these very heavy frontliners, they can kind of mitigate some of the advantages that the Eudora has. And now the Freya gets banned, which is amazing. I don't know why Freya gets through all the time.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. It should not.
That last
भाई ने बोला जोड़ एक्स भी है. जोड़ एक्स है कौन ब्रो?
should not have been allowed in the land of
मैं
God.
जोड़ एक्स को नहीं जानता. मैंने कभी देखा नहीं भाई उसको.
Here in game 2, excuse me, series 2, game 1. And what we had seen was kind of this assassin, hold our cards to our chest, make sure to see if we can outbluff you. We're going to ban Fanny, we're going to ban Ling, we're going to ban Aurora. They switched that up because there was just too many assassins to go into that pool on the side of YG and not enough for Pro. But here we could see an Aurora banned out.
रिजरेक्शन जोड़ बस रिजरेक्शन में थोड़ी जोड़ एक्स कौन है भाई वो?
And go for the
रिजरेक्शन इम्पॉसिबल का लाइनअप है ब्रो. था जो वो लाइनअप था नोवेल स्टार बॉय,
So, ban the Aurora.
I think it should be
नोवेल स्टार बॉय
there's going to be
और
so
क्या
many
नाम है
rounds.
उसका?
pick up the Zushin.
नाम भूल गया वाकई में, लेकिन जोडेक्स नहीं था उसमें.
Heroes on the side of Haji, and it's the Barons. Wow,
Novel,
guys, that's the earliest we've seen
Starboy,
Barons.
I'll tell you one thing that
Ashir.
has changed in the meta from groups to now. Some of these first picks, some of these
Resurrection
cryos
Impossible.
early on, the fact that Barats just got picked up mean a lot's happened in scrims over the past 48 hours for sure. A lot of things have changed, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like you need the,
Thaga
I
bhai,
would say,
देखता
toughest
हूँ
guy
भाई.
in the EXP, just so that
Jode
enemy
X तो
jungler
सबसे
cannot get an
Free
easy
Fire
kill
player है
onto you,
तो.
as well as you're just able to have that
Wow.
pressure inside of the jungle of your opponent. So this is very interesting. The Barats get picked up, and I feel like this can have some hesitation when it comes to what Falcons want, because I think eventually they do want the Uranus, but right now do they actually want the Ling Eudora combo, because both are already not looking that great against the Barats.
The Barats was not used on the side of Vitality. This is the first time they're playing it this series. The Barats was used for Falcons once, and it lost. So maybe not a priority, or maybe reading too much into the value of the Barats after seeing the first series today. But either way, it's a response with a Selena and a Beleric, Trex.
I mean, I think it's a solid.
Ditrox also, Ditrox के साथ एक टीममेट भी तो आ रहा है.
You have a mage that
भाई खेल भाई तुम लोग खेलो ब्रो क्या
has some
क्या
distance.
अभी तो अच्छे प्लेयर
Also
बोलता है फिर
gets you
बोलता है
vision around
पता
the
नहीं क्या.
map. And the Beleric, I mean, it's the Beleric. He's just been a dominant roamer on the map. On the side of Vitality, I think
लेकिन
this could be
जोड
an
एक्स तो
opportunity
नहीं
to pick
था
up the
भाई,
lane
देखता हूँ
of
एक
the
बार.
assassin here. And if Falcon is forced onto a fighter or utility, the Barats is going to quite literally eat that up. I mean, it's going to quite literally be such a nuisance in these huge neutral objectives.
Oh, the Minotaur gets picked up early, as well as the Minotaur. I gotta say, the Minotaur has been raising in value just in terms of the win rate. It's insane for Selena, over 71% win rate. Wow. And right now for Vitality, like we even saw the interview with Victorina. I think she planted the seed of this.
I also want to try esports. I haven't played much. मुझे भी तो esports में try करना है. मैंने यूट्यूब क्वालिफायर का कुछ खेला भी नहीं है. पक्का नहीं आ रहा है. नहीं bro.
And both teams are showing hesitation because the draft that we're seeing right now.
मैं नहीं खेलता भाई तो के. मैं आपसे बात नहीं करूँगा. Sorry bro. मैं नहीं खेलता bro.
So you have to think outside the box, because what if Melissa's ult comes out? What do we do then in an objective fight? We're gonna be struggling. So how do you deal with that? And the Clint is picked up. And one of the ways to deal with somebody is just to burst them down so fast they don't have time to use their abilities.
It's definitely a new answer. Does have the range. The Clint.
Will anyone pick up 11 नींबू मिर्ची का पेड़ उठाऊंगा कोई उठा लेगा.
Really protect him. He does have the ability to escape with his
अभी बढ़िया मैच आएगा bro.
Nothing.
Wait, क्या बोला? टर्मिनेटर की लाइनअप आपको अवेलेबल मिलेगी. आप कौन है टर्मिनेटर? मेरा कोच भी नेपाल से है, पता है. ओके ब्रो. कौन है भाई नेपाल का कोच ब्रो? तू भाई फिर ही ले रहा है भाई तुझे से. है कौन नेपाल का कोच ब्रो? तेरी बात से लग रहा है एचओके खेलना पड़ेगा उससे. एमएल में आऊंगा तो फिर कोई इनवाइट दे देगा, उसके बाद नहीं खेलना मुझे ब्रो.
Since they're on blue side and they have to show their whole hand, a YSS pick
right there where Falcon still is the
thumbnail
opportunity
change
to counter with
title
their
change कर
infrared
दूँ क्या
pick.
इसका TR
Could
वर्सेस उसमें तो
definitely be
beat TR उसमें तो
dangerous.
आएंगे
Could be possible though. I mean, the reality is they have the Melissa who works great inside of that type of strategy. A YSS would also work great inside that type of strategy. They would need some nice magic damage though, and that's where my mind is at.
मियाँ
What do they
वॉक
pick
कर दिया
here
है इन्हें
in the mid lane?
तो स्ट्रीम टाइटल चेंज करता हूँ मैं एक बार
Seeing something like
वो डाल
I
देता
can
हूँ
leave, but
EWC कुछ डाल देता हूँ
what's called it? The Eudora is still there. Right? It's not like any of the picks here makes the
एक बार
Eudora not viable. You know,
अभी
like,
आया
Zeta,
मैं एक बार
sure,
टाइटल
it's
चेंज
gonna
करके
have some, I would say, some poking power against the Eudora and not a lot against
why
I feel like their Evo Eudora should be well. I feel like using something like the Kimi might be too risky.
Well, Lapu Lapu picked up. It was picked up last series and it lost. But maybe Falcons have something up their sleeve here. And you've seen the Nolan, the Harara, they've gone deep into the
FCPH
jungle bands.
Falcons
Yeah, the Lapu's definitely been
FCPH
having some
से करता
trouble.
Falcons PH
I mean, overall, just hasn't been able to keep up with the bulky EXP laners that are out there, and you have this Barats already. We're going to see this final pick in the Valentina. Clean, easy. You get even more crowd control if you steal that Wrath of the Dryad. You pair that up with a Nolan's Fury. Vitality, definitely.
एक बार ये स्ट्रीम टाइटल चेंज कर गया तब दिखाता हूँ स्क्रीन
Unless it's a Paquito jungle.
Or Paquito jungle.
Paquito jungle.
I kind of feel like maybe better for Paquito to go to
हो
jungle
गया
because I feel like, honestly, both win the lane against Lapu. It's just that I think Paquito has more burst damage to secure the turtle slash lord.
And we saw that
मियाँ
on last day
कर दो
groups.
I
We saw
hate you
Paquito
sensei
jungle come in as well.
मियाँ कर दो क्या बोल रहा है भाई क्या अजीब अजीब बातें कर रहा है मैं की बातें कर रहा है इनका मियाँ कर दो बोला है
If it's not the CU, if they want
the
to
hell
go utility, then maybe the attack.
But they have played a Kai. They have played a Kai before. It's a win and a loss, but they played it on Rome.
But because that's a Valentina, I think there would be a bit of a
I
hesitation
hate
there.
you sensei my fault brother
The Ling has been successful.
My bad,
They've played it once. They've won once.
माफ कर दे
Going
भाई
into this lineup, you feel the
बड़े
hesitation,
भाई
and it gets us a unique
I know
hero,
about
baby.
this.
What
Okay,
are we
so,
feeling?
so let's talk about this. The Joy has enough iframes to actually go away of Melissa and possibly one-shot her. Everyone else, there's a lot of peel here. The Paquito can peel, the Minotaur can peel, the Valen can peel. This is a pretty,
second Chinese team to play
I would say
at
pretty
KWC
dangerous choice, but I can see it working-ish.
I mean, I think you look at this left side, Trex, these are all top performing heroes in this meta. Those are a few, but not all of them.
I will say this, teams have been blessed by getting unique. Teams have made things happen by trying new heroes. The Joy was once a monster, and it does well against a Suyo, can do well against enemy fighter jungle, so
Joy ले लिया
he
भाई
is
what
the
the
answer
hell
to the Paquito jungle.
Well, will
What
it
the
be
hell
the
is-
answer? The new rivalry in the jungle and the
I
old
have mood
rivalry
swing
with
क्या
Indonesia
मुझे
and
mood
the
swing हुए हैं अब
Philippines.
अपने
152 games
आपको मेरे
between
टीम को गिफ्ट कर
90th
दो
conqueror
what
of the Philippines
क्या
and see if they can make it 91.
क्या
Thank you so much. We're jumping into
The
our
hell?
very first
क्या
series.
बोला
We
भाई
are here to catch it all. We got Vitality on the blue side facing up against the Falcons on the
ये मैच नहीं
red.
लेने भाई
And
अब तो
immediately we already
अब
see
थोड़ा सा बात
both
कम करो
sides. The
मजाक
draft
कर
has
रहा
been particularly
लेकिन ये
interesting.
मैच
It's the
देखना
first
है
time you're seeing Joy here and now in this game.
It's a Paquito versus a Joy in the jungle. Never really expecting a new rivalry to come out again now that we're in the knockouts. But hey, it's MSC. It's always been surprises everywhere. But at least for Vitality, they've gotten one of their
You
very
gift
good
yourself to my
comfort picks, which is
नहीं
the
भाई
Melissa on Eman again.
क्या आइटम मान लिया क्या भाई
Right, Lafell was mentioning just now that Joy does have enough iframes to actually not only close the distance, but actually deal some damage despite the go away from me. So at this stage, we're trying to see whether or not Falcons, they build a lineup where, hey, as much as we want Super Marco to win the lane, there are other aspects of the game that we cannot let
अबे भाई ये
drop
क्या हो
or
गया मेरे
slip.
इसको YouTube को
Because especially when it comes to the objectives, right? I mean, you
इसको
already
कैसे
were thinking twice about the
ये
Akai
करके
pickup
देखता
because
हूँ
of the presence of a Valentina,
नहीं
yes, but
हुआ
also
भाई
the Barat. So what are the
चैट
guarantees
खुलिया
that
इधर
whoever
कर रहा
jungler
देख
you
मेरा
pick up would not face the
बंद नहीं हो
exact
रहा
same
brother
struggles going up against a Barat, Paquito, and a Valentina? Oh, not to mention the Minotaur even. So like objective picks seem to be a bit of an advantage for Vitality, at least in the early to mid stages of the game.
I would imagine that Falcons would just have to look to play for picks, right? And initially, I was
ऐसे ही
thinking
करना पड़ेगा
Hayabusa
full
along the
screen
sides of the Joy as well, but I think Joy just a little bit more concentrated on the targets they want to go for rather than you just leaving it up to chance with the Hayabusa. This time round, Shogun is still going to be a pretty big problem. Not only is he winning in the lane, but more importantly, the neutrals is going to be hard. Oh, this is dangerous for him. Iman's side.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
बच गई बात। अब यूपीएससी करके आपको स्क्रीन में मिलूंगा। ओके ब्रो, यू हैव रिजेक्ट क्या? आपने मेरा प्यार ठुकराया। ए क्या बोला? ए भाई, ए क्या बोल रहा है भाई? ठीक ठीक भाई, मीठा मीठा है क्या? Oh, oh, Falcon Field. Let's go.
But Falcons, they're not gonna fight.
No, they can't go for any more than this. Not enough cooldowns on Nile
Oh,
to
1-1
actually
trade.
chain it together. So far, so good. It's 1-to-1 trade-off so far. And man, let's look at this replay one more time. Because
मेरा
again,
प्यार
this
ठुकरा
matchup
के
down by the bot
इंतकाम
lane really
देखी
depends
बोल
on
दिया
the
भाई ने।
positioning of the bot. If he runs
और
out of
फार्म
that
कर
traditional
लेगा।
front to back, he will lose. But keep in mind that even for Lapu, there was no need for him to flicker into that, right? He's so
Direct
deep
मार
in
दिया।
the sauce.
Paquito
Can't get
early
out
game.
afterwards unless he was looking to
Brother
try
need to
and
put
get
more
these
respect on
Brimstone
him.
off of cooldown as soon as
Paquito
he's
early
left.
game is too
But
strong now.
it's too early to
By the way,
say.
I'm a girl if I
I
don't
guess
tell
it
you.
really
But we all know
just
you're a
goes
boy,
down to
bro. Shut
Falcons
up, bro.
wanting to keep the snowball. It was kind of brought up in the panel earlier on too that the mid game
भाई
was
कुछ
a
भी
bit
है
of a
नहीं,
struggle for them
कुछ
considering
भी
the lineup
भाई।
that they built. We're looking at another replay here.
एक्वारिज्म भाई का नाम भाई कह रहा है लड़कियों में। ठीक है, एक तू और एक वो पीपू है भाई, लड़कियों को भी लड़की बनने की एक्टिंग कर लेता है भाई।
No way, the damage from Super Marco is insane. Finn goes down next and Kyle catches up onto Moreno. There goes Eman
She-
trying to save his teammate. And he successfully does. But the abyss
वैसे लड़कियों जैसी हरकतें हैं ब्रो, लेकिन तेरी उस दिन तूने बोला ट्राई आउट में बोला नर्वस हो गया मैं। ठीक भाई, पहली बार सुना मैंने कोई ट्राई आउट्स मांग के नर्वस हो गया ब्रो।
just pick up the kill.
This is snowballed into a
ये वो भी नहीं बोल सकते कि बच्चा इसलिए ऐसा करके भाग गया।
resulting in a dive on bot side. Everything that they wanted to get and more has been taken. Well, that and Supermarket not getting the kill. He's got 4 assists in his back. He even flickered for it. So, you know, Haji, yo, KDA machine, calm down. I need the money, sir. Please.
Yes sir, I need the money sir. I thought I would be Kashi Bunga. What? क्या बोला? क्या? छी भाई क्या क्या बातें करता है ये? क्या बोल गई यार? I thought क्या? क्या बोला इसने? सोचा था मैं काश्मीर बनूंगा और आपकी और आप स्काउट मेरे। छी भाई, वीसी में आना कभी। छी भाई दूर है भाई मेरे से, दूर। क्या क्या बातें करता है भाई? वीसी में आना कभी। 17 साल तो तब भी तो 17 साल का है ना तू। ठीक से तो बड़ा हूँ भाई मैं। तू चाहे लड़का हो लड़की हो ब्रो। छी भाई। स्काउट और काशी बोला भाई। छी भाई क्या 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 बातें हैं भाई। सुधर जा भाई, ऐसी बातें करता रहता है भाई। ये कुछ भी बोल दिया क्या किसी स्ट्रीम में जाके? Just kidding. ठीक है भाई, वो तो मान भी सकता हूँ ब्रो। कुछ भी आके बोल दिया कि भाई किसी की स्ट्रीम में ब्रो। That 2 or almost 3k goldie we saw earlier is now cut to half. 3-0 कर दिया भाई एचओके में। एचओके खेल रहा हूँ डायरेक्ट, पहले 3-0 कर दिया। जंगल खेल रहा हूँ, 3-0 हो गया मैंने। 3-0-0। ओह शिट, फैल्कन्स लेट्स गो। फैल्कन्स जीत जा भाई, इंडिया में रहने लोगों ने। ओह शिट, गलत वो कर दिया।
Yeah, once again, pretty difficult choice there. I think Niall even recognized that if he tried to go back into the get away from me boundary of Iman, it might have led into him.
लॉल उड़ रहा है भाई हरकतें करके, देखो।
Once more, and Haji making sure that he is the KDA machine, continues to follow as programmed.
That's a crazy combo. Okay, maybe that's where the burst is gonna come from after all. You know, it's the Selena and the Clint who had a very decent lane.
चलो बाय बाय, लव यू। ओके मतलब
007.
ऐसी बात से मत किया कर भाई, डर के लग क्या है जैसे तेरे से तो। तुझे लड़के वड़के पसंद है भाई, अजीब अजीब बातें कर रहे हैं। मैं बाल कटवा के आई बोल रहा है, लड़का है भाई तू।
It's pretty straightforward. He's just got to chain that CC, but who gets that initiation? Who is able to kind of get all the spells
गंजा हो
out
जाए
of
भाई
their
मैं तो कह
opponents,
रहा हूँ
and I think Kyle has done a
मेरे ख्याल से
phenomenal
गंजा हो
job
जाए ब्रो
as of yet.
मस्त
Now,
और फार
coming
में
back over to Niall, right? Sky Piercer as second item, pretty dangerous. He's 4-2-0, which is already great, but how many fights will he find despite the 3.2k lead that Falcons have developed, right? And a
लोग
majority of
बोलेंगे
that
गंजू पटेल
lead is on Super Marco.
Yeah, because I think that fight earlier was started by Vitality, but it was Falcon actually winning it out off of that decision to try and burst down Oakland, which I think they failed to actually achieve. Another Abyssal Arrow got to dodge that. And Finn seems to be having a much harder time right now dealing with the damage from tanking the
just
front
kidding
line
यार
for
तू
Team
और पीपू
Vitality
ब्रो
at
तू और
this
पीपू
point.
बिल्कुल सेम
There's
लोग हो भाई
also so much
पीपू का
blame,
तो और
honestly,
गंदा फ्लॉप
over
हुआ था
on
उसको तो
Falcon's
उसके नाम से
side,
सबको
which
पता
I think
लड़का है
is going to be a problem if Vitality
पीपू पुलिस नाम है
lose
उसका
on the tendency
कह रहा
for
लड़की हूँ
front-to-back approach of landing these team fights.
Only naturally. I think that Vitality, it's Iman, right? He is going to be key to make this game open wide.
Oh, Logo? It's haunted with a bit. Not gonna really be the target for Falcons.
let's go TLPH I mean sorry FLPH
Yeah, no, this is actually a perfect coming in for Falcons, right? There's no need to try and impose
very
your
easy
views
win for
on their
FL
opponents, especially when it's
Falcons
the 2.9 to 3,
Filipinos
right? It's
showing
very,
why they're the best again
deceiving for most
in
people. You would
MLB.
imagine that everybody is rich. No, it's not everybody is rich. It's Super Marco and Kyle who's kind of rich, and even then, it's really just Super Marco.
Bye
So as
Sunshine
long as
brother bye bro
Vitality take Marco out of the question,
came to
maybe
make
it's
you
not
laugh
the
bro
Falcons
you
just
scared me
going
brother
to
what
let
the
it
hell
go for free. So now watch the motions.
आपको हंसाने आया था बस भाई डरा के चला गया भाई तू अगली बार से मत आइए भाई
Sweeping motion towards the top side after they correct
sorry
that,
my English
right?
is not straight my
When you
English
have
is
control
good
over one sector
okay
of the map,
Bumbalino
you gotta make sure you set up those waves.
okay Bumbalino
Right
बम्बर
now,
बोला
Team
लैंग्वेज बोल
Falcons
दिया
will
भाई
have a clear idea
सुसु
of where
बम्बर भी खा
Vitality
ले
is
ब्रो
coming from. It's a very difficult task to find Super Marco, but there are ways that Vitality can actually pick him off. But Falcons are already grouped
टीम
up.
वाइटैलिटी
There goes Flat
जीतेगी नहीं
Orange
ब्रो
trying to zone.
फैल्कन जीत रही है
Flat
भाई
Orange
तो
committed as well, but the electrifying speeds are dealing too much. But you know what, Yuri? The Daytona's welcome.
Yup.
Four-man knockup coming in from Vitality. Kyle finds Shogun, but that's to be an exchange of his life.
Oh man. Oh, gets hit by the arrow as well. They're gonna get one more for this. Been in trouble.
Yep, has a heal. They will be saved though. But Slap
अरे
finds the kill
एक्वा
still.
एक्शन भाई छी भाई
Two, picking up
भाग ऐसे
9.
भाई क्या क्या बोलता रहता है भाई
Really frustrating for Vitality. A great engagement.
कहाँ
They got
कहाँ से
everything
आए थे
that they
भाई
were
लोग
looking for.
कुछ
It's
भी
just
बोल के चले
unfortunate that
जाएंगे
Iman, he's not really the finisher
These
here.
two
Supposed
were
to
never
be now.
launched
He's
भाई
the
मत
one to
कर
get
भाई
such
launch
damage. Look,
प्लीज भाई
now
यार
already with the empowered,
प्लीज भाई
with this empowered champion
ऐसी
stance,
बातें
he
मत
got
करा
the
कर
damage
भाई यहाँ
reduction,
के
and then realizes I need to get back into the fight. But since he doesn't have flicker, he can't close the distance as quickly as you would expect a Paquito EXP. So really, it's on Iman to get those big chunks in these fights, and then look for Niall to actually try and clean it up, because nobody else on their side can do it other than maybe Moreno if he steals the bravest fighter.
Yeah, but honestly, the amount of disruption in formation
मार दिया
breaking
आटा को भी
heroes that are present in
अब
the
आटा का
lineup
आटा
for the
बनाऊंगा
Falcons are just not making it easy for Eman to do his job, nor even place Muddles in a perfect position to at least force Falcons to be a bit more 50-50.
Bye, happy streaming Sensei motivator and thank you bhai
And now they're on the
तुम भी
verge
भाई
of just losing out on more and more structures. That's a conceal play by Oakland here.
thank you
Doesn't
भाई
have
stream
the
देखने के लिए
ball.
brother take care brother bye bye
Arrow all over again!
Oh my
And the
god!
work from Super Marco! Oh, that was just... It was just one hit away from
ये
going down,
Falcons
and
करने
that
वाले
was
10 मिनट का गेमिंग का भाई
This is too much. This
damn
is too much for them
early
to
game
handle.
over
As
कर
much as
दिया
Iman is
I
great
come
at
from such a
sieging on
stream
this
have
Melissa,
given you
so
at
far
least
this
one
clip
mod
has
I
been
have given
double the
क्या
work, not only chunking
क्या
out
बोल
the
रहा है भाई
numbers from Vitality's side, but a raw amount of burst. Interesting.
एक mod तो
Making a
दिया
blind
नहीं
read
जा रहा
there,
है इतनी
trying
stream
to
से आ
open
रहा
up
हूँ
this
क्या
one part of the bush, but
mod तो
watch it
दिया
every single
नहीं
time.
नहीं
If
जा
they can just get a little bit
आ
more
रहा
space
हूँ
after the muddles, they
क्या
can almost
समझ में
guarantee
नहीं आया
that
क्या
inhibitor
हिंदी बोल रहा है
turn.
इंग्लिश बोल रहा है क्या
Yeah, he didn't have the blue
बोलना
there
क्या चाह
either,
रहे
so
हैं
it
ब्रो
was just probably them
तेरी
really
हिंदी
wanting
अलग
to
ही है
throw
भाई
in a way to keep Vitality further from being able to defend that turret, but nonetheless, at least for Vitality now, they're still holding on to their base turrets. It's an
ओ
8
शिट
goal
मेरा
lead
गोल
that we're
बहुत
looking
गैप
at
हो गया
right
भाई
now,
हाँ
though. I think
कैसे भाई
being able to come back from this kind of situation really requires for Eman to get as much farm as he should. But now that Falcons, especially with the Selena, are taking full control of the map, it's looking like a very difficult task at this point.
Well, I think it's a good time to play good and bads here, right? Because truth be told, the best situation possible for Vitality is if they wait 2 lords, and then they should be able to even out in terms of the gold. If not, they have to get at least steal away 1 lord and somehow get a complete wipeout on Falcons. 4 out of the 5 would also be ideal, majorly to get that shut down. that shutdown go to Haji, but so far I don't think
channel moderator मांग रहा है क्या? वो तू इतना stream तो देखता नहीं भाई मेरी. Choco 69 देखता है और वो देखता है legit जो हर stream देखते हैं वो. उसमें देख के पास है. Legit Cho के पास है बस वो हर stream देखता है. कितने बज गए वैसे? 6 बज गए क्या? हाँ बस तो है 6. लेकिन इसके बाद ही एंड करूंगा. You don't give me mod, I coming like a really long time. भाई तू कभी-कभी आता है stream पे भाई. बहुत लोग जो डेली आते हैं भाई स्ट्रीम पे, उनको उनमें से भी एक के बाद तुझे कैसे दे दूंगा मैं? You very chalak, bro.
Back into a neutral state. Same goes for mid. So Falcons will not waste any time. They're going to set that up with a hard push down by mid lane. Somebody's got to crack that bot side at some point.
Owen using the Wrath of Dryad. Bravest fighter too from Flap. The tone is welcome though. Gonna be committed onto Owen. They're gonna catch one and they don't have the Wrath of Dryad anymore. Flicker already forced out for Owen. With the Minoan Fury of Finn trying to block off the other members of Falcons. Another knockup coming in from him, but the electrifying beats is dealing a bit too much damage. Look at that off angle.
Okay, bye, bro. I don't see. देखा तुझे देखता नहीं है भाई. देख पहले स्ट्रीम को.
Oh my god, they're getting corralled like shit.
वो क्या घटिया टीम मिल गई चुके में खेल रहा जीत रहा था. कुछ कर ही नहीं रहा. 161 by then. 05 she's.
Oh my goodness, they completely ran them into a corner, and now they're going to go for the end game scenario. They should be able to defend this, but Iman, he can only take so much damage. Super Marco still has plenty of vault charges. I think he's about to get 2 more here, but they need to clear this wave out.
Okay.
Oh my god!
They get to clear it. They get to clear it for now, but this is Super Marco and Haji. The range that you have to deal with against these 2 members of Falcons. This is no joke. Vitality, even that Minoan Fury that you saw from Finn earlier, the most that they could do with it is just prevent Falcons from getting even closer, but they weren't able to deal with the other members who were already looking towards engaging from the back lines.
It's just crazy how they're influencing these fights. It's just like a sheepdog corralling sheep. They're just putting them back into the pen every single time, and once they get that back angle, it completely forces Vitality to just say, no, we can't win this fight anymore. We need to keep it front to back as much as we can, and Falcons are the ones who are looking to break that. Not to mention, we should probably drop the bulletproof Marco at this point. He's machine gun Marco, man. He's machine gun Marco with Ballista Haji in the back, being able to siege them down from underneath the turrets is crazy.
Whoa, that was also the great Dragon Spear pickup for Super Marco, as we got to see in the items. Another arrow
nice, she finally killed someone, bro.
Still marching in mid. Eman, how does he actually deal with this? Owen does have the flicker once again. Lord already in the base. Eman, below half HP. It's already within range. Vitality have to deal with it first, but Flap lands a stun on Eman, forcing the go away. Kyle finds the kill onto Finn, and Flap is looking to be in danger right here. They're going to rather try it all over again. It's the Falcons. They just put an end to game number 1.
Bro, I told you, bro. Falcons only. Filipino supremacy.
Is the hard work and adaptation coming in from Team Falcons PH after their crushing loss against Vitality in the group stages. A great adjustment, but also it's not the end of the road just yet. Vitality, they can correct themselves here. It's not impossible. Just know that the priority list has definitely changed.
It's shifted right now. We saw it in the draft. We saw it in the way Falcons were able to play this out. They were very aggressive at times. We thought it would eventually lead into opportunities for Vitality to equalize or turn things around, but they had to keep the gas. They had to keep stepping on the gas. And it was very rewarding for them. They got the
Damn, I'm 12-6 and it's okay right now.
They got everything that Super Marco
but what is this dude, bro? Falcons fan a bit too excited. What the hell?
It seems like we're yet to see more and more coming into this playoffs.
I really think so, because now we have a very simple solution. Well, not the most simple, but a drafting solution.
Welcome to the stream, Guts. How are you, brother? Jeet gay. Yeah, for real, bro. Jeet gay, bhai.
It's not an easy lane to win, especially when it's all about positioning and mechanics, but they added the anti-CC from the Bravest Fighter.
Welcome to the stream, Guts, brother. How are you, bro?
force
What a win
space
though,
because if
अजीब गेम है, बहुत तगड़ा
can't
तगड़ा
auto
win था
attack,
इनके लिए,
he can't get the
तगड़ी टीम है
bonus
भाई,
and
तगड़ा win भी,
pummels.
Yeah, I
बहुत
agree. It
मस्त
has
मस्त
been
गेम था.
a really good run for the Lapua as a hero in the current meta in general, but in scenarios like this, I think you see how efficient it can actually be in the
ये क्या हो
lane.
रहा है?
Let's not forget about supports dropping Revitalize, picking up Flicker. That's something that you guys are going to be sitting on and thinking about as we throw it back to Rain Day and the panel to break it down for y'all.
It's good, you tell me.
A moment. Electric
बढ़िया, तुम
here
बताओ भाई,
in
मैं
the
भी बढ़िया भाई,
Lenovo
बस ये देख रहा था आज
gauntlet.
EWC का वो नहीं होता, कोच स्ट्रीमर करने का अप्रूवल मिल गया था मुझे कोच स्ट्रीम का EWC से, तो वही अब तो और मजे आ रहे हैं, देख भी सकता हूँ स्ट्रीम पे.
What you hope for, an electric battle where Team Falcons PH take the first win. Haji, bulletproof Super Marco, do not die. If they continue that, well, it could be.
बढ़िया जीती भाई, फैल्कन्स लगी था, फैल्कन्स जीतेगी. अगली आखिरी फिलिपिनो की टीम, फिलीपींस की टीम बची है.
Adjustments, Trex. LaFell, what did we see after that one? I mean, you have to first even just address the energy in this room. It's different than any other match we have seen so far at MSC.
Yeah, the hype has definitely not disappointed from crowd to in-game. Falcons showing that they've been definitely doing their homework the past 2 days. They controlled the draft, I feel like. Marco on that clinic.
Brother, have you
was
purchased
just
the ID क्या?
monstrous.
भाई तुमने ID
Much
purchase किया है क्या?
faster than I
नहीं नहीं नहीं
expected.
ब्रो, मेरा ID
The
purchase
amount
नहीं
of
हुआ,
damage this
मेरा
guy
ये
put up
पहले से.
in just under 15 minutes, 80,000.
ML का बोल रहा है क्या? दोनों का नहीं है सर, ना ML ना चो का खरीदा हुआ है, मेरा खुद का. स्टार्ट से उसी पे खेल रहा हूँ. एक और अकाउंट था मेरा 70% 80% win rate वाला, हांजो वाला, उसका पासवर्ड भूल गया.
That is going to change most likely in this next draft. But if you look at the drum speeding, this is also, for those joining us, a rematch of a knockout game that put Team Falcons PH towards elimination. Vitality had moved on. They had just barely gotten through after beating their sister team, Team Falcons Meta, and now they are here and take game one. LaFell, I know you have some stuff to break down with us on what this means, but there are so many resurgences happening from this Philippines team.
No, honestly, like this is one of the more technical games that we will really see, where it's not a simple rock paper scissors, because the main thing that I'll be talking about throughout the analysis is actually the positioning of Team Falcons PH and how I would say the first 4 to 5 minutes they understood what Vitality was trying to do, because Vitality was pretty honest in their early game attempts, and then they were able to.
Is there any benefit in purchasing it? नहीं bro, flex हो जाता ना उसकी, क्या बोलते हैं, मेरे पास आइडिया है, मेरे पास आइडिया. कुछ लोग होते हैं, बच्चे होते हैं जो बहुत वो फ्लेक्स करते हैं स्किन, जैसे अगर मान लो जो स्किन से खेलना बढ़िया लगता है तो तू वो उसके लिए खरीद सकता है आईडी. कुछ बच्चे होते हैं जिनको क्या बोलते हैं, स्टार ज़्यादा चाहिए होते हैं फ्लेक्स करने के लिए, जैसे शिट टॉक करने के लिए, ट्रैश टॉक करने के लिए किसी को, तो वो क्या करते हैं, वो अकाउंट खरीद लेते हैं जिसमें हाई स्टार होता है ये वो. तो उन लोग के लिए अच्छी है आईडी खरीदना, उनके मतलब का है. मेरा जैसे मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता विन रेट से, कुछ लोगों को हाई विन रेट चाहिए होता है, वो लोग आईडी खरीदते हैं. मुझे कोई मतलब नहीं है विन रेट से, मुझे ना मतलब है स्टार से, मुझे ना मतलब है स्किन से, तो मैं खरीदता नहीं आईडी. मैं इंडिया नंबर 128 भी था एमआरओ में, ये सब था, तो मेरे कोई फर्क तो पड़ता नहीं. और बाकी सारे मैंने खुद ही जीत रखे हैं, और अगर कुछ और होगा तो मैं खुद ही जीत लूंगा वैसे भी. क्या करूं मैं आईडी खरीद के.
Of the jungle in the early game, having the Paquito, but the big problem is the existence of this guy, right? Ogwen on this Belric. This is a big problem, because we're going to be looking at the highlights here.
मैं PUBG में वैसे जब मैं बहुत पहले, जब मैं छोटा था, मैं PUBG खेलता था, मैं तब भी ऐसे ही करता था. स्किन से मतलब नहीं, गन्स की स्किन किसी चीज से मतलब नहीं, बस गेम खेलने से मतलब.
And then you're like, oh, this is a bad idea, I want to run away, but it's like, no, you can't run away, right? Let's look at here. He was able to stop with the Raft of the Dry, and then later on, able to use the first ability to bring Finn back. And this is part of the first, I would say, major problem in this lineup, where Vitality's win condition is shut down by one hero, but then we escalate into how the team fights look out. Because the most important thing here is that, hold on, pause. I want everyone to see the positioning of Team Falcons PH, knowing that they're going up against a Minotaur, going
लोग अपनी आईडी बूस्ट करवाते हैं, सब करवाते हैं, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उससे. मैंने बहुत प्लेयर देखे इतने हाई स्टार जैसे होते, लेकिन घटिया खेलते हैं.
All right. Look at all the position hands. There you go. Ogwen is at the first position, having the most amount of
my ID is new, check it later. कौन सी ML की आईडी है क्या? मेरा आईडी नया है, बाद में देखना. ML का आईडी किसका आईडी है ब्रो?
because the vision is
असल में भी स्ट्रीम पे ही देख रहा मैं एमएल मैं बस मैच देख रहा हूँ लेकिन मैं ऑफ स्ट्रीम खेल रहा हूँ तो
has already given this side of the
देख तो
vision as
सकता
well
हूँ
as
तेरी
Frank
आईडी
giving
तो ऑफ
around
स्ट्रीम में
this side of
देखता
the
हूँ
vision, making it so that he can just keep throwing out the arrows, and because
फिर
everyone is
खोलता
so
एमएल
spread
और एचओ के
out,
दोनों रखा था
it
पहले एमएल ही
makes it so
खेल
that
रहा था
the
ऑफ स्ट्रीम
engage coming in from Vitality
और
will not always look very, very clean.
एचओ के
They're
अभी
always
खेला
spread,
एक
making
मैच
it so
जीता
that they
भी
minimize the
13
amount of,
किला से
I
कुछ से
would say, mistake that could happen.
लूसीफर है ना
And
तेरा
then
नाम
this is where we start to
लूसीफर
see the
लेजेंडरी
individual skills of Team Falcons PH, because these
स्किन तो
are
तेरे
the
पे
made
भी
a
है भाई
mistake, and we can already
9
see the
है
movements of Team Falcons.
है
They wanted to retreat. They say
है
like, all right,
भाई
we bought our engage, we can try again in a few more seconds.
48
But
मैचेस 53%
because
विन
Vitality
रेट
wants to go
526 मैचेस
in,
52 विन
look
रेट
at the retaliation.
देख भाई
Look at
526
this one.
मैचेस
Look at
52 विन
Haji,
रेट सही
right?
है भाई
Haji
नया
is coming
प्लेयर
in
है
from side.
तो
He's
उसको
not
इंक्रीज भी
gonna
कर
be
सकता है अभी
joining
बहुत
the
टाइम है तेरे
fight.
पे
And then Super Marco, such a safe distance
गोशन
away
विन रेट
from
ऑल
the
सीजन
rest of Team
43
Vitality.
44
Look at how they're gonna square
31
them in.
तेरा विन रेट बहुत
Because
खराब है
for
ब्रो
Team Vitality's
अल्फा
having
को
that
छोड़ के तेरे
Victor
सारे
as
विन
well
रेट
as
बहुत खराब है
Melissa makes you
डायरोट
just
भी सही है
slightly bit more
तेरा विन रेट हीरो
caught
से बहुत
up
खराब है
when
भाई
it
जंगल हीरोज
becomes
पे
what
ऐसा
what
लगा
do
तू
you
जंगलर ही
say
है लेकिन
obvious. It becomes obvious. It
लेकिन तेरा
becomes
विन रेट बहुत
obvious
खराब है
that
जंगल
it's
हीरो से
there, and then you're telegraphing what you're
देख
doing.
तेरा भाई
And
इस सीजन
this
विन रेट
whole
देख रहा हूँ
area
मैं
is
और
covered
टोटल
by
ऑल सीजन भी देखा
Falcons.
इस सीजन
Even
भी देख रहा
Haji,
हूँ
we're gonna be
लेकिन सही
looking
कर
at his
सकता है तू विन
position.
रेट
He's
अपना
from down here, and yet he's able to
सही
get
बोल तू
stun
अपना विन रेट
on
सही कर
Melissa.
सकता है ब्रो
Long story short,
मेरा
he,
मेरा
they
जैसे
were
विन
able
रेट है
to
49 है अभी इस सीजन का
surround him
175
every
मैचेस के
single
बाद
time, making all of the
लेकिन ज्यादा
positioning
होता है
coming in
वैसे
from
60
Vitality
70 होता है
looks
मेरा
bad,
इस टाइम
but
पे
actually it's the
मिथिक पे
amazing positioning
मेरा विन
of
रेट है
Team
हम लोग
Falcons. So this is one of those
4887
games where
गेम
the draft
57%
could go
विन रेट
either way, but the pioneering of this draft
वेलकम टू
is
स्ट्रीम
so
एमिली द
nice.
बेस्ट
This
कैसे
is
हैं आप
not easy MLBB. This is a draft that
होली
nobody can
फॉलो
lose. And it's also
by the way this is a
clear
Hindi
that
stream so
maybe
I would
things
like
go
you to speak in
differently.
Hindi
Maybe
instead
the Barretts, the Barats
do you
gets a
understand
little
Hindi
bit of an
why are you in
early
a
kill.
Hindi
He
stream
takes the
Sahil?
lead over the Lapu Lapu,
This
makes
is
him a little
literally a
bit
Hindi
less
stream
of a
unless you
threat.
speak
And
Hindi
then that pick
you better
can
watch
then
him out
pick
buddy
somebody off. And then they're fighting 5v4. Maybe that happens. It doesn't happen though. Super Marco gets that pick, and maybe the decision is if he's got a Clint, we need to fight on the other side of the jungle, try to get
this
our
is
EXP going.
legit a Hindi
All of
stream
these
what are you
things
doing here
are going to
Luger
be looked at in these 10 minutes before. But in the meanwhile, we told you how important that matchup here today was, not just for the regions, not just for the organizations, but for the club championship. And we had Chris Tunn have a chance to catch up with Danny Angles from Team Vitality earlier today.
Chris here with Danny
go
Engels of
fuck
Vitality.
yourself
Danny,
what
nice to see you, of course. And I mean, it's a big day for Vitality,
that's
especially on the
Hindi for
MLB
you
side of things. You've taken on Falcons in a knockout game. How big is this?
yo toxic toxic nah okay so you're toxic abusive and toxic okay we got it I will screenshot it and I'll show this to your dad it's okay bye rank push karna hai okay bhai rank push kar bro best of luck bhai hopefully dark system na tere games mein no so you're toxic right okay so you're toxic and abusive I get it you said go fuck yourself shut your bitch ass up I took a screenshot
but overall, I think they're very much on track to fight for the club
let
championship.
me teach you Hindi though
And definitely a top 3 finish for sure.
hello Emily aap kaise
What
hain
about the rest of the tournaments that are going to kind of be coming up? CS is a big one. We got that now at the
Yeah.
Code Arena as well.
How
So that's
dare
gonna be
you
really
though?
cool for the French
Did I
fans.
did I abuse?
Yeah, and
Did I
week
say
7 will
no?
be crazy.
Abusive
I mean, we will have
and
4 teams
toxic
in
is
total
crazy.
competing in week 7, and
Two
then the grand
things?
final, obviously being in
Are we
Central
for real?
Arena.
Did I?
Hopefully with our home crowd there as well, and hopefully with us in the final too,
Yeah.
because we first have to reach that. But
She said that's
if
Hindi
all
for you,
coming
bro.
down to the final game,
Watch
and
yourself,
can
bro.
try
Watch your
and
tone
for
around
the
me.
club championship, I guess that would be the 3.
Yeah,
Keep
no,
talking,
I mean,
I'm
I'm
just gonna
excited to
throw
do
ass
it, right?
out.
I mean, I think for me, I've been in this industry a long time, and a lot of European esports. How cool is it to see Paris kind of have this? Vitality are a French organization who've been around for so long. For France to have
Vitality are
this
getting
in Paris,
opened, my
this
boy.
huge event of the EWC. It's going to be cool, right?
Absolutely, and it makes me so proud to see that all the players from all over the world come here for Vitality, and they call it their hometown, their home city, right? Even though they're from Jakarta, have never been to Paris before, but they feel at home here, and I think it's the fans that make it so special for them.
Yeah. Anybody do it better than the French fans or not?
Well, I'm German. I wish it would be better in Germany as well, but I have to give the credits of the French public, the French fans, KC, Mate, our fans as well. They're the best out there for sure.
Go crazy, Danny. Thank you very much. I'm sure we're catching up some time as well, and good luck in the rest of your tournaments, guys.
Thank you so much.
Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Talking a little bit about what it means. And speaking of what it means, you guys can hear it. There's a drum
Wrong
battle
stream
going
buddy
on.
this is
Let's
a
see what's
Hindi
happening.
stream like we don't mess with them English speakers either.
The Hope Bringer takes game number 1 in this
Or-
best of 5. Oh my goodness, it is crazy here at the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet. Guys, how did
Why is he? ये कैसे डांस कर रहे हैं वो there?
So much energy. I love it so much. This is what Team Falcons has been cheering. But I want to know what does Team Vitality have over there. Let's go see Milosh.
You think this is good? You think this is good? I'll give you a mano. Ana suoranya Vitality. Let's go. Let's go. Ana suoranya.
Huh?
They might be down one game, but they got this one. Let's go loud. Ana suoranya.
Vitality?
This is what it's about, baby. Let's
Hell
go.
no. They're getting owned. It's over for them.
Well, that is what it is about. Team Falcons and Team Vitality fighting for a club championship. One will have a chance for a win here. One needs it. One doesn't, but would love the points because week 7, as Danny mentioned, 4 teams from Team Vitality competing in that week. It could come down to one map in CS. That would be crazy.
By the way, quick shout outs to Milosh. That was a pretty good Indo that he brought there. Sounds like a native. Saying mana suaranya.
My man can speak a lot of languages, okay?
Oh.
He's got at least 2 or 3 in the pocket.
अच्छा वो इंडो बोल रहा था मुझे लगा कौन सी भाषा बोल रहा है उनको फ्रेंच तो सिर्फ सुनाई देती
What's one more? I mean,
hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphics. Going all the way back.
I would
Sanskrit.
I would like to learn how to speak binary.
Oh, man.
Those
Well,
Sanskrit Sanskrit
And
हैं?
Morse code.
Well, yeah, when you learn those, that pays a lot or you can't talk about your job, basically.
Yeah.
2 descriptions for those languages. At this point, though, the language of wins in MLBB. Let's jump back to that. Team Vitality, rocky start, although the fans are still in it. And I think they're looking for a reason to start jumping up out of their seats, Trex. Haven't given it to them yet. What's the difference now in game 2 that'll get them jumping up?
Well, I mean, we definitely have to remember this is a best of 5. There's a lot of time to adapt. I don't think Vitality was ready for
Oh, shit.
Falcons to draft
Bro, my
like that. I
team.
don't think they were
Okay.
expecting the Selena pick. I don't think they were expecting a Clint pick. I think that, especially during first phase, they felt like they had Falcons cornered. They had all the answers. The Barats pick felt confident, right? And I think they definitely could have approached that differently. They maybe could have gone for the Beleric up front, changed things up, and this is their chance to do that now.
Something that I do agree with Brigida is that I think
Brigida?
for both these teams, they are actually fighting for
Brigida,
that
bro?
Selena because both Moreno as well as Haji has showed amazing performance on that Selena. And again, Selena has only lost like what? Maybe 3 times the entire MSC, so that's gonna be a hot pick for now,
Falcons,
especially coming in from both teams. So I feel like for Vitality, maybe they can go for something of the same kind of draft, but they just gotta fix the early game approach because the Bellery catching up 2 members, I think that really created too much trouble for them and too much opportunity for Falcons to just control the map.
To me, I think just observing, and you tell me if you're leaning towards agreeing with me, Trex, it just felt like the Melissa was a very big carry choice earlier on that they expected to do a lot more. And the Clint was a surprise that it worked so well, but not only worked so well, it basically nullified what the Melissa could do. Do you pick that later? Do you try to work it around with bans to support that? Do you abandon it, saying, you want to go Melissa? We'll try to figure out an answer?
I would say this. Vitality definitely has the opportunity to run something similar that they ran last game. We saw some big mistakes early on. What LaFell was talking about, Bratz taking that dive under the mid-tier 3 tower, and then they end up losing two people off of it. So I think Super Marco had too much opportunity to farm. I think Haji had too much opportunity to farm. Vitality, on their other hand, even in that big last Lord fight, that was a fight that Vitality really could have won with the Wrath of the Dryad getting thrown out the window, so many skills that Falcons made a mistake on. It showed that they were just too far ahead. And with a Clint like that, if you can scale, the guy was what, 4-0 something, 5-0 something at that point. The damage was way too high. So if Vitality does want to go for the similar draft, they need to change, maybe not be so aggressive early on, or if you are, don't mess it up.
Taking a lot of time on this ban, and they ban out the Valentina.
I honestly want to see a Bellery
Every
first
the
pick
rest
here
is
going at Valentina, so maybe
every the rest.
Or Selena,
Very
yeah,
cheap,
because
it's,
again, I'm starting to jump on the train that Beleric is a legit problem in the meta right now. Like he shuts down so many things just by existing.
He lost in the first series, though. I mean, but that was maybe a difference in quality of those two teams potentially that exposed that characters not being able to have the impact. But when they were fighting around that game plan, guys, and again going back to the Barats, you got to say Vitality's committed to doing what they think is going to work.
Yeah, I think they are on the train of the draft wasn't that bad.
can't play, bro. 0-3 word.
Again, this is just first pick. Everything could change from here. Falcons also, do they pick up the same thing they played last time? Do they go for the Beleric and the
Lilia, Eudora, Selena, Valentina. Those have been the two.
That was banned last game.
Yeah. And the Selena now picked up with the Herrera. LaFell?
I don't know. Personally, for me, just because the Beleric is open, I think that's going to be a pretty safe pick. In terms of their jungler, I don't know if they want to rush a lane here because, again, it's going to be countered. There's still a Moskov, there's still a Melissa, so in the gold lane, there's plenty of counters. I know when it comes to the roam, there's quite a few still. They pick up a Paquito, which
could flex.
It could flex, but it seems pretty honest because they already have the Barat, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they really just
shit,
want to run
Selena.
like just without the Valentina, pick something else, and then they're good.
You go for Beleric here, though, right?
I assume so.
You have to.
You have to because your heroes kind of get destroyed by the Beleric.
This isn't some funky gold something. Okay.
I'm not so sure about the Lilia, just because again her HP pool is pretty low, and she can get
interesting.
She's gonna have a rough time going up against the Selena. Like even just going through the traps is gonna take out so much of your HP. So Vitality is cooking. I'm just not sure what the temperature is. I'm worried.
Not sure if it's
I'm worried that it will be overcooked.
Has it reached 165 yet? Fahrenheit for the chicken? You're not sure?
Like as long as
it's
it's
in the
not,
oven like 10 more minutes.
As long as it's not undercooked, it's okay. But I'm worried it's gonna be overcooked.
A little too much fusion in here, right?
Yeah.
You know, like it's multiple nationalities flashing. I mean, Valken just takes the Beleric then, right?
If not, it can pick up a gold laner here. I don't think there's any super prio when it comes to the gold lane. But no, they do want to clip, so they make sure they grab that for themselves. And I feel like the thing about a Selena in the current meta, there's quite a lot of roamers that helps out anyways. So even if you don't get a Beleric, it's a-okay. Guess they pick up something like a Cho that can help out quite a lot.
I'm still so thrown off by this Lilia, I'm not going to lie.
It's too early, yeah.
And it's everything. You have the Selena that has huge range, you have this Clint that has huge range.
Dude, even the
Harar has so many iframes. Even if you don't go down, how does the Lilia fight back right now? Unless there's some clutch pick that Vitality's going to bring in the second phase, that's going to be able to open up these fights and give her the space to come in.
Right now, Vitality, what they're banking on is for a maximum like level 3 power spike, because right now having the Lilia level 1, you're already pretty strong. You can already have a lot of forward momentum. With the Paquito, you need level 2, and then you can already have a forward momentum. So I think they're trying to go all in this early game strat, because now that I look at this, I think this draft is salvageable if this Paquito goes gold.
Yeah,
right? Have something else in the jungle, and then
Paquito gold, crazy.
That was the flex I was talking about, because we've seen the double fighter mentioned coming into this. Could it potentially be a gold lane Paquito, like LaFell's saying? And we could see something else jump into the jungle. The Ling's still available, difficult, obviously, to play. The Joy worked so well.
Actually, now seeing Herrera, Selena, as well as Clint, this is very lingable. They just got to take out all of this
like that word.
heavy CC heroes out of the way. Like Beleric, they already banned out the Beleric, they already banned out the Alice, so yeah, it looks lingable.
It's part of the Fell dictionary, actually.
Lingable, baby.
I'll gift you one later.
Claude and Beleric.
That's one for free. I'll give you the extras.
Yeah, exactly. So this is looking pretty similar. The Cho or Rome you mentioned could have that same impact. Grab a pick. The Harith as well. Banned out. So it does seem like they don't think that Paquito is going to go gold. Banning out the Harith.
Yep. Safety precautions for sure. Moskov is still open, but again, it's another short-range hero on Vitality, and that's what, Falcon is really pigeonholing them into this. We're going to outrange you. We're going to poke. we're going to continuously send arrows, and you're going to have no way in. So Vitality has to find something here to open up. Again, unless it works out perfectly like Fel said, where first 4 minutes, they get a couple pickoffs, they invade jungle, they do something of that nature. But still, what roamer do they put in front of Lilia here to open up that space?
Here's the thing. I feel like Vitality, if they pick up a Ling and either a Hylos or a Gatot, they're looking very strong. Like, that makes the draft more balanced, because come to the late game, that can help out. Now they pick up the Uranus. There's basically no instant crop control.
Uranus? Crazy.
This makes the Ling look much more better.
Sustain now.
Uranus picked up for EXP most
Heck,
likely.
Even a Grok wouldn't be bad here for Vitality.
We have seen Vitality grab
Ling
a Badang. Badang? A Bading Badang Badang.
Bading Badang.
Go say Badang Badang.
Here.
I feel like Ling Gatot would be pretty simple, but honestly, quite a lot of roamers should work well.
Yeah, Gatakacha also a part of this matchup as well. Also, the Lilia, one of the only other mids that Team Falcons has played with Haji, and very, very aware of that matchup as well. Haji just got the better end of Moreno, and that was tough. And that's somebody they lean on who's got a lot of success for this team previously. It's the glue that rounds this one out, and the Nolan as well in the jungle.
Which I think is also still pretty good coming into the mid game. Once 2 items on the Nolan, should be able to burst down basically everyone except for the Uranus. Unless they're able to stun the Uranus up, then yeah, maybe they can get a kill. Right now, I'm liking Vitality's draft, having this fighter with the Nolan, so it's pretty strong.
And the
Taunting them,
glue
nice.
roam, which is most likely, I'm guessing what this is going to end up being.
So it's Keto
will be a great. It is going to be a Paquito.
Wow.
Barati XP, most likely. And then the glue roam is going to preemptively do great against just about any roam they pick.
Oh, wait, is it Khalid or Vendetta?
I don't know. It's Khalid.
Alright, it's Khalid.
Wait. It says Khalid. It shows Benedetta.
Okay.
My guess is it is a Khalid.
The Khalid shows
and
Benedetta.
Selena
over here.
And Harara. They're a very
Wait,
strong
what?
mid trio. They can stop Vitality to fight this early game. So I think Vitality might have.
Bro, I'm confused. What? It says Khalid, but
The glue will do great with stuns. I don't know. I think both teams have answers, just like last game. Both teams have a way to win this game. They have win conditions. It's all going to be about execution.
Well, Team Falcons PH land the first knockout blow against Team Vitality. It's Vitality's time to return service in game 2. Let's send it over to Gideon and Brigitte.
Thanks so much, Rain Day. Holy, who was expecting the draft to look like this as we head on into game number 2 between our most anticipated series of Vitality facing off against Team Falcons. A double fighter cop now facing with long-range projectiles, but now with Khalid, this early game could be a lot more sophisticated than we thought.
Yeah, it's gonna be Vitality starting it off a bit more aggressively though, but hey, it's another Selena game from Haji. It's been a really great one for them in game number 1. But I think Vitality, I like how they tried to deal with the problems that came out of that game one by one, especially starting off with the gold lane matchup, right? You're not necessarily dealing with a gold lane that would clearly lose out against this split from Super Marco, but in
Falcon.
wait, you don't lose against Super Marco, but he gets picked up at the Riverside.
Yep, this is exactly what we're expecting to see again. This is some really good coordination from Falcons. They understand that a lot of the early objectives, a lot of rotations are going to call upon their side laners to get into the fight. And Vitality, unfortunately, if you get hit by that arrow, it's just good night, bye-bye. Luckily, at least for Iman, it's not the end of the world. The kill goes over to Haji. He will be able to still clear these waves pretty fast, as you can see, right? As soon as the wave is done, it's either he's helping the jungle, it's either he's setting up vision. He is making sure that he's maximizing every second of this game, knowing that those precious seconds could net them a win. If they can just outlast Vitality, Super Marco will have more than enough damage.
Oh, that's a lot of damage to deal with Finn too. Fortunately, he's a glue. He will be a bit more tankier. Owen with the quick sandguard will at least survive that attempt from Nile. But every single time, even in game number 1, when Falcons have been winning it out big, it always starts with Haji getting these small wins across the map, right? So I don't think it's a good sign as much for Vitality just yet. Let's see how it goes for this first turtle though. Oh, Emma again. Emma!
Oh no!
Emma has to get away from this. Doesn't have level 4 just yet. Owen and Super Marco are just chasing him down.
Eman, GG's bro, this guy did.
Will survive.
Survive.
How lucky that he survives there. How lucky. And now this turtle fight,
It's going to be a bit awkward.
Okay.
We'll see how this breaks.
Shogun already very low. The flicker from Finn, catching two, now going
It's
in,
good.
trying to go for the kill, but Haji! He picks him off first. Now it's all over to Falcons to take control of the turtle pit. They're going to flicker forward even just to take down Moreno, and they do! Charging the Daytona's welcome, but to no avail. Falcons winning it out once more.
Unfortunate for Shogun. He charged up the the arrow connects and he's so dead. So dead. A 4-kill lead and now
Holy shit, bro. Falcons are just too fast. Their tempo is way too fast.
This is the exact same, or almost the exact same scenario we've seen earlier in game number 1, and Falcons once again securing the objective. Finn finds one, but he's going to be all alone here. A bit of help from Moreno, but I don't think the damage is going to be enough just yet. And now Finn will have to go down. Vitality, they're just losing members every single time.
They need to regroup. They need to regain composure here. Finn is going to be the secondary win condition here because so far, I don't think they can really deal with Finn once he gets some items and gets really tanky. But so far, this 2K lead developed by the side of Falcons, nicely distributed around.
But what is this guy doing, bro?
Is going to start to be, well, not as painful if you don't get hit by the arrows, obviously, but more importantly so, just look at them continuously making sure that strong side will stay as strong side, despite the fact that Iman, if he can just dodge the trapping recall, he has a pretty good kill angle.
Yeah, they
This
tried
guy,
to
bro.
do the clip through this, but I don't think they're able to manage it the way we're seeing it as of now. 1-6 kill score on the board. And they're forced to play from behind all over again. The rotation seems so much slower too, especially as Falcons, with this lead you're seeing in Haji's hands, are just able to maximize it so well that you don't get to see Vitality use the pressure of a Glue Lilia together. I mean, who can even try to go and pressure at this point? There's Owen, who's just always roaming around the map. Haji, who's just again landing these arrows over and over again. And you don't even get access to Kyle's jungle nor side of the map.
Yep. I think really it was supposed to be Finn onto Owen here. That was supposed to be a matchup. Oh, wait, hold on. The arrow doesn't connect, but luckily they managed to zone them out for the time being. And this is the pressure that we're talking about when you have side lane controls, right? You're able to kind of walk into enemy territory and do whatever you want. And Finn was supposed to be the guy who says, no, you're not allowed to do that. I can just walk away from the lane. I will always be a threat to you. But now with the economic lead, Finn is just too soft at this stage of the game to be that guy.
Yeah, Vitality still. Shogun's gonna position himself here. Will decide to catch Owen though.
It's
Doesn't
going.
want to stand on flat, but that's still gonna be a pick-off for Team Vitality. Now Vitality getting one. They're looking for more. Flat very low. He is gonna get away from here, but it's controlled by Vitality now. The turtle is over to their side unless Falcons find a way around this, but it's not looking to be the case. Vitality at least get out
Falcons,
objective for themselves.
And now you can see how the battle spells really take into effect and how Shogun is so confident in going for these Daytona welcomes, even when it doesn't look like there's going to be follow-up. Everybody on the side of Falcons have taken flippers. Same can be said about Vitality. You dodge an ability, that's great. You get hit by it, it's guaranteed death.
Oh, it's better if they find Emma, but he dodges that very cleanly. He will still get an opportunity to defend this tier 1 up top, especially as Finn 2 approaches. Oh, but the arrow and the bullets! Oh, we left it, Evan!
He needed to change it up. He needed to change it up. They clocked it. Haji remembered, hey, he used the knockup strike previously to try and deter us. There's a high chance he's going to do it again. So I'm going to throw it in your original spot rather than praying that you just double jab. So really good work here because Falcons, they're taking into account all the small little details on top of the big macro plays. And look at Flap, right? He should be unkillable in these stages, but as long as he buys time, you notice on the opposite end, Super Marco, he's having the gold lane experience. He's already invested in so many companies, more than you can imagine. The S&P 500 is bowed down to Super Marco.
It's still a win. Still a win for Super Marco. Still a win for Team Falcons. They get more out of that, and the lead is still in their hands. And Haji, as the KDA machine, those small decisions you even highlighted in that particular sequence are just making the difference for Team Falcons in this game. Selena, 2 games in a row. We thought it was going to be contested, but they got it all over again. And now Vitality are struggling to find footing, and we look at the gold leads. At least for the junglers, it's relatively close. But you see the major difference when it comes to Super Marco and Iman.
Come on, bruh.
This is where it starts to get really dangerous because eventually, once Super Marco gets all of his items, all these fighters who don't build some form of bruiser and decide to go full damage will get punished. Like, Iman can potentially get one shot if he doesn't get his combo down cleanly.
There's a lot more pressure over Vitality's side right now. Daytona's welcome being charged. Oh, he finds Ogwen all over again. The target, the same exact target they went for earlier, but now he gets to cast the Raging Sandstorm. Moreno finds the kill onto him, though Black Shoe's already committed as well. Super Marco is within range. Eman 2 will be here, but the zoning from Flap is helping out so much. Kyle trying to find a target. Finn tries to block off his way. Vitality are fighting for positioning in this objective, and they're not letting up.
We need to see Finn look to pull somebody out of position. It's got to be Marco, but the Flickers, they can't get it out of Marco just yet. They might have to trade for it. Let's see if Iman can find a position.
Oh, they actually find Flap. Iman
Oh,
regaining
shit.
position, and Nile securing the turtle. Vitality are now slowly getting back and
Come back, bro.
invading
Come back.
into Falcon's side.
That was a little bit of a weird fight there. Flap did not necessarily have to stick around for that long. Oh, another Daytona's welcome.
Rapture still there. Nile trying to burst him down. There's a flicker from Ogwen to the Sandguard, but he
Oh,
is
no.
not
Falcon's
going
cooking cook
to
now.
get
They're coming
out.
back.
So far, so good. We've now seen the Gold League kind of swing back into Vitality's favor. And at this stage, now we see the fighters really start to take into effect. Iman already, if we pull up the item list, I'm pretty sure he's already done with his first item at bare minimum. Probably second item already done 2, but he's 1, 3, and 1. So let's say a couple of components, right? He's got enough damage to deal with the squishies, but he can't close the distance in time. Ooh! Not without some help here. And that's why Shogun is playing a very good front line here, where he's baiting his opponents to walk on in. And guess what? By the time we actually get even a single mini stun or a 20% slow, that's when you see them pull them all the way back in.
Yep, he at least has to. That's where you see it. And Flap, that's the second time they tried to go for him. And every single time you're seeing how the damage is seemingly already enough, even with just Eman and a bit of help towards Eman, again from Nile mostly. The burst damage is really starting to come through, and I think that's been the trend for Vitality. They're always after the frontline heroes first, and it's not like they're lacking the tools to deal with them, and they get the wins from that point onwards. That's another target locked on by Finn. He finds Super Marco. Haji trying to run away, but now shuts him down perfectly on a killing spree right now, and he dashes out. He still survives. Falcons are not able to find a trade.
Nile was just mogging them. He knew he had the fracture ready to go to give him an extra 2 dashes if he just timed it well, and so he does. Falcons now discombobulated from that fight. Let's watch it one more time because, again, this is one of those moments where you just wished you just reacted a little bit faster. Super Marco using the trapping recoil falls into one of the goggles, and before he gets the flicker off, it's already too late. Finn flickers instantly, not giving him any time to react to it, and that's the scenario we need to see multiple times. Nobody has a real answer to Finn if he gets on top of Super Marco, but up until then, I think the rest of the Falcons just gotta punch him in the face.
Yeah, gotta be careful. It's always been Shogun setting up for these major team fights too, so at least Flap has info, but he's not gonna go for Flap. He's gonna go for Ogwen, and with the damage coming in from Nile, they almost had the win, but in the backlight, Eman actually found Super Marco. Falcons are falling one by one. Kyle trying to escape. Eman diving under the turret, and Nile providing the damage with the fracture.
Bro, fuck Falcons, bro. They beat us. They need to lose, bro.
They count 3 from Team Falcons.
And now they're showing some team fight prowess, a beautiful push and pull, juggling of aggro, making sure that everybody was able to take one tower shot so that nobody was too low for Falcons to trade. That's the level of prestige we're playing at here for Mobile Legends, especially at MSC. They're not mucking around no more, because once you start seeing ultimates being used to run away, you know you've got them on the ropes, and you've got to really press those angles. Similarly to putting somebody in a corner in boxing, once you daze them, you got to go for the kill, and Vitality just don't miss.
Unbelievable. I thought they were just.
Yo, what's going on? I want for a nap and I just woke up. Bro, it started, bro. Falcons is winning 1-0, but it might be 1-1 now.
They were trying to get their attention.
Crazy game, bro.
And that's where they really focused on the target.
Crazy. Falcons were dominating this game as well, but now it looks like they might
against Vitality, and it's not looking too good. But I think more than that, though, the way Eman right now is not the very vulnerable type of goal laner.
Crazy
He's
game.
a lot more aggressive, and even with that solo kill in the backline has made a huge difference for Team Vitality and how they're taking control of this game right now. Oh, an arrow is gonna land though. That's gonna be on Moreno. Doesn't get to hit the black shoes in time. Ogun doesn't get traded out, but Sandguard fortunately saves him. But the Lord is now inside this tier 3 turret. Falcons get to defend it for now, though.
Man, that's some fat damage coming out from now. Everybody having a Malefic Roar ready to go to cut through all the armor that's been set up by the Falcon side. Let's look at the items one more time here. Sky Piercer purchase coming in from Kyle. He needs that. However, I'm not so sure in this particular bout. I feel like Super Marco is going to be the main win condition no matter what. So a Bruiser build would have made a lot more sense. He does have the War Axe, which is nice. I would have liked to see the Queen's Wings on top of it. We look down at specifically Iman, right? And you can see he wants to go for that full damage, but he also recognizes that if he gets chunked out too early on, he might not be able to clutch back up. So it's safer just to go for the fight.
And look at where Nile and Shogun are currently positioned. They're really trying to go for more unexpected angles and plays against Team Falcons. Fortunately for them, they're really grouping up. They don't want to lose any more in the process because it's clearly Vitality winning majority of it at this point. And we have a minute until the Lord spawns next. But can Falcons actually afford to go for a play? Because it's always been Vitality, right? It's always been Shogun starting these engages with a Daytona's Welcome Flicker that catches them by surprise.
Here's what I foresee is going to happen. Shogun and Flap are going to continuously trade blows, right? Flap, unfortunately, just doesn't have enough of a lead to put Shogun behind. So then it comes to two conditions. Can Haji hit somebody else other than the frontliners of Vitality? The second one is once Flap starts getting into the backlines, especially if he can get on top of Nile.
Bro, Falcons need to come back, bro. Hell not to Vitality. They knocked out True Request, so we need to beat them. Falcons need to knock them out.
They cannot afford to let that happen again. And unfortunately, Flap is kind of the only frontliner who can do this. We've seen Owen get punished multiple times throughout this game against Finn. So if that's just the matchup, they cannot sync up. It's a game of rock, paper, scissors. The question is, who throws the first hand?
Which I think Vitality are already trying to set up for again, as they've been managing the waves constantly, leading to this next objective spawn, and it's Falcons who's trying to respond to whatever they've been able to do already. They're already taking control. That's an arrow landing to the front lines, but Falcons might not decide to go for Shogun just yet. They know there's still a flicker. They know there's still a Daytona's Welcome. But Kyle, if he finds Eman here, which he doesn't, that could have been something. But they're still not going to commit. They see other members of Vitality nearby too.
They know for a fact that it's just not worth committing so many ultimates just for Iman. They need something a little bit better here, and they need those structures. The only way they're going to get it is through that Lord. So far, as we can see the positions here, Vitality have a much bigger spread. They want to punish Iman.
Oh, maybe they want to use their ultimates onto Eman after all. That's an Abyssal Arrow and the Raging Sandstorm. But under the turret, Eman! He nearly found an outplay there and bought enough time. So Vitality could secure the objective.
I mean, they tried for it. And so it's still a very tough bout. There could have been a moment there where it could have gotten a lot worse, but at least for Vitality, this 5.2k lead is something that they can run with. Moreno now becoming a legitimate threat to the frontliners, so now the roles start to reverse. Shogun as well as Finn need to create that space for Moreno to get those free hits. They can force Ogwin out, that's even better. They can hurt Flap, even better. So far, I think that as long as Moreno doesn't get hit by an arrow, which makes me wonder, maybe you should have taken Purify. But at the same time, it's like you get chased out by Kyle and it doesn't matter.
Sensei, मुझे पता चला है कि अपनी retirement ले ली है T3 lobby से आप हमारे MLB भी हो चुके हैं जॉनसन नहीं bro. Bro said retirement ले ली. The hell?
This is not the evolved Lord just yet, but there could be potential flicker play.
भाई तो retirement दिला दी मुझे. मेरा comeback ही नहीं करने दे रहा. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Bruh! क्या comeback bro? Vitality का. इनको early game खत्म कर देना चाहिए था.
They're already inside the base, and they want to go for Haji. Kyle trying to run away, going for the clear as much as they can alongside Owen, but Vitality just want to clean up. Finn is also still alive, and Eman's just locking on the base. We're looking like it's a
लो ना क्यों slot खा रखा है क्या? खा रखा है इंडिया.
Hey, we're gonna have the most lively stage here at EWC with the fans on both sides getting what they want. A 1-1. Let's see how long this series can be extended for.
Bro was never part of bro though. Such a goofy ass bro. What do you mean not?
Every stage of the game, you're expecting the composition to work just a little bit differently. Obviously, the fans are more than excited, but this is not a simple game. It's a best of 5 for a reason. It's elimination match.
अरे कोड क्या दिया किसी ने बोला कोड MSC Glory अच्छा
Really good adjustments, especially from Vitality. If you saw the Melissa counter down in game number 1, I think you could pretty much say the same for Super Marco.
हट भाई ये तो लिमिट रीच हो जाता है भाई 2 मिनट में
has been answered here by Vitality through the sequence of the drafts, through the flex that they did on blue side, and they weren't able to replicate what they did, especially nor even with the Selena in their hands.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Selena. If you don't hit those arrows, you're not going to feel like she's having that major impact. She can influence the game when you have a lead, but when you're behind,
1-1 हो गया भाई
then all of a sudden she's a disruptor.
ऑफ स्ट्रीम देखता हूँ भाई थक गया स्ट्रीम कर गए भूख भी लग रही है anyways guys yo thank you so much for tuning in this stream it's been your boy Fission and I'm signing out now peace off stream देखता हूँ